Good evening, everybody, here from the Carroll Athletic Stadium. Mason Nealon, Jackson Kerrigan. And you know what, Jackson? The second of what a three-part series is here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel, as we have got the Carroll Tigers for the first time here, but the Kuemper Knights for their second game of our varsity doubleheader streak. Jackson, we already had a phenomenal game between ESAC and Kuemper. We're going to have a phenomenal game and a phenomenal pair of games here between Carroll and Kuemper.
Yeah, I mean, two very good programs that we have around here. You know, all three of our programs looking really well, but this one should be really good, you know, with the crosstown rivalry. And, you know, both teams want to be like, oh, we got the win this year, you know, just to have that on their resume. But overall, looking to be a pretty good two games we got going here.
Looking at this girls' game, Jackson, Kuemper obviously, record-wise, clearly the better team, ranked number 11 in Class 1A, but Carroll's no pushover because they play some really tough competition.
Yeah, and I mean, playing in the Raccoon River Conference isn't easy, and Carroll just had to adjust to that really well. And they haven't played too bad, but you know, haven't had the greatest start. You know, they dropped a couple of games that they probably shouldn't have, and played some really good teams like Carlisle and Bondurant. So we'll see if they can get a upset win here. This would be really good for their season to try and turn it around. And for Kuemper, you know, you just got to keep. It's just a business trip. You just got to keep going with the flow here and just come out with the easy win.
And Jackson, the funny thing is that this is the last non-conference game of Carroll and Kuemper, because next year, when this game plays again, this will be a conference battle between these two foes.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a smart decision that Carroll's made, is accepting the invitation, you know, with the proximity of teams as well, you know, not making those late-night trips to Huxley every night to go play Ballard on a Tuesday night and then going back to 8 a.m. on a Thursday. So definitely a lot better, and we should see a lot better competition, I feel like, as well, as Carroll should be able to be one of the more premier teams in most sports in that one, as well as Kuemper will still be dominant as well in the Hawkeye 10.
And that's the one thing we talk about here with Carroll with moving to the Hawkeye 10. They've kind of, I don't know what the right term for this is, but they've kind of phased out of what is elite in the Raccoon River Conference, and that's not Carroll's fault. Carroll, town of 10,000 people, but you look at Huxley right outside of Ames, Winterset, Bondurant, North Polk, all those towns right near the Ames or the Des Moines area. I mean, Carroll's just not big enough to compete, even with Pella joining here soon, just not big enough to be able to compete, not even on the field or on the court, but just in the financial standpoint. So it's smart for them to go to a place that has Kuemper, Denison, Harlan. You've got all these like fun schools. St. Albert going to be in there as well, but tonight going to be a real fun test of what we're going to see for a while.
Yeah, and I feel like, much like you said, it's definitely on the size point with, you know, like Adele getting bigger and getting more into a larger suburb over by Des Moines and all those schools there. But it's not like Carroll's not still somewhat competitive. I mean, they can, in certain sports like we just seen in basketball, they held their own as well. But then there's those other sports that they're just not competing with, and especially in soccer we've seen where the Raccoon River's just progressively getting better and better, and Carroll just not able to keep up as well. So I think the move is definitely good, and we should be able to see Carroll and Kuemper both be premier programs in the Hawkeye 10.
We're talking about basketball. You got Mr. Randy Beeson right here, right there. He's kind of one of the ones that was the founding father of that decision. You've got your captains at midfield here. I'll try and tell you the best I can. Sierra Pudence, Gabby Running, and McKenna Bloom. And then Amanda Wardell, looks like Jersey Spore, and Leah Nystrom, your captains of the night here. Got Mr. Steffes down there, Steph Jorgensen as well. But tonight, the funny thing, you know, it's Carroll as the home team tonight, but we're going to be honoring the Kuemper seniors before, I believe, this game. Maybe before halftime. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know the exact schedule of our time here, but that's the fun thing about, you know, sharing this atmosphere, sharing this town, is that these two schools can, you know, combine and do different things here throughout this evening.
Yeah, and that's definitely a good thing for both schools to have that chemistry, you know, not the bad blood chemistry, you know, we don't like you, we're not going to do anything with you. Just, you know, respecting each other and be like, hey, you know what, even though, you know, this is our home game, we're still going to allow you to do your thing, and we're just going to respect it.
And Mr. Ken Massey actually bringing the trophy. I don't know what the trophy is called. Do you know?
I think it's the Carroll Darby Trophy.
And it's the trophy of the winners for the boys and the girls games. Both get a trophy for it, as we've got one of our officials doing the old Derrick Rose MVP trophy there, turning around waving at the crowd. But huge night for photographers, videographers, everything like that. Mr. Connor Crabb here going to be doing video highlights of the game as the Carroll boys roll in right in front of us, in front of the press box here, Jackson.
Yeah.
Some other ones we got. I think Jeff Storion probably going to be in the building as well. I would be surprised if he wasn't here.
Yeah, and then Jameson Polkin coming all the way from Ames to take some pictures as well, and then the Kuemper yearbook also here as well to take some pictures.
Yeah, Tammy coming out here. I always have to give her a little smack talk of, are you going to be warm enough? I mean, 'cause she's out there. It's the same thing with Connor, same thing with J-Mo, every one of them. I mean, you got to be warm enough. But, we're going to go ahead and step away for about 2 minutes here, let both of the teams kind of talk things over. We'll come back with starting lineups, and then we'll go to the national anthem right after that.
This fall, cozy up with internet that keeps up. With WindSpeed Fiber Internet from Western Iowa Networks, enjoy 1 gig speeds for just $99.99 a month. Perfect for streaming, football, fall shows, and working from home. No lag, no interruptions, just the speed you need all season long. Other speed packages available starting at just $59.99 a month. Call or text 712-775-2946 for details or visit westinet.com today. Western Iowa Networks, connecting you to what matters for 120 years.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
For details, contact Nicole Unken at Nicole Unken Agency.
These DMAC Carroll campus students are tomorrow's nurses. They're leaders, smart, dedicated, and they care about their community.
My experience in DMAC nursing so far, I get to make a difference in people's lives during their most vulnerable times, and I build friendships along the way.
The interaction between the faculty, staff, and professor with the students are really close. They really help us a lot every time.
Get started today.
At Collins Aerospace, we believe in investing in our employees' future. That's why we are proud to offer our Employee Scholar Program. Whether you want to pursue a professional certificate or a degree related to the industry, we offer full tuition reimbursement and even paid study time. Our Employee Scholar Program is the perfect tool to help achieve the future you've been dreaming of. At Collins, we don't just want to offer you a job, we want to offer you a career and a future in aerospace. For details on the Collins Aerospace Employee Scholar Program, visit us at careers.rtx.com.
Mason Neal and Jackson Kerrigan with you guys here. We're honoring the Kuemper seniors. We'll run you through some of the names here, as we've got Megan Keese, we've got Sierra Pudens, and we've got McKenna Bloom and Jackson Sierra. Obviously what she's meant to this program, but, for the other girls as well. Very solid starters, very good pieces to what has been a solid Kuemper program for the last 4 years, but obviously, you highlight what Sierra's done for this program. She's the all-time leading goal scorer last season and very, very possibly could be the all-time leading goal scorer for a while, as she's going to set that bar pretty high.
Yeah, and what a great player that this program has had, and obviously joining the greats like Catherine Mayhall, who she broke the record from, and she's just been a fantastic player. But like you said, it's not just one person on this team. There are other great players out there like Riley Massey and obviously Addie Antover in the goal, as well as Gabby running. So not just kind of a one-person team or a one-dimensional team. They're able to go through other people as well, and that's why they're such a great team.
And Carroll tonight, like I said, Jackson, you're kind of fighting from your back, the old boxing term there and wrestling term as well. But, you look at it tonight, Marin obviously a really good goalkeeper in there. She's top 7 in the state in saves on the season here, but she's going to be going against a girl in Riley Massey that's top 5 in assists. Sierra, obviously, with the Kuemper record for goals. You've got, Cassie Lorman that can dribble through a couple of defenders up at the top here, and you've got Kaylin Pudens, who scored obviously in our ESAC game and can score the ball pretty well. So Marin's going to have her work cut out for her, but for me, it's going to be more of what Maddie Breddy, Amanda Wardell, and Peyton Moore can do in that back line, because the less and less that you make your goalkeeper work, the less and less that they have a chance to score. So if they can work pretty hard in that back line and keep those 4 girls that we talked about away from the goal, then Carroll should be pretty good.
Yeah, and they're going to have their work cut out for them, just like as well as Kemper's back line, as Carroll's got some pretty good girls up front in Jersey Spoor and Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard. They've been playing really well this season as well, but both teams, their back line's definitely going to have their work cut out, as there's a lot of speed up front for both teams, so it should be interesting to see. And Marin definitely going to have to do some work tonight. She's just not going to be able to sit back and, relax. Same with Addie. I wouldn't just sit back and chill. I'd stay on my toes and stay ready.
And we'll start with our starting lineups here. Starting up top for the Carroll Tigers. Outside going to be Anna Steinkamp, Jersey Spoor, and Audrey Hegrich up top. And then you got Leah Nystrom, Riley Schlechter, Kayla Cummings, and Aubrey Schmidt in that middle. And then you got Maddie Brady, Amanda Wardell, Peyton Moore in the back line. Obviously in the goal, like we talked, Marin Overmall. But, the fun thing, I don't officially know some of the positions that they talk about, but I know where they're at on the field, so we'll kind of try to explain these to you as well. But for the Kuemper girls, they have got Sierra Pudens, Riley Massey, and Kaylin Pudens up top. In your middle, Lily Kasperbauer, McKenna Bloom, Mia Milligan, and Mackenzie Yetmar. In your back, you got Tatum Mancini, Gabby Running, and Marin Mural. And in the goal, Addie Antover. And I talk about this, and I give this girl tons of credit for the hard work that she has put in. Addie Antover took a huge step forward in volleyball this season, becoming a starter on a team that made a run down at state. And then she took a huge step forward in basketball, becoming an all-rewind kid in both of those sports, in volleyball and basketball. And she's taken a step forward in soccer as well. She scored a goal in their game against Storm Lake. She's been a phenomenal goalkeeper for them, but just the hard work and the talent that she has, she put them together, and she has had a phenomenal junior season.
Yeah, and it's just been such amazing to watch her through all her sports, especially through basketball and volleyball for me, as well as I've watched more of her in those than I have in soccer. But she's just an all-around, well-rounded athlete as well, and she works hard, and she's definitely earned what she's gotten so far as well. So just an all-around amazing athlete for the Kuemper Knights.
Best part about this, too, Jackson, I look around, obviously on the other side, you're not going to see anyone. So on our video, it's going to look like nobody's here. But, Jackson, take a stand with me here. I mean, if you look down there, there is tons of people starting to file in here as they're going to watch some of the most fun soccer you're going to see this season. We're hoping that we play a very clean style of soccer today. I know things could possibly get a little chippy between these two programs, but the fun thing about that, we've got really talented officials out there today. These guys are some of the ones that come in from other areas to come officiate these games, so they know the game in and out, and I know that they're going to be ready to officiate this, so even when you hear the fans yelling, don't yell at the officials. But we're going to go ahead and step away for the national anthem. We'll be back here in about 2 minutes for the kickoff of this game.
Family owned and operated since 1948, Quant Auto Salvage is the area's best full-service scrap facility. Whether you are looking to sell scrap iron, vehicles, or batteries, or you need to locate that difficult-to-find part for your vehicle, they have what you need. And if it isn't in stock, they can locate it with their nationwide parts database, or you can pull it yourself at their You Pull It. Quant Auto Salvage. They sell the best and recycle the rest on Kitty Hawk Avenue in Carroll.
Midwest Wholesale is your local building products headquarters. We have everything you need for your smaller home improvements to the building of your home or commercial building. We pride ourselves on giving you top-notch service, quality products with competitive prices. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer, a contractor, or you just need a little help on a project, Midwest Wholesale is a one-stop resource for all your building needs. Midwest Wholesale, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it, we deliver.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
For over 50 years, Pringer Slumberland has been your trusted destination for all things furniture and flooring. Hi, it's Matt Pringer, third generation in our family-owned business. We understand the importance of creating spaces where memories are made and cherished. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, personalized service, and unbeatable value has made us a staple in the community. Pringer Slumberland is more than just a furniture store. We're part of your community. And when you shop with us, you're not just furnishing your home, you're investing in the livelihood of your neighbors. Pringer Slumberland, Highway 30 West in Carroll.
Mason Nealon here with you guys, trying to write some notes for this game so we can do your Brinks Exteriors sports report, as they are going to work from south to north, and the Kuemper Knights are going to start out with the ball, as it'll be Sierra Pudens in the middle with Riley Massey, Mackenzie Yetmar, and Kaylin Pudens to her. Gonna have Mia Milligan pass it up now, and Jackson, this is the one thing that Jeff and I talked about too, is that the Kuemper girls move the ball very well, and they can pass in and out as they work back to their back line. But right here, this is what you're seeing from Carroll that's kind of different, is that they're starting to get into that attack mode of they want to come out and they want to punch Kuemper in the mouth right away to make this a competitive ball game.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what you have to do with the way Kuemper's style is, passing around, making the smart passes, because Kuemper, you really don't see them miss a lot of passes unless they're like really deep passes. So that's what they're going to have to do, is that one's going to be turned over.
Yeah, Schmidt-Hubbard falling out of bounds there. There's so many photographers, Jackson, here today that I can't even name all of them. I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't know a ton of these people, but that's the fun thing about high school sports when you get this much publicity. As the Tigers going to throw back in here. Kuemper trying to work away from the goal as they're trying to get back to this north side. Your wind kind of moving towards and pushing towards the Kuemper defending goal, as Massey going to go outside, and looks like she's going to clip her hand. They won't call it. Maybe got a little bit of the elbow instead of the hand.
Yeah, Carroll calling for the handball there, but they didn't get it. Now they're going to get a foul as
Massey going to take out, let me look at the numbers here.
Is that Cummings right there, 24? Yeah, Kayla Cummings.
Yeah, she laid out for that ball there, but a nice job from Cummings to sell it and be able to get the ball for him, as Steinkamp taking the free kick from about the 45. Header attempt going to go over the back line into Gabby running, going towards the goal. Sporer had a look at it, but they're going to kick it out the back side of the goal. Nice stop there from Chloe Mead with her feet as she's taking pictures for Tiger Vision. But Sporer going to go to the corner, Jackson. If they can get a header here and score right away, Carroll, only 2 minutes into this ball game, would be able to be up on 1-0 as ball going to be cleared out of the way to Mackenzie Yetmar down the sideline. But a break there from Kuemper. They were kind of in the danger zone there for a minute.
Yeah, normally Kuemper's been the one in the game we saw against ESAC taking control of most of their games and starting out early, but now they're having to play back as now they start to get some momentum going.
And this is one of Carroll's best pieces there, Amanda Wardell trying to get that ball as Kaylin Putin's going to cross behind her, but Amanda's been one of their best pieces for kind of the last 3 to 4 years. She's a senior leader on this team, and in that back line, she's done a phenomenal job, but she's one that they're going to have to lean on in the back line.
Yeah, and her and Jersey Spore have just been two of the most fantastic seniors that Coach Steph Jorgensen has had. Jersey with her offense and, Amanda with her defense, along with Marin Overmole. Marin doing just a fantastic job. Even though that Carroll hasn't had some of the best years, she still does a wonderful job.
Cummings going to be tripped in the midfield once again, this time by Pudens, as the Carroll boys starting to make their own student section over here, lining up against the wall, trying to get some action going. Anna Steinkamp taking it from the opposite 43 this time, going towards the goal. She kicks it up in the air and going to roll to Addie Antover as she gets her first action of the night here with a save. I don't know if you count that as a save or what you do there. We can check those stats after the game. As Steinkamp going to take a touch too big. Sierra Pudens crossing over, works back again, going to drop to the outside and then roll back up now, crossing the 50. Going to be a fun doubleheader tonight. Outside, Riley Massey going to break free. Wardell trying to guard her on the outside. Cross coming. Moore going to take it off the chest. Massey going to spin back outside, guarding the ball, working it across the far side now. Overmole going to go up and catch it, but ball going to roll out, and Sierra going to work it back to the center. Gets around, tried to score, but they will not get it. She came down pretty hard there. Shot on goal this time, not going to be good. That one coming from Lily Kasperbauer up front, but you're seeing the physicality from the Carroll defensive line. You're seeing the physicality from Kuemper as well. So this one, you're going to have to be a tough player out there to be able to score.
Yeah, and both two evenly sized teams here. Nobody really, bigger, but Carroll definitely playing a lot more tougher here to start, but Kuemper's kind of came back with that as Riley Massey showing some size and using her big body to her advantage to try to box out the Carroll defense.
Yeah, she's very, very strong, sound girl. I mean, one of our rewind wrestlers this season on one of our all-star teams here, so obviously knows how to kind of turn the physicality up, but the Tigers in their back line need to get this ball out of here. The more and more that you allow that ball to be in the back line, the more and more that Kuemper has a chance to pass around and find an opening. There is Schmidt-Hubbard going to kind of run into Yetmar there, and you're seeing a little animosity between the two schools. Obviously, we don't want anything to happen here between both, so the officials probably going to do a really good job of keeping things under wrap. As ball going to go over Milligan's outstretched leg. Got our ball girls toweled and blanketed up tonight, as it is a very windy and chilly night here, Jackson. Sporer going to work to the far side for Hegerich. she'll kick it up now again to Sporer. A couple of girls on her. Schmidt-Hubbard turns on the outside down this right sideline here. Mr. Trevin Weber in front of us, Jackson, walking across, part of the Carroll boys soccer team. Unfortunate, for this season that he had that injury against Ballard, but he had a phenomenal start to this season. Kuemper going to work back across the 50 once again into the foot of Sierra Pudens. As she's going to be they have her as a striker, but she plays more of that midfield role as she kind of rolls across different areas of the field. As Massey going to be guarded by Wardell once again, and that's a huge matchup you look at there, Jackson. Wardell's not afraid to turn the physicality up, and there haven't been a lot of girls that can match what physicality Massey brings to the table, but Amanda's one of those that can turn it up.
Yeah, and Amanda, like you said, just not backing down, just taking it on with full force there. Because, Riley's definitely one of the more physical players on the pitch most of the time, as she's a very strong girl. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup between those two.
And I've talked about it with her father before. Obviously, Coach Ken Massey is the ball going to roll out of bounds here. Plays on a club here in Iowa and travels kind of the Iowa Midwest area here, but she plays defensive in that club. She got moved to about the midfield and the striker position early in this season here, and it has worked out, leading the Hawkeye 10 in assists, top 5 in the state in assists, regardless of class. So she's been a really kind of diamond in the rough type piece when you move it up.
Well, and that's just kind of been the theme this year for Coach Ken Massey, having two defenders move up to those striker positions, as both the girls and the boys have done that, and Charlie Mayhall moving from defensive to striker here for Kuemper, and it's kind of worked out for them so far, as he's been a really astounding player on the offense as well as Riley.
And we're about 7 minutes into this game, 33-12 on the clock and counting. The fun thing about soccer, Jackson, there's no stoppage, so we can let this clock roll and roll and roll and just kind of get things going here as the Carroll Tigers on their offensive half of the field, working from north to south towards the rec center. Nystrom going to kick it back in here as Bloom going to work it out. Kaylin Pudens fighting for the ball with Jersey Sporer. They'll reverse the field to the far side. Schmidt-Hubbard getting physical in there as Yetmar going to send it back out of bounds. Again, we'll have the boys broadcast as a part of this one. We'll have head coach Steph Jorgensen and one of the girls, and then just two Kuemper girls. We won't bring up Ken Massey until the boys game, but we will have the boys game directly after this, as Sierra Pudens going to take it down the right sideline, tries to send the through ball to Massey as it meets the foot of Peyton Moore on that far side. They're working it back in now once again. Ball going to be kicked towards the back line here. Marin Overmole going to come out and pick it up, and she hasn't had that tough of a job tonight, Jackson. There's been some games, where some of these Raccoon River teams will really turn it up right away and be kind of attacking that goal box very frequently. But Marin, and credit to the Tigers' back line and their midfield for holding that one, but Marin hasn't had a tough job tonight.
Well, neither keepers have really had it, as Carroll and Kuemper both been kind of dogging it out in the midfield, so neither goalie really having to work too hard so far. But like I said earlier, you don't want to just lay back and relax. You want to keep it up and stay locked in in case something does happen.
I do see Mr. Jeff Storyhan in the building now. We got Connor Crabb, Jeff Storyhan in the building here tonight then, so you'll have photos and videos. Fun thing about that, Jackson, is there is visual and whatever proof and audio proof now of all of what we do, but a ton of substitutions going into the game here. We won't name them all, as there's about 300 of them, but Kuemper going about 5 deep coming off the pitch. We'll see. We got Mia Milligan, Kenzie Yetmar. We've got Tatum Mancini, so they're kind of working that midfield to back line there as they're subbing a couple of girls in and out. And that's the big thing about this Cole, Jackson, just trying to keep people ready to go. And we're seeing that physicality again once again, as Wardell just kind of put Massey on her back there as they were fighting for the ball. But it's going to be a dogfight tonight, especially for both of these teams, as Zoe Feld going to check into the game here. And she's a piece, too, that I think, we've seen her sister kind of come on strong here in track over the last year now. But she's a piece that I think could be very good for this team as well.
Yeah, and I mean, playing that kind of midfield back position, she could work really well for Carroll as well, because she's not a slow girl. She's really fast as well. As long as she can handle the ball and keep it under control, she'll be really good in this game.
And that family's just a very athletic family. I know Molly graduated in my class, played basketball and a couple of other sports throughout her time here in high school, so they've just kind of had that athletic family. As Lorman going to go with her left foot towards the back line. Didn't get to it in time there, but it was a kind of a weird pull-up there as Feld going to come onto the pitch. I thought she had a chance to go get to that one, but ball going to roll to the high jumpers area, Jackson, where the entire Kuemper boys team is kind of just hanging out waiting for halftime to go get ready. Jackson, your thoughts so far? I mean, this has been. I don't mean this in a bad sense. Here is Overmall going to go up and get the save, but this has kind of been in the sense of a boring game if you look at it from the outside in, because both teams have just kind of played good soccer.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't have that mentality about it because really it's a really good-looking game so far, as both teams have just been kind of having a dogfight in the middle. Not just a lot of offense where it's goal, goal, goal. It's just we're gonna make you earn it. Both sides are just like, we're gonna make you earn that goal, and if it's a 1-0 game or if it's a tie, that's just the way it's gonna be. But overall, just a really solid defensive and physical game.
The one thing I forgot to mention, Jackson, that I think is kind of important to the storyline of what these two teams have done here, as Pudence is going to try and work it to the center, and Sierra just dribbling through defenders here. But Jackson, Carroll started back in 2011 and 2012 with 3 straight wins against Kuemper to open up kind of their series against them on bound. After that, Kuemper's now been 15-0 over the last 15 games against Carroll, as we've got a rogue trash bag going onto the field here. Almost going out there and disturbing play. You never like those, Jackson. The windy days is Mackenzie Yetmar going to check into the game here for, never mind. She's going to walk back out, and we'll see if she'll go onto the pitch here soon.
We have a stoppage as Sierra Pudence was talking with the referee.
It looks like Kaylin Pudence going to come off the pitch as well. Kaylin Pudence going to run off the pitch, but they came in to get Riley Massey. So they need another sub into the game as they're 10 down. And Massey going to actually go back out onto the pitch, and they're going to throw the green jersey back out. I think they wanted to sub Massey out, but Kaylin Pudence came out of the game as well, and Massey just kind of ran back out onto the pitch. Kind of a weird thing there, but what I was talking about is just the kind of the dominance Kuemper's had in this rain here, as you've seen. They start with 3 straight wins as Massey working phenomenally. Goes through the through ball there to Lorman. She turns and has a look at the goal. Shot on Marin Overmall with the save in the goal box there. A nice job. Ball almost came out of her hands there, and we saw that with Isak once or twice, where if you shoot it hard enough, it'll go through the hands. But a nice job there from Overmall to keep the hands straight up and use them as a wall instead of trying to catch it sometimes.
Yeah, and that was good job by flicking it up in the air and not just trying to, bring it back towards her body, just flicking it up to, try to get that second chance and make sure you fully secure the ball there.
But again, talking about this dominance, I keep getting interrupted by the good gameplay here, but the dominance that Kuemper's had, I mean, you win 15 straight, that kind of demoralizes the team, but I think you got to look past that if you're Carroll and kind of look at the now instead of the then.
Yeah, and I mean, Carroll, not having the greatest of years over the past couple of years.
Sierra Pudence going to go in the goal. They get across from the left side from Mackenzie Yetmar. Sierra Pudence going to take it off her right side of her foot and score the goal here at the 26:59 mark.
Yeah, good cross there by Lorman there, as Kuemper was able to work that middle there and eventually find Sierra, and Sierra just with the easy chip in there, and Marin Overmore wasn't able to get over that side. She has a talk with her back line there over who was supposed to mark Sierra there, as Kuemper was going to take the early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and I'm writing down my statistics here so we can get our things going. 1-0 Kuemper Knights now is, it just takes that one mistake, Jackson, like we've talked about before. It takes one mistake to kind of take the lid off of the net here. And now Kuemper back in attack mode after Carroll had the free kick from the center, but that was the one mistake that Carroll could not afford, is to give up a goal to Kuemper's best goal scorer right away and get her confidence rolling early.
Yeah, and I feel like Carroll, got to get back on that aggressive side. I mean, the goal mainly right now is just try to get it back on offense. They're just trying to keep it out of their side here. So you got to get back on offense and you got to stay aggressive.
And the biggest thing, too, can't play to not lose. You got to play to win. I mean, once that goal's in there, you can play for the tie if you want, whatever floats your boat there, Jackson, but you just cannot play to not lose.
No, and you should never play that way, whether you're up 10-0 or whether you're up like 8-0 or you're down 1-0. You should always play to win and, not just give in, just keep 100%, stay locked in and just keep going after them.
They're going to have Schmidt-Hubbard on the outside. Casper Bauer going to turn her towards the sideline, and Schmidt-Hubbard going to take a fall there as she kicks it back out of bounds. We'll have Casper Bauer handing the ball back off now, this time to Taylor Bell, as she will work the throw-in. And I was surprised, Jackson, at the fact that when I looked at it here and I was looking at the roster, and I know I talked to you and Jeff about it, Kaylee Hausman not active in the roster today. I didn't ask about it to Coach Massey, but she was kind of a main focal point of their offense the last time we did this broadcast, but she's not actively a part of the rotation currently.
Yeah, and a great player for them in kind of that midfield backline area. As both her and Gabby running really came on in that East Sac game to help them get that win there. So it's definitely kind of a tough loss there for them, but they've adapted to it pretty well so far as they still lead 1-0.
Sierra going to go center field now for Cassie Lorman. Going over to Mackenzie Yetmar once again on the left side. Now back to Pudence in the center here. Trying to give you a little bit of good commentary while we've got the opportunity, but Jackson, Kuemper kind of runs the position called a sweeper here in the back row, and I think that's what they've taken out of the game here without Kaylee. What they did with that sweeper is that they'll kind of send them between left center, right center back, and in the midfield is you'll work all the way around that area. You don't really have a set position, and you kind of work throughout that. But Carroll runs a more traditional, striker, couple of wings. You got a mid or a 3 mids and then 4 center backs and then your goalkeeper. So they run more of a traditional set compared to what Kuemper has gone to. But I think that would really, you have to build into something like that, because I know head coach Gary McGill that we'll talk to after the boys game has done something like that this season where he's went to a different formation, and you have to kind of build and adjust to that.
Yeah, and I think him and Coach Jorgensen had the same idea. We can't just play back and stay on our heels and, wait for them to come to us. We got to go to them and move into that 3-4-3 as both teams have moved to that, and it's worked pretty well.
As a goal, going to roll right by the goal there. Overmole chasing it down, couldn't get to it, but I see Mr. Chase Shabel and Traven Childress over there. Childress a part of that 4x100 squad that ran at Drake this weekend, also with Luol Thargiaf, Camden King, and Landon Myrtle, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were a phenomenal 4x1 team. Ikea Manning down there as well. And Jackson, hard to believe. There's 3 weeks left in the golf season. There's 4 weeks left in the track season until we get to Drake. And soccer's got about 5.
Well, and it's just high school golf, Regular golf, there's always time for that. There's always time for that until about October.
Yeah, but, we talk here at least.
Oh, yeah.
For our spring season. I mean, state golf is in about 4 to 5 weeks here, but their regular season's done in about 3. I mean, state qualifying is, I think, the 14th is the state qualifying for track. As Kuemper working it across here to the front to Kaylin Pudent. She's going to look down her left side for Yetmar at about the 10-yard line. She crosses back in at center field for McKenna Bloom, who takes a touch, driving it inside now for Kaylin Pudent. She works it through a tough kick towards the goal, couldn't get enough under it, and it will be a save there for Marin Overmole. She'll boot this ball up to the 45 before it comes off the foot of Lily Kasperbauer. Spore trying to take a run at it there, but but Carroll they're aggressive, but I think Kuemper just has a little bit more edge to him physicality-wise for a lot of this game so far, because they've been taking the bumps, they've been winning the 50-50 balls, and it's just been kind of that big story of the game, for my opinion, is that both teams, you couldn't afford that mistake, and Carroll had made that mistake early enough that Kuemper capitalized on it.
Yeah, and I think that's just what Coach Massey's put into both of his programs, as well as that mentality, we got to be pretty much just perfect. We got to focus on the little mistakes and patch up the big mistakes, and we just got to work on every little thing that we can. Kind of that perfectionist mentality. You're not satisfied, kind of like Kobe Bryant. What's there to be satisfied about?
And you look at it here, Jackson Kuemper doing a nice job again attacking that midfield as Yetmar going to get it down the left side. She does a really nice job too. You change your pace of play. That's the biggest thing you look at in soccer sometimes, is if you're going 100 miles an hour the entire time, the defense knows where you're going to be and when you're going to get there. But if you change your pace of play, if you have a good change of direction and a good foot to be able to move the ball around, you're able to find different creases and you become unpredictable to the defense, which is one of the biggest aspects you need in a game like soccer.
Yeah, and those little runs could basically turn around the game here. Is we could potentially see either team just get on a little run, going up the left or right side with just 2 people or just 1. And so this game, definitely, if you get a momentum swing, it's huge for either way.
Bernie Coffrin doing a nice job running after that ball there. I'll have to ask him. That might be the fastest I've seen him run after the ball this entire year, but he's had to run after it a couple of times here through some of the games, as Massey and Kasperbauer are going to run back up to center field and get ready to check back in here. But Ken not cold today. I don't think he's ever cold, as he's wearing his patent shorts. He should get those trademarked. His shorts should just get them trademarked so that, every time that somebody thinks about him, it's just the Ken Massey shorts trend. As Jackson, if you look down there, I mean, he's shorted up. He'll wear the tops, and he'll be warm on the top, but he'll wear the shorts underneath, as Kaylin Putin's getting set up at the 24-yard line on the right hash. Looks like they're going to give it to Tatum Mancini instead for the free kick here. She'll run up, going to go low and it'll get through a couple of defenders. Peyton Moore going to work it back to the outside here. And getting tripped there that time going to be Lucy Potoff, another standout wrestler for the Kuemper Knights. Her and Massey got a photo in their KCIM Rewind shirts a couple of weeks ago as Yetmar going to set up the ball for Mancini. She'll get a row of Carroll girls in front of her, kicks it to the far side, and goes between both Mia Milligan and Riley Schlechter on the far side, and it rolls out of bounds. Last touch here by the Kuemper Knights.
Yeah, both had a really good play on the ball there, but just kind of perfect placement on the ball there as it slid right between them, because it was basically the make or break between a goal or a really good defensive save.
Sierra Putin's coming off the pitch, Lucy Potoff as well, Riley Massey and Lily Kasperbauer back on. Lorman going to have a chance at the ball here. It works to that back line. Peyton Moore trying to turn her out. Lorman gets down to the corner and will cross it back in, and the ball's towards the goal and will roll out of bounds. Riley Schlechter there boxing out Riley Massey to keep her away from the goal box. A nice job there of not allowing her to get to the box and have a chance at the goal.
Yeah, and Carroll kind of keeping Massey quiet so far. I mean, she's definitely made a couple plays here and there, but kind of keeping her quiet mostly here. So good job by Carroll's back line doing that there.
Mia Milligan going to chase down a rogue ball to be able to throw it in here. Kuemper's back line forming into about a 3 wide. They've got Mancini running and Miro in the back at the moment here. As ball going to get crossed back in and goes out the back side of the goal. So it will be a corner kick for the Kuemper Knights. Obviously what they've done a couple of times here is send a couple of girls out to about the 5. And then right when Kaylin Pudens goes to kick, you're going to send it in. But they send Massey at the goal because she's about the tallest girl you got out there. They're going to go high and wide. And they're going to call something here. I don't know all of the rules of soccer.
I think it was a foul. I think there was a little pushing and shoving there in the middle.
Well, even with that, I mean, it's fighting for positioning there sometimes. I can't tell what you're going to call and what you're not going to call sometimes with these. Is Riley Schlechter going to go back and kick this free ball, but over the head of a couple of defenders. Sporer kicks it back to the middle where Kaylin Pudens catches it. She'll take a couple of touches, goes inside for Massey Wardell there to receive. Wardell shoving Pudens around a couple of times here, and I don't know if they're going to call a foul. Nope. The official put his hands up there for a minute.
They're going to get Kaylin, though, with the foul there at the end as she trips up Amanda Wardell after Wardell kind of threw the shoulder on that last one.
And like I told you, I mean, if they've got somebody that's going to be physical in Riley Massey, Amanda's about the same equivalent of physicality that you're going to bring for both of them. But in soccer, you got to really know how to sell. I talk about it, it's kind of like Jackson Pro Wrestling. You just got to know how to sell it sometimes and make it look like it's believable long enough that somebody will call the foul as they're going to send a through ball here. Massey almost getting to Overmole there, but Marin doing a nice job of getting to the ball before it comes in to the goal. As it looks like we're going to keep things rolling along here. You've got a Carroll girl getting ready to check in. I don't have a number 8 on my sheet, Jackson, so there's that. Maybe you'll know, being a Carroll kid, who number 8 is. I've got a 9 and a 7. So I guess a new addition to the team? I don't know.
That's Piper Hanlos down there, the sophomore. Yeah, that's Piper Hanlos down there for Carroll.
Maybe she switched from 19 to 8 then, because they've got her down as 19. So let's see, we can write that down here.
Well, and Kuemper going to bring Sierra Pudens back in here on the next dead ball as well. As that corner kick not going to prevail, as Kemper's going to go back on the attack here.
Yeah, and Pudens, I mean, they've given her free reign with this front here. She took it her entire way. Massey trying to chase Schlechter down to get to this ball, and Riley Schlechter taking it and kicking it out of bounds here, so that you kind of flip the field there, Jackson, going from a corner kick on this side and somehow getting the ball to the foot of Pudens and running it down at that time. And I don't even believe that was Sierra, because I think Sierra's standing here on the sideline.
No,
I think that was Kaylin. I was going to say, sometimes you can't tell when the numbers are away from us who is who, but a nice job there from Kaylin, actually. She's got really phenomenal footwork, as she's going to be the one to take this corner kick here from this near side. About 16 minutes to go in half number 1. They go high and inside. Massey takes the header, doesn't get it, and they'll cross it back over to Pudens. She tries to go low, and it's out of bounds.
Kuemper going to go with some substitution here. They're going to bring in Bell. And who else was out there? Number 31, Anna Seidel, the sophomore, and there was one more out there.
Looks like we got some
Megan Keese as well out there as Milligan.
Like we got some other Carroll girls and boys showing up here. If you look out here, Jackson, it's kind of getting full.
Yeah.
On this near side. Nobody wants to sit on the far side because the wind's kind of going at your face. There's Kaylin Pudens getting into a match there with, I believe that was
No, that's Kayla Cummings right there.
Yeah, Kayla Cummings in the midfield. Her sister played soccer last season, not out this season. As ball going to get to Schmidt-Hubbard. She turns it back inside, goes up and over the top of the defense here to Leah Nystrom, who turns back to the backside, tries to drop, gets through a leg of a defender, now turns it back to the middle. Casper Bar there to receive, still just 1-0 with over halfway done in this first half. Kaylin going to drop now to Massey. Massey to Sierra Pudens, goes back to the through ball, and Riley Massey going to lay out Peyton Moore there to try and get the ball. And like I told you, Jackson, sometimes you just got to sell it. You got to sell the fact that something like that happens to get the ball back.
Yeah, and I mean, you really shouldn't in soccer, because it's not what's supposed to, because most people say it's flopping. It's just like most other sports, it's just flop or you're faking it. But in this sport, I would say 85 to 90% of the time it's going to work if you sell it.
Yeah, I know you're a very big fan of flopping. So I know that you know the game very well with the flopping aspect, being a Thunder fan.
Well,
and unethical hoopers over there. Yetmar going to cross it into the goal box. Massey going to take a drop to Kaylin Pudens. Pudens going to go back center, left foot, top of the goal. Marin Overmole going to go off of the board. Sierra taking kind of a spill there as Yetmar's shot going to come up north of the goal as well. And the Tigers going to escape that little run there as Austin Heinrichs and Creighton Halber walking across the camera here in the front of us.
Yeah, and Kuemper going to make some last-second substitution as Leah Grangenet, number 10, and number 17, Kendall Reesberg, going to check in here for the Knights.
And I want to talk about this, Jackson. Kuemper, what a year in sports Kuemper has had. Football team that won a state title, volleyball team that competed at the state tournament. Girls basketball did a phenomenal job, almost winning the Hawkeye 10. Kuemper boys made a run to the state final. As ball going to roll out of bounds here, and Amanda Wardell going to take it and kick it up into the air out of bounds. But I mean, they have been phenomenal in every sport. There has not been a sport this season where they have kind of lacked. And now you look at it here as their boys soccer team obviously still 2-4, but very competitive in a good conference. The girls team possibly can make a run at state. Their boys golf team loaded this year. Their girls golf team loaded this year. But Carroll, I mean, they were on the doorstep of beating a state champion in football. Their volleyball team was pretty good. The girls basketball team took a dip this year, but still competed with some of the best teams in the Raccoon River Conference. The boys team, Jackson, they were on the doorstep of beating a state champion as well. And, I mean, that's kind of the story of what Carroll has been this season for a couple of sports, is on the doorstep of beating state champions. Is Massey going to take the free kick towards the goal, and will be a save for Marin Overmole.
Well, and people were saying that, this year was going to be the drop-off of most sports between both schools, but I thought, it was going to be a little bit longer than that. I think it's going to be at least another potentially 4 years before the sport's going to drop off. And we're going to see soon with baseball and softball, as well as I think both of Kuemper's programs could be really well, as Kuemper baseball bringing in a new coach in Michael Barta, but then their softball program still returning plenty of really solid seniors, especially Miley Schaefer. So they should be pretty decent as well. Carroll's going to should be all right this year. They're going to battle this year in softball as well. But baseball, I'm really excited to see what they're going to look like this year, with their schedule being kind of home game loaded this year.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at that, the addition of Michael Barta, that baseball program is going to do a whole ton for them. And as Wardell going to take a spill there, Massey kind of being physical with her as well. But Mr. Evan Schoen in the building, just pulled up right in front of us here, Jackson. What a celebrity in the building here today.
Well, and we've seen Bill Padley as well.
There's all the celebrities. It's kind of like NBA All-Star Weekend, where you just get about 1,000 celebrities that show up here.
They should just do that every time Carroll Kuemper play. Just have an All-Star week or something like that, or move every sport and they play it all in 1 week.
Put your soccer game on a Saturday and have Carroll All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, just put every single sport in 1 weekend. Just do like a spring game type thing for football.
Spring game for football. Well, we don't play in football anymore.
No.
But have a spring game for football. We'll have golf, soccer, track. We can't do tennis because we're combined. But
same with cross country.
Yeah.
Just a field day. Let's just have like a field day. Every sport competes.
Yeah, but Carroll Tigers kind of holding this midfield down. They've got 10:40 to go to try and survive this first half. And if they can survive this first half, they're going to be working against the wind in the second half. So this has got to be their best shot here so far.
Yeah, and I mean, Carroll definitely has been more of a first half team as we've seen this year, but they've definitely battled more in the second half. And Kuemper, I feel like, has been, just an all-around good team in the game. They're not really which half is which. So Carroll definitely going to have to do some work in that second half, but they just got to hang on to that 1-0 lead here for Kuemper.
And a tough spill there from Cummings and from Cassie Lorman as Marin Overmore going to come out and grab that ball. They hooked arms there and both fell down, but the official goes, both of you initiated the contact. I can't really call it on one of you.
Yep, play on.
Kuemper working the back into the midfield here for Lorman. Drops it back out once again, going across. Ball in the air here. Going to be off the body of Moore, and Wardell going to go low to Kasperbauer. She's going to try and go to that back corner. Mia Milligan chasing it now. Turns it back inside off the foot of Schlechter, and she'll turn it back out to the outside. Milligan throws it in. Ball working back towards the goal. They work towards the center, and we were told, when I played soccer, you turn it back out. You don't turn it back towards the middle and towards the goal. As Sierra Putin's going to drop this time for Kasperbauer. She'll turn it back outside, and a drop. Nope, she'll turn it back up. Kasperbauer to the far side. Shot on goal in the corner, and it goes in, Jackson. What a shot from Megan Keys. Put it on the top right corner, curved it in, and dropped it in for the goal.
Yeah, top bin there from Megan Keys, having the confidence to take that one from there. She had the opportunity as Marin was kind of hanging in the middle there, as she was able to take it all the way across there. It wasn't the most powerful, but it was able to get it over there and over the outstretched arm of Overmole and in the top bin for the goal.
And, what a shot from Keys once again. She's one of the seniors, Jackson, on this team there, and she's scored a couple of goals on the season, but put that one up and over the top here as the Knights back on the offensive end. It is 2-0 Kuemper Knights as Milligan going to get through the defense and find Wardell's foot. And that'll roll out the backside of the goal here. And they will put the ball in the corner once again. We've got substitutions here for Kaylin Pudence and McKenna Bloom, Riley Massey, Mackenzie Yetmar, Tata Mancini, Marin Mural. Your entire offensive lineup just coming back into the game here. As we've got the Knights rolling back out here. Sierra going to take a break on the bench here for the Knights as they lead 2-0. Going to send everyone outside of the goal box, running them back in. Corner kick from Bloom, going to go low and direct. Carroll has the ball for a chance here. They're going to turn and try to get it into Massey. Kaylin has it now, goes with her left foot, shot on goal. Going to be no good as Marin Overmole going to come out and grab that ball. But Carroll's got to play a little bit more sound on that back line now. They were sound to start the game, but now they're just kind of making a couple of those mental mistakes, kicking it out of the backside of the goal and giving a corner kick, not staying in your shape here. You got to keep your shape and keep this game very clean to win it.
Yeah, and I feel like, they got to clean up that middle area there and try to intercept some of those passes. Kuemper, one of the better passing teams out there, as they don't really miss on most of their passes here, so definitely got to try to get a couple turnovers off that as well. But then also, like we said, just getting back on offense, they need to try to get something going on the offensive end, as they had Maddie Brady clear one up there, but nobody was able to get to it before it went out of bounds.
Lily Freeze talking to Coach Steph Jorgensen down there. She'll head to the center line once again. Riley Massey down in the corner, trying to cross a ball in. She works it back to her left side, left foot, finding Lorman now. She works in the center, out and out of Pudence as they're going to cross it to Yetmar. Nice job from Peyton Moore to get that ball out of there. We're going to tip it up over the defense here for a second. Pudence dribbling through the defense. Kaylin takes a shot with her right foot, left side, and it rolls in for the Kuemper Knights.
Yeah, and Kuemper just winning that midfield there. Great shot there by Kaylin Pudence, able to get that touch there, do a couple dribbles, and find it off the right foot there and just go in that bottom corner there as Overmole not able to dive and get.
It's 3-0 Kuemper Knights here, and they have, once I said that, Jackson, earlier, I said, once you win that midfield and you have that look at it, you're going to start seeing the tables turn here. And we've seen that early as they won the midfield. That was the Kuemper Knights, and now they have started to open up this game in a way that we did not see early in the game, as Destiny Schaefer going to kick that one to the foot of Kaylin Pudence. They've got Sierra back out there. Riley Massey crossing to the left side to Mackenzie Yetmar once again. She'll go up and over the top as the ball going to work back out to Kasperbauer now. She goes through the far side to Milligan, received there by Breddy, then over to Kaylin Pudence, who tries to send the through ball to Riley Massey. Couldn't get to it. Jersey Spora next to McKenna Bloom. She's going to dribble. Bloom had a look at the goal for a second, crosses the through ball. Sometimes, it's about pulling the trigger, Jackson, as well there. And that's one of the biggest things, I think, in soccer is the timing of what you do, because even a split millisecond here is Gabby running going to take the ball and turn it back up this left side. A split millisecond can be the difference between an easy look on goal and a save for a keeper.
Yeah, and I feel like, you just got to stay ready there as well. As now Carroll going to do a quick substitution here before the throw-in. Is Carroll just trying to keep some bodies fresh here, Mason, is Steinkamp coming off the field looking kind of exhausted.
Turning it up the field here now, going to be Piper Honlos. Finds McKenna Bloom's foot for the Kuemper Knights as Honlos dribbling back out. Works to the far side once again for Destiny Schaefer. She'll turn it up the left side now, trying to go past Milligan. Gets down the left side, little touch to Lily Freeze. Freeze takes a shot down the left sideline, and it will roll out of bounds. But, it's one of the biggest things there, Jackson. If you fall behind the 8 ball in soccer, you're never going to get in front. It's hard once you lose that timing. Once you let your moment pass, that's one of the biggest things.
Well, and especially if the lead just continues to grow, as well as Kuemper's been doing a nice job just keeping that lead and just building off of it here as we approach that 5-minute mark. But, Carroll's just got to try and get a little bit of momentum back. They got to keep it over on this side here on offense and try to get some shots, as I think they've only had 2 shots so far on goal, 1 shot on goal. So we'll see if they can try to get it turned around here just before we get to half.
And I didn't know if you caught the quote there.
Oh, I really wasn't paying attention to it, so I probably didn't.
I was going to say, I didn't think you were going to catch that 8 ball quote. Are you a fan of Suits?
I am.
Harvey Specter. I was going to say, I stole that line there for a minute from him and Mike Ross. And
great show.
Yeah, it is a great show. Watch that. I talk about it all the time on the radio. That and Dexter, probably the 2 shows that are the 2 best ones that I've watched. As Sierra Putin's going to cross it through Riley Massey's legs. Peyton Moore going to take a stab at it and kick it up that right sideline once again. The far sideline for us here is Carroll and Kuemper still, again, you're still fighting for it in that midfield, but Carroll's just kind of lost that edge early in the game with the 3 goals that they've allowed for Kuemper. As Sierra going to take a shot on goal, and Marion going to go up and get it. And a nice job there from Overmall to go up with 2 hands and, again, like that, using the wall instead of using it as kind of a catching barrier.
Yeah, and just like I said earlier when she had that save, just tipping it up in the air and just giving herself that second chance and not, just getting too focused on it, just finding that second chance opportunity to just haul it in.
Kaylin Pudens dropped it over in front of Riley Massey. Saw Mr. Josh Lucan, the Carroll boys baseball coach, here just a minute ago, as he's getting ready for a season that's going to start about the same time we have state track, Jackson. That's the fun part about baseball, is that most of the baseball seasons will start the same week that we have state track, as Kuemper working it across to their front side again. Got the boys from the Kuemper Knights program walking around trying to stay warm as they get ready for their game after this girls' game.
Yeah, and much like you mentioned with baseball, both teams been practicing for, I think, a month now, as Kuemper's been, using every day they can, as well as I'll drive past and see them out here every night, and they've both been having scrimmages. I think Carroll's got another scrimmage, I was told, against Manning on Sunday as well at 2 and 4 o'clock.
Yeah, probably. We don't keep up with the scrimmages, so I have no clue, but I want to talk kind of as well about the facilities that we have here in this area. The Carroll Rec Center making that addition. It looks beautiful nowadays inside of their Merchants Park, one of the best baseball facilities in the state of Iowa. And then the Carroll Athletic Stadium, just couldn't have been 10 years ago, was it? I think
close.
8. I think 8 years ago.
I think it's 8, yeah.
They opened up the Carroll Athletic Stadium. Beautiful turf field, beautiful stands, nice press box, all of that. So we're really blessed to have some of the best facilities in the state of Iowa here. Sierra Putin's up top, going to drop it to her sister Kaylin. Kaylin going to swivel through the defense here on the left side, finding Massey. She's going to take a touch too big, dropping to Pudens again. Back out to Massey. She's going to turn shot on goal left side. Marin Overmole pins it to the ground there to keep the ball out of the goal.
Yeah, Overmole doing a good job kind of cleaning it up here after giving up that goal there. Just trying to keep the sheet somewhat clean here before they get to half here.
The Knights, again, playing some phenomenal defense. The Carroll Tigers working it across to the 40. Yatmar turns back up the field, finding Kaylin Pudens down the left side. She'll take a touch down to the corner, trying to get to where she can cross it. She'll turn it back in and tip it off of Amanda Wardell there.
Yeah, Kuemper going to have that corner kick here as Kaylin Putin's going to line up as she'll put her hand up. Kuemper going to bring 2 in the box.
Overmole came out to go get it and tipped it. And when she did there, Sierra was the last one to touch it. But that's a tough one when you, as a keeper, obviously, you want to go get the ball. But the tough part about that is, you go get the ball. And if it pops out anywhere, you probably give a free look at the goal. Is Marion going to have the goal kick there into the foot of Kaylin Pudens? She'll drop it to Massey. We try to send the through ball to Sierra Pudens. Back to Massey once again.
Yeah, Kuemper still keeping that pressure up as they're trying to get one more here before the half. Is now Brady trying to just get rid of it.
Sporer going to try and turn up the field there. She crosses the out-of-bounds line down the sideline here. Kuemper going to be going for the throw-in. It'll be Lily Kasperbauer right about the 30 as she'll throw in down the line to Yetmar. Yetmar going to turn back to the center for Sierra. Sierra from about 20 out. Takes a couple of touches, tries to go low, and drills Riley Massey in the leg as she goes for the shot on goal.
Steinkamp with the hustles. Now she'll run down that side, and she'll get tripped, but they're not going to call that anything as it'll be Carroll ball.
I think they called an out-of-bounds on Kuemper, but no call on that other one, as that one was a big spill. I know it looks like they will call it now.
Oh, yeah.
Steinkamp going to drop the ball and free kick it towards the center. And they were saying that the ball was rolling, so you got to redo it now. Nope, they're going to call that one out as the halftime rolls. So we will, Jackson, step away. We're going to kind of collect our thoughts here. We'll step away for 3 minutes. When we come back, we'll have our halftime thoughts and everything to break down this first half.
St. Anthony Regional Hospital, the regional leader in healthcare, dedicated to improving the health of the people they serve. At St. Anthony Regional Cancer Center, you'll find the convenience of cancer and oncology consultation and treatment in one convenient location. At St. Anthony Clinic, you'll find a team of doctors and nurses that care about you and your family's health. St. Anthony Clinic is devoted to comprehensive health care for people of all ages. For every stage of life, always look to the cross. Always St. Anthony.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 16 years running. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
Dries Company.
People want and deserve more comfort, efficiency, and reliability, both in their homes and places of work. Dries Company will be there to meet these challenges, whether we are designing a new system or servicing your existing equipment. We are a rapidly growing company that strives to meet and exceed all your expectations. No matter if you are looking to buy new appliances or need the help from one of our certified technicians, we are here for you. We pride ourselves in our installation and service. Dries Company, servicing the Carroll area since 1933.
Motor Inn of Carroll is your hometown team for all of your sales, service, parts, and collision needs all season long. From the helpful sales staff to the area's best service department, Motor Inn of Carroll has the expertise that you need to stay on the road and keep that auto investment looking good. From work to play, they have it all. Good luck to all the area teams from Motor Inn of Carroll.
From footings to framing to finish. For farm, home, or commercial, for more than 90 years, Wall Lake Lumber Company has been proud to help our communities grow. With 4 convenient locations and one of the largest building material inventories in the area, we are sure to be able to fill all your building needs. From project design and estimating to friendly advice, we can't wait to be part of the process for you. Wall Lake Lumber, with locations in Wall Lake, Lakeview, Odebolt, and Carroll. We're not your grandpa's lumberyard.
Mason Nealon here in this halftime break. Jackson Kerrigan ran to the concession stands, as always. Got to do our food reviews on the air here for the Carroll Athletic Stadium. Our halftime score, 3-0 here in favor of the Kuemper Knights. I know Megan's probably getting tired of running ads out there. We're going to run one more 3-minute break here real quick, though, Megan, as we wait for Jackson to get back up here.
Oh, hell no! Not again! Has the roof on your home or business been damaged by the recent hailstorm? Does your roof need looked at? Let our hail damage experts at Brinks Exteriors work for you to get you a new roof. Call 712-ROOF-PRO. We know the last thing you want to do is worry about your biggest investment. Hail happens, but we can fix it. Call Brinks Exteriors now for a free roof inspection. 712-ROOF-PRO.
This fall, cozy up with internet that keeps up. With WindSpeed Fiber Internet from Western Iowa Networks, enjoy 1 gig speeds for just $99.99 a month. Perfect for streaming, football, fall shows, and working from home. No lag, no interruptions, just the speed you need all season long. Other speed packages available starting at just $59.99 a month. Call or text 712-775-2946 for details or visit westinet.com today. Western Iowa Networks, connecting you to what matters for 120 years.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
For details, contact Nicole Unken at Nicole Unken Agency.
These DMACC Carroll campus students are tomorrow's nurses. They're leaders, smart, dedicated, and they care about their community.
My experience in DMACC nursing so far, I get to make a difference in people's lives during their most vulnerable times, and I build friendships along the way.
The interaction between the faculty, staff, and professor with the students are really close. They really help us a lot every time.
Get started today.
Collins Aerospace, we believe in investing in our employees' future. That's why we are proud to offer our Employee Scholar Program. Whether you want to pursue a professional certificate or a degree related to the industry, we offer full tuition reimbursement and even paid study time. Our Employee Scholar Program is the perfect tool to help achieve the future you've been dreaming of. At Collins, we don't just want to offer you a job, we want to offer you a career and a future in aerospace. For details on the Collins Aerospace Employee Scholar Program, visit us at careers.rtx.com.
Family owned and operated since 1948, Quant Auto Salvage is the area's best full-service scrap facility. Whether you are looking to sell scrap iron, vehicles, or batteries, or you need to locate that difficult-to-find part for your vehicle, they have what you need. And if it isn't in stock, they can locate it with their nationwide parts database, or you can pull it yourself at their You Pull It. Quant Auto Salvage. They sell the best and recycle the rest on Kitty Hawk Avenue in Carroll.
I gave Megan my blanket because I felt bad. All right. We're back here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. Jackson in his white coat making his way back up here with our food so we can review it for you. Mr. Connor Crabb in the press box here as well. He's going to be doing video highlights for us. Jeff Storyhound out there somewhere as well doing some photo stuff for us. So, again, like I said, there is visual and audio proof that we were here and did something. Jackson makes his way back into the press box. Brought us nachos and pretzel bites? Cinnamon pretzel bites. So, I'll review both of these for Jackson. Let's see.
Hey, I'm reviewing too.
Don't steal all of them, because I paid for these. Let's get a bite at these. That is very good.
Ooh, those are good today.
See, but how do we review another one? Because Kuemper, we'll use this as Kuemper's time. Because Carroll's got another game on Thursday. We'll try the nachos now.
Oh, here, what do you get the pretzel?
Pretzel bite, that's a 10.
Yeah, that is a 10. That's so good.
Nachos, not a huge fan of them. Cold cheese. It's a cold day and we got cold cheese. I'd say a 4. The chips are solid, but the rest of it not very good. Cooper Flagg just won Rookie of the Year. As we speak.
Expected, probably.
I'm like Shams, but for the radio station. But again, Jackson, 1:42 to go here in this halftime break. Talk to me about what you saw in this first half, what you feel like are the big points.
Yeah, I mean, Kuemper's just kind of been the attacking team. You know, Carroll did start out really good on offense, as we've seen, Mason. You know, they started to attack and, you know, come out with that mentality, but then Kuemper just came and smacked back at them and just kept finding ways to score here, especially towards that later half of the first half, as they've been working it really well here. As we'll see if Carroll can try to get a goal right coming out of this half here, and if Kuemper can keep their foot on the gas.
I'll tell you what. I'm eating these cinnamon bites. I don't know if Jeff is listening or not. These cinnamon bites, if you give me these and some hot chocolate, I think they'd be elite.
That does sound kind of good.
But yeah, this second half coming up here soon. I mean, it's going to take a lot for Carroll to get back into this game. Down 3-0, going into the win now against a team. When you look out at Kuemper, I mean, they're skipping onto the field, doing some warm-ups, doing stuff like that. They just look more energized. And that's not a knock on Carroll. Kemper's just been kind of that team all season. They come out, they play as a united front, and they've been energized very much so.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're Carroll, you know, you got to have that mentality, you know. Second half, it's 0-0. You know, just got to play that way. You know, you could be down 9-0 or 1-0. You just got to play it like it's 0-0. You know, new half, new us. You know, let's go out there and play some ball. As now Kuemper going to come out onto the pitch here, as Carroll going to work towards D-Mac, and Kuemper going to work towards the wreck here, as Carroll going to kick it off here as Jersey Spore gets in that middle here. Mason is set to kick us off.
And I tell you what, Jackson, cinnamon.
Is that the word of the day?
Let me give you guys the word of the day, cinnamon. I don't even know how to spell very well, so I'm not even going to try there. So it's not my job to spell. My job's to say. But you know what? It's all good and fun here in our broadcast booth. But yeah, there was some hot chocolate or some warm apple cider.
Ooh, some warm apple cider. That hits different.
I don't know if we've got music on out there or something.
They turned it off. I just heard it go off.
I was going to say, both teams are jumping up and down and kind of swinging their arms and stuff. And I'm like, maybe Mr. Beeson's over there is just running the Ox and he's got a phenomenal Ox game. You think Coach Beeson's got a phenomenal Ox game?
Yeah, he does. I've listened to it multiple times, especially when they're warming up for basketball or at basketball practice.
Game going on here in the second half. Jackson and I absolutely demolishing this food. This Kuemper Knight's going to be back on the offensive end here. Again, I talked to Connor Crabb about this. I mean, Kuemper's dominance over the last couple of years. They're 13th in 1A right now. And they look like they are not going to be slowing down here anytime soon. And for this series in general, 15 of the last 15 games have gone Kuemper's way. Out of the 18 total, they're 15-3, with Carroll winning the first 3 here. But I mean, it's just been utter dominance. And tonight, you're looking at it from a different perspective. I mean, Carroll's been hanging in there and playing solid ball.
Yeah, and you know, Kuemper, you normally being a consistently really good team in women's soccer. You know, they had those really good teams, especially, you know, Catherine Mayhall was a great player. You know, they didn't have the greatest years when she was in school, but they were still a decent team as well. And I mean, Carroll's had those years with, you know, the likes of Jaden Kirsch and some other great athletes that they've had. But historically, though, Kuemper has been the more well-rounded and better football club here. But Carroll just trying to, you know, come up on the rise here as Kuemper continues to rise.
And this is a sport that ain't going anywhere. Jeff and I have talked about this hundreds of times. This sport only continues to grow in the state of Iowa. It's Riley Massey going on the left side, takes a touch shot on goal into the back of the goal off the hands of our keeper, Marin Overmall, as the Knights still attacking. They make it 4-0 at the 38-31 mark.
Massey just going on that run down the left, just, you know, taking that pass there and just putting her foot on the gas and just going straight down the middle there towards Overmall. Overmall tried to, you know, get her hands out there and push it forward off the shot, just deflect it forward, but couldn't get it to go forward, and it ends up going off her hands as it was too powerful off the foot of Massey, and it ends up going in the back of the net.
Got to use the thick part of your hands, not the fingertips, because that ball can roll right off of them. Got to go close it off hands and got to keep it in front of you, Jackson, is that one. That's kind of the key factor to being a keeper. And, I'm not saying that from experience, but if you just use kind of your logic there. But, again, looking outside, weather not too bad.
A little windy.
Windy and cold, but no rain. And it wouldn't be soccer at the Carroll Athletic Stadium if it was 95 degrees and sunny.
No, perfect soccer weather for Coach Gary McGill and Coach Ken Massey as well.
I asked both of them. They both said it's great. Massey dribbling through the defense. Sierra Pudent's left foot goes to the right side of the goal. And Sierra Pudent knocks in her second goal of this evening.
Yeah, within, I think, about a minute 5 there, Kuemper able to get one back in the goal there as Kuemper just continuing to pour it on and Carroll having no answers. That back line not really giving much give there for Kuemper as Kuemper was able to easily get back there and find the back of the net.
And I tell you what that wasn't even a minute and a half, Jackson. They scored at the 38-31 mark and just scored again at the 37-48 mark. So they were under a minute there. Kuemper making no mistakes here in this second half as they're rolling along. Carroll just, the wheels starting to come off a little bit here. Got to play some more solid defense.
Yeah, and I feel like, they need a confidence booster here. They need like a turnaround, and they need to get a little bit of a run here down and try to give Antover some action here. As you look at her, she really hasn't gotten much action tonight, Mason.
Massey left foot at the goal. Marin Overmole keeping it out of the goal there. Nice job. But yeah, maybe if she comes up here, I'll ask her. Maybe, this is one of those days where you're bored at work.
Yeah.
But no, it is a nice job there to keep the ball out of the goal. But for the Kuemper Knights, they're working it back over to the far side. Run inside for Sierra Pudent, and Marin Overmole able to save it.
Good job there by Overmole, bouncing back after those back-to-back goals and able to get back-to-back saves here. Hopefully she can get herself back into this one and try to not have as many shots go her way as Carroll trying to get something going on offense here, but Schmidt-Hubbard falls to the floor.
Yeah, kind of a tough fall there. It looked like Aubrey may have came up a little bit slow and gingered there as Kaylin Pudent's going to make kind of a run towards the goal. Backside pass off the foot of a Carroll defender goes towards the goal. Nice job, though, from Overmole to go up and seal it. As we've got clock winding down. The boys, looks like Kuemper boys maybe, baseball out there practicing.
Carroll boys.
Carroll boys baseball practicing. Jackson, but if you look out there right now, Kuemper passing the ball really well.
Yeah, just really fluent passes here as Kuemper going on that run as Kaylin had a chance there, but it's saved there by Schlechter. But, making those great passes, like I said, is Kemper's one of those better teams at just connecting passes and finding the open passes.
Ball going to work now up to Schmidt-Hubbard in that back line. Kuemper going to keep it going as Tatum Mancini going to fire this thing about 50 yards down the field. Sierra Pudent's going to turn the field back to the outside on her left. Looks down line, finds Yetmar, who goes back in the center for Massey. Kuemper boys suited up, walking out here. There's a foul going to be called here on the Kuemper Knights. It'll be a free kick for the Carroll Tigers. Kuemper Knights, no stranger to posting on social media about, how big this game means to them. I follow their men's soccer account, their Kuemper FC account, and they specified it right away. If this isn't the type of game that gets you fired up, I mean, I don't know what is. And, this is that crosstown rivalry. They don't hate each other, but, they have that of we want to be the best in the town here as they cross over the goal. But an offsides call here by Mackenzie Yetmar. Going to give the ball back to the Carroll Tigers.
Well, and just like you said with Kuemper, Carroll doing the same thing as well. As I seen they posted their hype video on their TikTok. The Carroll FC page did it. Yeah, it's definitely one of those games, the kids don't totally hate each other. It's not like, oh, we'll never talk to you and we're going to start fights and stuff. It's just, we want to be the ones that say, hey, we won the game this year. We're the better team in town, that kind of thing. Not just like, oh, we're going to start fist fights as soon as we see each other.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Well,
it's just two groups that it's not hate, but they want to win really bad.
It's bitter, but it's not like, malice at the palace 24/7.
If it's malice at the Palace, Jackson, you getting out there and fighting?
No.
You're not one of the fans that wants to throw cups at one of the Kuemper kids or at the Carroll kids as well?
I do not want to be a Pistons fan throwing stuff at Pacers fans.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone out there would defend either of us. So,
Jeff Wankman.
Jeff ain't here. I hope he's listening. But ball going to roll out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll as they work back towards DMAC right now. Jackson Still need to get it on their side and get some stuff rolling as this game still rolls along here. 33 mark, and I tell you what, being 5-0, 2 goals right away here. Carroll still held a little strong on that back line now that they let those kind of early mistakes happen.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just trying. They're really trying their best, but they just can't get through that midfield as they can get it up to their attacking players in Schmidt, Hubbard, and Spoor, as well as Nystrom, but they just can't get beyond there and try to get a run and use their speed. They're just getting out physical for the ball.
Kaylin Pudens dribbling through the center of the defense here. Drops inside to Mackenzie Yetmar. She dribbles through. Shot on goal. Going to go left side, and Mackenzie Yetmar dropping it in for the Kuemper Knights. Her first goal of the night here. Some embrace from some of her teammates, making it 6-0. Pudens, nice job there again as well to try and get the ball to her. Mackenzie Yetmar going and putting that one in. Going to her left side, top of the left. Going to make it 6-0 Kuemper Knights. As we roll along here in this second half, they've scored at the 38, 31, 37, 48, and a 33-07 mark.
Yeah, and much like we said, Mason, Kuemper just finding those ways to make those passes. And we said, Kuemper's probably going to win those games by continuing to make those great passes. And that's just what they've continued to do, is make great passes and get into the box and able to find their open shots. As now, that's going to be booted out of bounds by Peyton Moore there with about 32:46 left.
I wish the stadium, they do it in football, had the hot chocolate. Because those cinnamon bites were banger. But if they had hot chocolate, maybe I'll go somewhere and get some after this when we go back to type. Well, not we, me.
Is there going to be anywhere open that has freaking hot chocolate?
Hy-Vee.
Maybe.
I'll have to make it at the station, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully Jeff's done with a lot of the golf. By the time I'm back, I can just do 2 soccer games, be done.
Chef Mason at the office. What do you know about it?
Why do you think my Instagram handle is Chef Nemo?
Wow.
I can cook you a mean microwavable mac and cheese, some ramen noodles in the microwave, some eggs. I'm joking.
The college kid starter pack right there. The ramen noodles and the warmed up eggs.
Ramen noodles, eggs. You ever had toast? That's my signature.
Yeah.
Not even toast, just bread. Just straight up bread. I can make some mean bread, and by that I mean open the package. You know what the best part is, Jackson? Air fryers.
Or deep fryers, if you know how to work a deep fryer.
See, but an air fryer is easier.
That's true. It's less stuff because you got to change out the oil. But
throw the stuff in there and just boom. Schmidt Hubbard kicking it to the middle here. Spoor going to turn up and look for a run. She'll boot it to the backside here as Lily Free is going to try and run into it. They're going to turn it back up this time instead. For the Knights that time was Anna Seidel kicking it out of bounds.
That one almost hitting the trophy as well. There's this streaked out to the track there.
If you had that trophy and it could be filled with one thing, Jackson, what would you fill that trophy with?
Chocolate milk.
You would fill it with chocolate milk? Not money, not nothing?
Well, you got to have something like in the Indy 500 where they drink out of it.
I think that's the PG-13 answer for a lot of people here.
Well, we can't say the real answer on the live here. Come on.
Well, we're not. Neither of us can. Jeff could. Maybe I'll make Jeff say the answer. Sierra Putin's going to work to her right. Fighting her off. Going to be Schlechter. Putin's going to send it down the line and out of bounds. And it'll be a last touched here by Carroll.
Jeff would say Cherry Coke Zero. Easily.
Very true.
That
me and him both drink the Cherry Coke Zeros together. As McKenna Bloom going to try and send the through ball, which will roll back out of the backside of the net. Got Mr. Trevin Weber to our left here in the other press box. He's probably working on some homework.
I would assume so. He's definitely, maybe he should work on that Spanish homework over there, as he missed a couple days with that after the concussion. But
I think he shook his head yes that he's working on the homework. So, everyone knows Trevin's a very good student there as he's getting ready for this game as well. He gets to watch his Carroll Tigers take on the Kuemper Knights today. It's gonna be both Putin's girls as Kaylin gonna come out with the ball towards the center, drops into Massey. She's gonna dribble through the defense and trip Peyton Moore. He got through a couple of defenders, not able to get it to go. The ball gonna be kicked out that time by Schmidt Hubbard once again, and it will be, I believe, Carroll ball, Kuemper ball. It'll be Kuemper ball, and then they'll reverse it back to Carroll ball. I was very confused on a couple of those there. Throw-in attempt, going to go to the foot of Kaylin Pudens. Carroll going to work it back over. Bloom use their shin guard the way you're supposed to. Obviously using it as a protector. Massey, center field, has a look at the goal, goes left and puts it through for the Kuemper Knights. Jackson, that is her second goal of the night.
Yeah, great job there by, who was that, Pudens right there in the middle? Or was it Massey? It was Massey right there in the middle. As I couldn't really see, there was kind of a group of bodies there. But Massey, you know, just having an all-around, well-rounded night. Starting out a little slow here as she was trying to find her way around here. But she's able to figure it out here in this second half with about 29-12 left as she's able to score another one.
Riley Massey's got to be one of the most impressive freshmen that is, whether it's this area or in the state of Iowa. I mean, she moving from defense to the offensive end, the physicality she brings, she's strong, fast, aggressive. I mean, she's an all-around soccer athlete, and she's going to be a gem for this team as ball going to be kicked through and up in the air. Touch going to work back out to Schmidt-Hubbard here for the Tigers. Got Mackenzie Etmar and Mia Milligan. Going to check back in. I forgot to tell you, Jackson, we're going to have Sierra, give me a second here, Sierra almost had a shot on goal there, but we're going to have a couple of Tigers and a couple of Knights making their way up to the press box here later. You're going to have to run out and grab Steph and tell her to come up, and you're going to have to remind Ken to send two of the girls up.
I got you. Trust me. I'm a pretty good runner, so I got you.
But yeah, well, we got a little substitution here in Jackson. You know what's interesting to me? You ever seen like the Nito stuff here recently? How they're like sold out everywhere?
No.
They're like people. It's like Pokemon. As a kick going here from Mia Milligan, a little chip in for Pudens. Shot on goal, no good. Yetmar taking the touch here, but so it's like Pokemon with the scalpers, where like people will go buy a ton of them and resell them. They're doing that with like those Nito stress ball looking toys now.
Can I be honest with you?
What?
I never got into Pokemon.
I'm a little bit into Pokemon. It's just more of it's cardboard gambling.
I was into sports cards and stuff like that because I have a bunch of like sports collector cards at home and stuff that I've not touched in years that I want to sell.
One of my longtime friends, Gus Burns, has a 1-of-1 signed Mason Nealon soccer card from 4th grade. Not even joking. Kick going to be dropped here inbounds as we'll get back to your soccer broadcast. Going into the goal box, and a touch here from both teams. Sierra tried to shoot on a goal, couldn't get it to go. Carroll Tigers going to run back out of the box with the ball here. But, yeah, so if you know Gus Burns, you can ask him for it, the picture of it. There's a 1-of-1 signed with blue Sharpie, red and white. Mason Nealon 1-of-1 4th grade soccer card, Jackson. That exists.
I'd be honored if I was ever given that from Gus as well.
I was going to say, that is the only one in existence. He's the sole keeper of that, and I've seen him because he's put it on a magnet on his wall. So I know where it is, and I know it's safe. But, yeah, again, beautiful night here for some soccer. The boys getting warmed up for both teams here. 26:39 to go, and it's a 7-0 at Kuemper Knights as they, getting into the territory. We don't ever want to use kind of these words with some of our local teams, but getting into the territory of the old 10-0. We don't wish that happens, as we want both teams to be able to compete and have some fun today, as Lorman going to work it down to the sideline, and it's kicked out of bounds by Amanda Wardell. But if Kuemper keeps this scoring barrage on Jackson, this could be an early game.
Yeah, and I feel like with the way Kuemper's kind of turned it on here in the second half, that might be the way this turns out here, as Carroll trying their best to answer, but just haven't been able to answer, as now Zoe Feld going to hand over to the center flag here to check in on the next dead ball here for Carroll, as well as Destiny Schaefer.
Ball on the ground here. It looks like that'll be McKenna Bloom taking a shot the left side. No good here for the girls, as we're still getting, some pushover here. Rolling along in the second half. Jackson asked me a question. I have no clue where he is looking at right now. Amanda working back up to the front here for Wardell. As you asked me if it was Mr. Blankman here, that is not the right shade of red for that car. Plus, I think he wants to go home and upload his golf interviews and type golf so that when I get home, I just have to type some soccer.
Fair point.
Because then early night tonight, it's a early night tomorrow, or early day tomorrow, actually. It's going to be a late night tomorrow because I'm going to go cover both tennis and track with Jeff in Audubon tomorrow.
Also, the rewind show tomorrow as well.
That's why I was like, it's going to be an early morning because I got to go home, to the office and set this all up for tomorrow morning as we've got our KCIM Rewind show. Wardell on the back line takes a touch. Ball near the goal. Lorman's got a one-on-one. Goes at Overmole. And it will be a save. But Lorman, I mean, right there, if she goes anywhere left or right, that's probably a goal as Overmole went dead center. But, you know, that was a tough one there as she couldn't get it to roll in the middle. But 2:40 or 20:40 to go here. Gosh, 2:40. We'd be almost done with this game here, Jackson. But, you know, we've got things rolling along pretty fast in this game so far as both teams' action have kind of picked up here in this second half. But, you know, main takeaways so far, we've just got to, if you're Carroll, you got to really get this into the front of your body, get it going forward. Can't be kind of working backwards. And I think Jackson's saying he wants to see that signed card. Maybe I'll ask Gus if he can send us a picture and grace our presence with that one. I had a bunch of cards when I was that age with like my face on it, and then I gave them to like some of my friends, whatever. But the only one that I had when I was old enough to really remember was that one. So I signed it and gave it to Gus. So
Gus, I'll Venmo you for it if you let me have it.
I don't think he's listening. Riley Massey dropping it off to Mia Milligan. Peyton Morgan to kick it back up into the air. Kuemper sending a plethora of girls onto the pitch coming up here in just a little bit. Far side here, Taylor Bell going to get to the midfield as Schaefer sends it out of bounds for the Carroll Tigers. Has Addie had a single lick of action besides maybe one touch this game?
I think she had one save, and that was it. And maybe a couple pickups, and that was about it. She looks kind of cold back there. She's been kind of, you know, just shivering back there a little bit. Hadn't had to move around much as well, but, you know, might have to start doing some jumping jacks back there just to stay warm.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a cold game out there when you ain't moving very much, and Addie's kind of just been standing at the 20 and maybe inching her way up forward, but she hasn't even been in. She hasn't really stayed in the goal box either. She's just kind of been walking around there as Massey going to try and drop off here around Wardell. Wardell going to turn her back outside and get into a little shoving match there as Kaylin Pudence has it kicked off of her foot and rolls towards the sideline. Wardell going to sprint to it. Almost lays out a couple of girls and almost lays out one of the assistant coaches for Kuemper. Didn't mean to, but, you know, when you got a girl barreling down at 15 miles an hour, Jackson, you almost get drilled.
Yeah, well, that's what happens occasionally sometimes, and she was dialed in on the ball there, but just wasn't able to get there.
Jackson's always dialed in. That's the big thing.
You know it. Gotta always stay dialed in.
Dialed in at prom this week, so I got bruised.
I
was waiting for that one. As ball going to roll out of bounds. Last touch there by Freeze. Yeah, both the cups actually at center field, Jackson. You've got the boys and the girls Fortnite cups out there. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It reminds me of, like, OG Fortnite cups, and that's why I'm like, or the Piston Cup.
Yeah.
The big one looks like the Piston Cup from Cars.
Just the wings would have to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I think they're, like,
handles. Yeah.
Like they're out, not just little kind of half-heart looking things. Is Massey going to dribble to center, finding Sierra Pudence. Pudence turning again, drops to Casper Bauer at the 25, then back into Massey near the goal box. She turns back inside, fighting Kaylin Pudence, breaking free. Sierra takes a touch. Amanda Wardell going to turn him back out of bounds towards the sideline. Wardell going to dribble it out and onto the sideline. Kaylin Pudence going to be the one to throw it in. She'll throw it in to her sister Sierra. Sierra turning back into the goal box. Massey going to take a huge shot. Goes off of the uprights.
Crossbar.
And that one, just not able to find it here as the Carroll Tigers, again, escaping with their life on that one, as we've got, you know, some more Carroll and Kuemper kids filing into the stands. Jackson Kerrigan, Mason Young with you guys here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. Jeff Storyhound, Connor Crabb, a part of our CB Sports Network family as well here, as they are going to take pictures and videos tonight of all of the broadcast stuff and action that we're talking about. So if you want to go back and listen a little bit later, you can actually find this, and it'll be staying on our YouTube until YouTube is no longer a thing, which only time will tell. Sierra dribbling through the defense, works to her right for Milligan, not able to take the touch. And we'll roll out of bounds right next to Mr. Jamison Polking.
I wonder how bad Mr. Jamison Polking wants to play one more game in that Carroll FC shirt.
I think he's ready to be done. I think his time has come and gone.
Yeah, no. But it was definitely a treat to watch him play. You know, I've seen him play over the years. It was definitely a treat to watch him.
I was his teammate for 1 year.
Yeah.
One year of Carroll FC soccer. I was a teammate of Jamison Polkings. Not Kieran and Quentin. They were 1 year behind us. But for my sophomore year that I played, I was teammates with the J-Mo Polking as Kalen Putin's going to take a top right shot. And that one just over the goal. And the only bad thing, sometimes you got to, if you're Marin there, it's a tough one to defend because you got to jump almost to the tip of the goal and get that hand on the ball as it's 19 minutes to go and it's 7-0. But a nice job from Miss Kalen Putin to get that ball up and almost into the top right.
Yeah, and it was a great shot there. And for Marin, you got to kind of pick and choose there, and you don't know where it's going to go off the deflection, like you said, putting your hand up there. So you got to just, be like, okay, just let that one go through the uprights and let it go out, or, hit that ball with your hand there and just free it up as we're going to have another goal.
Yeah, one going in there. And a couple of girls just coming over to kind of hug things out with her. And I think that, Jackson, I couldn't tell the number if it was Lorman.
I think it was Lily Kaspenbauer, actually, I think.
I think it was Lorman, because Lorman went up right there and just got it. Maybe Trevin, working on his homework over here, could tell us who scored that one.
He don't know.
We're going to give it to Cassie. You know what? We'll figure it out. 1836 mark, Miss Cassie Lorman scoring that one there. And if it ain't, it ain't. But you know what? It is 8-0 Kuemper Knights, Jackson. Back line, Mancini going to work it out of bounds here as it'll be back again to the Kuemper Knights ball. And it looks Kuemper, Carroll, I don't know. They're pointing both ways. It'll go Kuemper. Ball going to roll out of bounds once again here as the Knights going to get back on the defensive end. We've got Kalen Putins coming back into the ball game here in a minute. We've got Audrey Hegrich coming back into the game as well in just a little bit. Sporer going to take a touch in the midfield. Drops back to Moore. And they're going to work it back to the offensive end for Amanda Wardell, who's waiting there to receive for the Carroll Tigers. Free's going to send a through ball down the line. And that'll be Gabby running, turning it out of bounds. And grabbing the extra ball there. Going to be one of our ball girls as they're going to throw it in for the Carroll Tigers to possibly have a chance at the goal. Riley Massey going to exit the pitch. What a game she's had so far as she'll exit down here. Carroll going to throw in at about the 5-yard line. Hegerich going to drop it in for Jersey Sporer. She'll turn and roll it to the sideline and out of bounds. Carroll just not really optimizing their attacks here as Kalen Pudens had the ball go over her head. And they're going to kick it over to Lily Kasperbauer, who turns up the field, finding Cassie Lorman. She'll send a ball flipping to the wrong shoulder there for Sierra Pudens, as now Schlechter going to turn up the sideline and kick it down the sideline here as well. That'll roll out of bounds. Last touched again by Carroll. They're 2 goals away from that mercy rule, but that's the fun thing about soccer, Jackson. It seems like every time you get to about 8 or 9, there is no chance that you're getting to 10 because it is a dogfight to not get 10-0'd.
Well, and a lot of teams, they want to fight through the rest of the game and get the win and not lose, but when it gets to that mark, you're like, okay, we're losing this game, but we are not getting mercy ruled.
Yeah, that's the big thing is sometimes you see that here. So it could end 8-0, and Carroll could really hold on here. Or Kuemper could go on a little run, get this thing to 10-0 as we're here on the CB Sports Network. 16 minutes to go. 8-0 Kuemper Knights here on Carroll's. I don't even know if to call this Carroll's home field, Kemper's home field. I'm going to call it Carroll's because they play
neutral
here.
site, but it's Carroll's home game.
So I was going to say, Carroll plays here, and Kuemper doesn't really, because I think they said this is the only time they're playing here this year, unless they host, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if they host. Are they going to play at the Fieldhouse?
No, I think they'll let them play here. I think Carroll will let them play here.
Well, I don't know if Carroll will be able to host record-wise.
I don't know.
And I don't think it'd be the same class anyway.
Yeah.
Lorman going to drop into the middle, and it'll go to the goal box. A nice shot on goal there again from Megan Keese. Had a goal earlier in the game. That one just low and short, not able to get to it. As Bloom going to drop it up now to Kaylin Pudence. Lily Freeze turning it back on the offensive end. Gabby Running going to fire it up back down that left sideline. And this is kind of that standstill kind of dogfight you get when it's 8-0 Jackson, where you just kind of stand in the midfield. And both teams have a couple of looks at the goal, but just nothing going to be able to go through so far.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I think, going to be a stalemate so far. As I wouldn't be surprised if Kuemper could get one, or Carroll gets, just kind of a handout one here. Just kind of gets past and gets one here real quick. But yeah, I think it might just be kind of a stalemate here for a while here, Mason, as we see the Kuemper boys over there in kind of a circle doing some stretches. They've emerged from the locker room and are getting ready to go.
Megan Keese taking a stab at that ball. Carroll going to send it out of bounds. Last touch here by the Tigers. Kind of almost a little weird stance there. They're all in a unified circle. If you look over here, Carroll getting ready to go as well, as they're going to have that highly anticipated matchup, like we said, right after this one, Jackson. I'm still kind of hungry after all that. I don't know why. I haven't eaten. I ate a couple of chicken strips earlier, but
I gave you some of my potato lays at lunch today.
you gave me one.
Well, I offered more, and you said no.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't hungry then. Yetmar's shot on goal, not going to come into the goal, but it's going to roll towards the out of bounds, and Brady going to take it and send it into the backside of a couple of Knights. And throw in here for Kaylin Pudence. She'll find Massey on the inside. She'll turn Massey in the center, finding Lorman. Lorman going to take a shot with her left foot and just sails on the outside, not able to find it, Jackson, here. As, again, Carroll and Kuemper still 8-0 in favor of the Knights. Going to have a couple more substitutions here as Rachel Lally going to check into the game for the Kuemper Knights. Got a couple of Tiger boys in front of us walking around. I don't exactly know who because they don't have uniforms on. Ball going to work to the front now. Wardell going to turn it and send it right next to J-Mo. And it'll be a corner kick here for the Kuemper Knights. Lally going to check onto the field for Cassie Lorman. Again, Lorman going to come to the bench here as the kick going for Kaylin Pudence, going to go high and at the goal. Overmole had a chance at a ball at the goal, and it is going to be headed in. And a nice job there from the Kuemper Knights. I can't tell. Nope, they're going to call it off.
Handball. Yeah, they're going to call handball.
They're going to call the handball on that one, and that's a killer. I mean, that was, I couldn't tell the exact number, Jackson. I think that was Megan Keese again. That would have been her second goal of the game, but,
it was either Keese or Lolly. It was somebody that was kind of taller for Kuemper that was
I think it was Keese, because I saw her kind of get hugged and embraced there by Massey right after. Again, we won't have an interview with Coach Ken Massey until after the boys' game, as, he does double duty every game. But he will come up after the boys' game for sure and talk to us. See, we already made sure about that. Gary will come up here as well. Mr. McGill going to make his way up here after the game. Carroll Tigers making a run down to their sideline. Kuemper going to turn it back up, and Seidel going to work up now to McKenna Bloom. Chumley going to kick it out of there. And Casper are going to kick it to the sideline. She's going to turn it back up the field. Brady going to get it up into the air. Pudence going to take a stab at it right next to Schaefer. And it will be a foul on Pudence there.
Yeah, just kicked her leg up a little too high and almost got it in the face of Schaefer there.
And 11:39 to go, Jackson. Still just 8-0. I told you this game might stay at 8-0 the rest of it. You're going to have a long 10 minutes ahead of you, but, it's the weird thing about these games is that it takes less time to get to 8-0 than it does to get to 10-0.
And you would think it wouldn't with the way some games go with some teams.
See, but I tell you what, when we played soccer, Jackson, it felt like 10-0 came very fast. Because you know why? It came in the first half.
Well, then there's that. But,
we were just, you go against state title contenders every other week in the Raccoon River Conference. And, you're obviously not a state title contender. We weren't the best team in the world. We could beat a couple of teams, but it was not a fun as Massey going to dribble to the box. Takes a cross in, shot in. That time a nice assist there to Megan Keese as she came streaking down the left side of the field, able to score the goal. We're going to see if that is Keese or is that Lally. And it is Lally. A nice job there. Rachel Lally coming into the game the freshman coming in there to get the goal.
Yeah, and Kuemper not being denied this time, able to get the cross there from Massey, and just once again another easy tap in there as Massey was able to create one for her teammate there, Lally, and Lally just, with the wide open tap in towards the top of the net there, as now Kuemper one away here from that 10-goal mercy rule with about 10:51 left to go.
Yeah, and if they can get one more, this game will be officially out of reach. We'll be about 30 minutes ahead of schedule, Jackson, as we're scheduled to go on about 7:30. So, if they can get things rolling, if Carroll can still hold on, maybe make it a little more manageable, but Kuemper's not shying away as Putin's going to work her way out. Sierra going to dribble through the defense, dribbles back now this time, has it stolen away. Casper Bauer in the 20-yard line, going to drop it over to Bloom. Bloom going to take a shot, goes off of Sierra Putin's back, and the ball going to kick to the far side for Megan Keys. Brady fighting with her to get it. Schaefer lost it. They're going to go into the goal box now. Wardell going to drop it back out. Casper Bauer missing a touch on it, rolls out of bounds. Last touch here by the Carroll Tigers, but McKenna Bloom taking a shot there, Jackson, right off the backside of Sierra Putin's head.
Yeah, and I'll just say that if you're a soccer player, you just got to eat that. You got to learn to, if it hits you, you just keep moving. And I think they're used to that, catching a ball that's going really fast right at the back of the head. It's just like, oh, keep playing.
Ball going to be dropped across here. They're going to kick it up to Sierra Pudens, over and out of the middle for Casper Bauer. She makes the run to Pudens, and just too far out, and a nice pass through the gap there. But the ball was just a little bit too fast, got to the spot before Pudens could get to it. As the Tigers still behind 9-0 Jackson. They are trying to hold on for, this final look here as Jackson trying to check the Oklahoma Thunder score.
Starts at 8:30. Hasn't started.
I know. I read it earlier on the sports today. Massey going to drop it outside to Lorman, who runs into it, funneling towards that outside left side. She'll get all the way there, turns it back. Now is Hegrich going to send it out of bounds behind the goal. So it'll be a corner kick once again, Jackson. 8:58 to go. They're going to give this one to Riley Massey, her first corner kick of the day. She'll step it back out, puts her hands up in the air on the far side, sends it through and low, and it'll be dropped back out to Massey on the outside. She'll take a touch, looking out there, takes a shot way up in the air, and it'll go into a Kuemper offensive player, as I couldn't see the number there for a minute. And Massey going to get it back on the outside again, goes up and over once again, trying to find Sierra Pudens. Ball in the inside there, as we're going to have a Carroll girl down in the back line. She's needing some attention out there. We're going to need to get this thing stopped as she's out there holding her ankle. I don't know who this is, but we always pray for our players like this, Jackson, because it has been a long season of injuries for both squads. We've got trainers, coaches, everything running out to there. But again, for the young woman that is down right now, we pray that she is doing all right. We obviously do not want to give any injuries. We don't want to have any injuries happening here in our game time. I can't speculate who that is. Maybe Riley Schlechter out on the field right now, Jackson. I don't know. Maybe you know.
Yeah, I can't really see who it is there right now. Is Kuemper going to make some last-second substitutions here, Mason?
You know who I'm surprised who's not here? Steve Schabel. It always seems like when something like this happens, Steve Schabel's here.
Oh, maybe he just couldn't make it tonight. Maybe he had something else going on.
Randy Beeson coming out there now and walking, talking about, he's coming out there to talk with the trainer and with Steph Jorgensen, who's over there as well. Time stopped obviously on the clock here as, again, Kuemper leading 9-0. We've got a young lady for the Carroll Tigers injured and down on the field. We've now got a trainer, a coach, and our administration down on the field here. Maybe possibly pretty bad injury from what we look like here. But again, Jackson, we pray that she is all right. We never want to see any of our young athletes injured, but kind of looks like she's in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, and as we'll step away from that and see here is now both boys teams taking up both kind of the back end zones or back lines warming up here as Carroll kind of doing some long passes back and forth here along with Kuemper as well as now
the
young
get her
lady.
up and the young lady walking to the sideline, but not without the help of both Steph and the trainer on staff here today. And I believe that is Riley Schlechter coming to the sideline here. Hopefully she is, doing all right. Came down. It looked like an ankle injury. We don't want to speculate exactly what, but she was holding on to an ankle and was down for a while, as she will kind of get to the sideline now.
Side note, Mason, the Pistons Magic game about to start here in just a moment as well.
Aren't the Magic an 8 seed and they're up 2-1?
Yeah, they are, because the Pistons were, first or second in the East?
First seed.
Yeah, and they were...
Because you always go 1-8 and then 2-7, but the Magic had to play in. I think they started as the 9 seed and had to play into that 8 seed. So they played in to get to that 8 seed, and they are actually up right now. But my Cavs couldn't close things out yesterday.
Yeah, and the Timberwolves...
Up 2-1 and could have been a 3-1 lead there, but, could not get that one to go. And Donovan Mitchell took probably one of the worst shots I've ever seen at the closing stages there. That was ugly. But, again, Kendall Reesberg had the ball there for a minute. Mr. Ethan Osterland and Noah Henson have arrived in the building. Ethan Osterland, in front of our section right here, points up at me and Jackson. Give play-by-play broadcast. The entire Roar staff is here, Jackson, in the building.
Throwback to your high school days, Mason.
Sierra Putin's going across and scores the field goal, Jackson. We don't have a field goal counter today because it's not ESAC Kuemper. But at that one at ESAC Kuemper, there's about 30 field goals, and we were probably at 50 points each. But, again, 9-0 Kuemper, 7:30 to play here in this game, unless we get the rare, sometimes not rare, mercy rule. Seems like some seasons it's more rare than others, as Leah Nystrom set to check back onto the pitch here for the Carroll Tigers. Ball going to roll over to Aubrey Schmidt-Hubbard, not before Lucy Potoff coming up and getting it. Schmidt-Hubbard going to drop it back off again. They're going to boot it up the sideline once again here. And, we've got the ball rolling around here. Maybe I'll get Ethan on the broadcast. He did the broadcast with me for the Kuhn Woodbine, kind of get his thoughts about this game as he played in Carroll Kuemper games with me. Jackson Kerrigan, I don't know if he likes that opinion.
Oh, I was taking the
off.
headset off because my ears kind of hurt there. I honestly didn't fully catch what you said.
Yeah, I said I should get Ethan on here and ask his thoughts about the game because he played in a couple of Carroll Kuemper games. Played with me in Carroll's last win against Kuemper, where Trey Hunter, in overtime, crossed it from far. Marcus Wagner crossed it from the right side over there. Trey Hunter pokes it over the top and scores the header here. Still got the girls' game going on once again, as Kuemper up big on Carroll, 9-0 here in this first half. Jackson, or the second half, excuse me. Just heard, Jackson, the Iowa City Liberty coach stepping down from Iowa City Liberty for football to pursue a coaching level higher than the high school.
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant he was just stepping down, period. I was like, that's not good.
Just won a state title, I believe, this year. And it was them in Northwest, I thought. I thought they won the state title. No, Dowling won the state title.
Dowling won it, yeah, because Dowling won that 4A was Xavier?
Yeah. Shot on goal. Aaron Overmole with the save. And I believe a foul here. It looks like they're going to give Kaylin Pudence the ball, and she's going to run to the corner. So I think that they touched the upright from Aaron Overmole's hand. So I believe it's an out-of-bounds last touch here by the Carroll Tigers. Kaylin Pudence going to take the far side corner kick. She's going to get up and in the air, and a touch into the goal. And the Kuemper Knights have done it here. Mia Milligan going in to the box, and that will close it off at the 5:13 mark. The Kuemper Knights are going to pick up the victory here today. Jackson, what a game from the Kuemper Knights.
Yeah, and, Kuemper starting out slow and Carroll kind of keeping them in check for the most part, but then Kuemper just came on and just kind of unloaded the trailer there and just kept, continuing to press and finding open shots as well, and Carroll just not having an answer here, Mason, as a result of the scoreboard.
And Jackson, what a game from the Kuemper Knights, again picking up the 10-0 victory here. We're going to go ahead and step away for 3 minutes. When we come back, we'll have more of this Mackey Motors postgame here on the CB Sports Network.
Midwest Wholesale is your local building products headquarters. We have everything you need for your smaller home improvements to the building of your home or commercial building. We pride ourselves on giving you top-notch service, quality products with competitive prices. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer, a contractor, or you just need a little help on a project, Midwest Wholesale is a one-stop resource for all your building needs. Midwest Wholesale, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it, we deliver.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
For over 50 years, Pringer Slumberland has been your trusted destination for all things furniture and flooring. Hi, it's Matt Pringer, third generation in our family-owned business. We understand the importance of creating spaces where memories are made and cherished. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, personalized service, and unbeatable value has made us a staple in the community. Pringer Slumberland is more than just a furniture store. We're part of your community, and when you shop with us, you're not just furnishing your home, you're investing in the livelihood of your neighbors. Pringer Slumberland, Highway 30 West in Carroll.
St. Anthony Regional Hospital, the regional leader in healthcare, dedicated to improving the health of the people they serve. At St. Anthony Regional Cancer Center, you'll find the convenience of cancer and oncology consultation and treatment in one convenient location. At St. Anthony Clinic, you'll find a team of doctors and nurses that care about you and your family's health. St. Anthony Clinic is devoted to comprehensive healthcare for people of all ages. For every stage of life, always look to the cross. Always St. Anthony.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 16 years running. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
People want and deserve more comfort, efficiency, and reliability, both in their homes and places of work. Dries Company will be there to meet these challenges, whether we are designing a new system or servicing your existing equipment. We are a rapidly growing company that strives to meet and exceed all your expectations. No matter if you are looking to buy new appliances or need the help from one of our certified technicians, we are here for you. We pride ourselves in our installation and service. Dries Company, servicing the Carroll area since 1933.
Motor Inn of Carroll is your hometown team for all of your sales, service, parts, and collision needs all season long. From the helpful sales staff to the area's best service department, Motor Inn of Carroll has the expertise that you need to stay on the road and keep that auto investment looking good. From work to play, they have it all. Good luck to all the area teams from Motor Inn of Carroll.
Welcome back here on the CB Sports Network. Jackson Kerrigan not with me. We've got a couple of Kuemper girls possibly making their way up here, as it looks like we do get them in here now. We'll start with Miss Lily Kasperbauer here. Girls can shut the door. I know it's freezing out there. It's probably nicer in here than it is down there, but you know, you girls dominant fashion today, picking up a 10-0 victory. And I kind of said this on the air, you know, that game means a little more with the crosstown rivalry for you guys. But I mean, what did you feel like were kind of some of the big factors for your guys' success today?
Possessing's a big thing for us. I mean, we just find the lines, we break them. We play together. I mean, we're all best friends. It's really easy to just
communicate and be there together.
And I had to talk about the dominance as well. I look at kind of I know you girls aren't a part of all of them, but 16 straight wins against Carroll for the Kuemper program there. I mean, congratulations on that first off here. But, in this type of environment, though, a lot of fans in the crowd, the girls both supporting everyone out there as well there. Was that kind of the environment you were expecting today?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a big fan base for girls soccer, especially here in town, but there's always a good turnout for the Carroll game, I think, and that always helps us.
And I got to ask you about the expectations, too. I mean, coming into the season ranked, staying ranked this entire time, you guys have played really tough competition all year here. So where do you go from here now to keep these expectations high?
We only go up. I mean, practice it just gets, that's about it. We just go up from here.
Hey, well, I tell you what, Lily, thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Move over now to Mackenzie Yetmar. I got to ask you, I talk to your dad all the time for basketball. Did you get your soccer skills from your dad or no?
No.
Not at all?
No.
But, I mean, today you got a goal in there as well. But I look at some of the goal scorers. I mean, Riley had a couple. Kaylin had one. Sierra, you. I mean, there's so many different girls that scored goals tonight. And what does that show about this team that you guys have so many girls that can score?
We're just super unselfish. We're also happy for each other. We want just the best for everyone.
And so I got to ask you, too, with Ken here. He probably likes this weather. Do you girls like this cold, kind of breezy weather at the stadium?
No, not at all.
But, I asked Lily this as well here, but where do you go from this? I mean, you picked up back-to-back 10-0 victories now. Where do you go from these big victories, and how do you build on that?
Like Lily said, we just keep going up, practice. We build our intensity every single time. We got no breaks.
I tell you what, I'll let you go watch the boys' game here. I know you guys are excited to go sit out in the cold and watch, but thank you for joining me, girls.
Thank you.
That was a couple of the Kuemper Knights joining us here on the CB Sports Network. I know we got Jackson and some of the Carroll girls coming up here in just a little bit as Jackson going to make his way back to the booth here in just a minute, letting all the cold air into my box. As I probably should have phrased that differently, but as we're making our way through here, I told Ethan if he wants to jump up here and give his thoughts about kind of his time here playing against Kuemper and all that as well, Jackson. But did you talk to Coach Jorgensen?
I did for a little bit, but she said, we just got to get to the locker room. We got to talk. So I didn't want to. She didn't seem very pleased, so I just didn't want to, poke that bear. And then Coach Massey was, trying to get ready for the boys. So
yeah, we never have him come up in between.
So he's like, "Do you want me to come up?" I'm like, no. If you got time, if you don't have time, it's okay. You stay here and do what you got to do.
Do me a favor and go grab Mr. Ethan Ashland. I got a question or two to ask him here on the air. As
here, let me just
Jackson gonna
snap my text.
Jackson gonna text him now. Maybe I can just get his attention, if we could. But I don't think he's gonna answer his phone. He might have to run out there because looking at him, he's very morally invested here. If I knew any former Kuemper players that were in the crowd today, I'd get them on too. But we
I don't think there is very many.
I don't think a lot of alumni from Kuemper soccer come back. I think, and there's not very much alumni from Carroll soccer coming back. Besides, obviously, Mr. Osterlin here, but he does a couple of games with us before, so I've got to ask him kind of his opinion on what this game's going to look like here. But head coach Ken Massey getting ready for his second part of this doubleheader here. Got to take my girls sheet off and put my boys sheets on as we're going to get ready to go here. Previewing this boys game, last season 0-0 tie. Carroll, a 5-2-1 record, 2-2-1 in the conference. They've tied their last one against ADM, and Kuemper. 2-3 to start this year here. They've got their 2 wins as of most recent. They've got 2 in a row here. We've got former Carroll FC alumni, Ethan Ashland. I talked about it. You were on the air with us for a game or two throughout this season. But Ethan, I gotta ask you, because I attest to this myself with being a former Carroll soccer player for 1 year. This game means more than about every other game on the schedule before postseason time.
Yeah, I would definitely say that because everybody else we play so far away that you don't know anybody on the team. So when you play Kuemper and you play East Sac, there's a little more meaning to the game than just soccer. So it's definitely a game that everybody gets up for.
And I got to ask, too, because I don't know this. Jackson didn't know this as well. What's the name of the cup?
The cup is the Friendship Cup.
Okay, because I saw the first one. I said it kind of looked like the Piston Cup from Cars for the girls' one, because they got a bigger one.
Yeah, the girls' trophy is massive. We got like a $4 Walmart cup.
But, I mean, Ethan, I talked about this, too, when we went out there. If you look at this, Kuemper leads the all-time series 10-2-2 since 2011. Last year, one of the 2 ties that they had, the first game and the most recent game, the last 2 ties. But you and I were a part of a game back in our sophomore year where Carroll got their last win. It was 4-25-22. Very similar environment to this, cold, windy, like ungodly cold in this.
Oh,
but
it's frozen. I remember that game well. It was way colder than this too. I think it maybe was 30 degrees.
And I think we were all bundled up on the sideline there with coats.
Yeah.
Everyone's starter coats wearing it. But I told Jackson this. About 40-yard line, Marcus Wagner takes a free kick and bombs it over the top. Trey Hunter heads it back over the defensive goalie. One bounce, rolls into the goal to win the game in overtime.
Well, that game wasn't even supposed to go to extra time because we had a lead almost the whole game. And then Isaac Evans hit a free kick from 55 yards. And it went right over Tanner's head. And we went to extra time, and then like 30 seconds into extra time, we won it.
And I got to ask you as a former alumni, I said this, that if we had any Kuemper ones that I knew here today, I'd ask them their thoughts on this. But Carroll's most successful season to date, right now, they're 5-2-1 after a tie with ADM. They've picked up wins over very impressive programs. And this is, and I kind of said this, Gary's been working on this project for 3, 4, 5 years now. You finally got the pieces to do it. Quentin Polkin, Kieran Polking, Landon Peterson, the seniors of that group, Peter also as well in there. But now they've found the guys like Louise, like Sawyer, like, Jake Jorgensen and Jared Moore that have come out for soccer. And this is kind of the culmination of a process that Gary and Jordan Jansen have kind of put together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the culture over the last, I've seen this program for the last 7 years. I think the culture's really changed here because when I was a freshman, it was almost like a joke. We won 3 games. We were really bad. I can't even lie. Nobody took it seriously, but through a couple of good classes of seniors and some really tough motivation from Jansen, he's a great coach. I think they've really turned this ship around, and this is where it's really starting to show is with this group right here because they have the skill and they have the togetherness to play together as a team. These guys have been special to watch. They've played teams close and beat teams that we were never close to beating back in the day. We got mercy ruled by Carlisle, and they just beat Carlisle the other day. So this team has really spearheaded a great run for the Carroll program.
On that note, we're going to go ahead and step away. We've got your pregame rolling on. We'll move on for about 3 minutes here. When we come back, we'll talk starting lineups and all that jazz here next on the CV Sports Network.
From footings to framing to finish. For farm, home, or commercial, for more than 90 years, Wall Lake Lumber Company has been proud to help our communities grow. With 4 convenient locations and one of the largest building material inventories in the area, we are sure to be able to fill all your building needs. From project design and estimating to friendly advice, we can't wait to be part of the process for you. Wall Lake Lumber, with locations in Wall Lake, Lakeview, Odebolt, and Carroll. We're not your grandpa's lumberyard.
Oh, hell no! Not again! Has the roof on your home or business been damaged by the recent hailstorm? Does your roof need looked at? Let our hail damage experts at Brinks Exteriors work for you to get you a new roof. Call 712 Roof Pro. We know the last thing you want to do is worry about your biggest investment. Hail happens, but we can fix it. Call Brinks Exteriors now for a free roof inspection. 712 Roof Pro.
This fall, cozy up with internet that keeps up. With WindSpeed Fiber Internet from Western Iowa Networks, enjoy 1 gig speeds for just $99.99 a month. Perfect for streaming, football, fall shows, and working from home. No lag, no interruptions, just the speed you need all season long. Other speed packages available starting at just $59.99 a month. Call or text 712-775-2946 for details or visit westinet.com today. Western Iowa Networks, connecting you to what matters for 120 years.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
it's okay.
Your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
For details, contact Nicole Unken at Nicole Unken Agency.
These DMACC Carroll campus students are tomorrow's nurses. They're leaders, smart, dedicated, and they care about their community.
My experience in DMACC nursing so far, I get to make a difference in people's lives during their most vulnerable times, and I build friendships along the way.
The interaction between the faculty, staff, and professor with the students are really close. They really help us a lot every time.
Get started today.
At Collins Aerospace, we believe in investing in our employees' future. That's why we are proud to offer our Employee Scholar Program. Whether you want to pursue a professional certificate or a degree related to the industry, we offer full tuition reimbursement and even paid study time. Our Employee Scholar Program is the perfect tool to help achieve the future you've been dreaming of. At Collins, we don't just want to offer you a job, we want to offer you a career and a future in aerospace. For details on the Collins Aerospace Employee Scholar Program, visit us at careers.rtx.com.
He told you that?
Welcome back to the CB Sports Network. Here are your team captains, both Polking boys and Kieran and Quentin. Landon Peterson, Peter Okumu, looking across the way. Going to be Charlie Mayhall, Brendan Vanami, and Fletch Baiting out there as well. Ethan, I know you haven't seen a lot of Kuemper soccer this season, so I'll catch you up to speed. Charlie Mayhall starts in the back line, plays a couple of games in back line. Coach Massey goes, we haven't started the year off so successful. They moved Charlie Mayhall up to striker. First game at striker, goes out and scores 4 goals, has a hat trick in the first 10 minutes of the game, and he has kind of become the star of that team. But the big thing for me is 2 guys in the middle between Fletch Baiting and Tim Myers. They really control the middle and do a nice job of transitioning solid defense into solid offense. But Carroll, man, I tell you what, that middle, the transition between the middle into their offense from their defense, you look at Kieran Polking, you look at Landon Peterson, Peter, Caden Anderson, they are so good at controlling the middle that they can find the lanes, find the through balls, able to get up to that next level, and they work from the 3 different phases of the game to get shots on goal. And I looked at it today. Kuemper, 26 shots on goal on the season. Carroll, 121 shots on goal. They average almost 15 shots on goal a game. Their shots aren't so correct because it says that they've got 123 shots compared to 121 on goal. So I'm like, I think the shots are a little less inflated, but I think the shots on goal are correct.
I know that Gary takes the stats, and when he gets excited, he just kind of sits there and writes down whatever. So I know that they're not going to be completely accurate. But I want to talk about Jared Moore really quick. He's probably the most polished player that's never played soccer that I've ever seen.
He really did come on strong.
He stepped into that goal, and it looks like he's been playing it for years.
And I tell you what, him and Jake Jorgensen, Jake's probably about that same way. He's so fast, and he has decent touches and is able to move the ball pretty well. But Carroll, I mean, they've just kind of found these different pieces. I asked Coach McGill, I said, how hard did you try and get Louis out for goalie? And he said he tried, but I asked Coach Roeder too, and Coach told me, for Roeder at least, he said, Louis is not playing soccer. He goes, he's a track kid, and he's going to be a state track kid here very soon. But I said Jared's kind of that next alternative when you look at tall, lengthy, strong, athletic kids that you want in the goal box. Because I told, when I talked to Jackson about it, last year obviously with Jason, and then before that Tanner, you had kind of that trial run of Jang Gigolo in there as well. And I said that's kind of what they tried with Jared Moore. But Jared kind of took it to the next step and became a more finished and, like you said, polished version of what they tried to do with Jang years ago.
Well, Jang was actually really good. And then they had Trayton going, so it was just unbelievable. I think he probably got robbed of an all-state team. Like I talked about earlier, he was the goalie my freshman year. Our team was not very good. We never got mercy ruled one time, and it was all his doing. He was unbelievable to watch.
And the other thing that, you kind of look at this game, I said it with Jackson. Jackson goes, there's 2 ways this game can go. It could be very clean, or this game could be very ungodly physical because, Jackson, get in here. We've got, Jackson will hop on the mic here in just a moment, but I was talking about this, Ethan, and I want kind of your thoughts as well. Jackson, I said this game could be very ungodly physical because of what both teams bring to the pitch, or this game could be very clean and a very fun one.
It won't be clean, I can tell you that. This year, this game is the most physical game that these 2 teams play, I think, in any sport, because they don't play football anymore. And the refs, these guys just let us play. So it's definitely fun. It can get out of hand a little bit at times, but it's an amazing competition, and it's something that these guys will never forget.
But you got to be worried about this too. They implemented a death rule for schools now. 4 red cards in a season, and your season is forfeited. That's the one thing you got to worry about, because Carroll got a red card against Greene County, as we got Coach Steph Jorgensen here in just a minute jumping on. But Ethan, thank you for joining us here. We're going to have Coach jump on in just a minute.
Okay, thank you for your time, Mason.
Ethan Ashland joining us here as we move along to head coach Steph Jorgensen jumping in here in just a little bit. I know, the girls jumping in here as well. Marin jumping in here with the girls. Either one of you can start for me. We got Marin Overmole going to jump on here. I kind of joked with Ethan and a couple of the Kuemper girls that came up here. You're probably more happy being up here in the press box and warm than standing out there. But Marin, you went against some of the premier goal scorers in our area with Sierra and Riley, Kaylin. What did you see from those girls, and what did you see from some of their shots?
They have a lot of drive to the ball, and they want to score. They're very talented soccer players.
And with that, obviously this rivalry means a lot to both schools. And, what did it mean to you when you guys step out on the pitch and you look across and you're like, this is the school that, we hang out with these kids possibly. We see them all the time and, possibly friends with some of them.
Yeah, I think that we definitely go in as the underdogs, but I don't think that it means anything. And I think that it's all fun and games until we get onto the field. And then after that, it's just who can come out on top.
And I got to ask you now, what's next for you and the girls? I know you play a very tough Raccoon River schedule here. And, you go up against some of what could be possibly state contenders and teams. But, what's next for you and the girls?
Yeah, definitely. Tonight obviously didn't go the way that we wanted it to, but the rest of the week, we have a busy next 2 weeks and a lot of winnable games. So I think we all just need to brush this one off and get ready to play tomorrow.
I know you're excited to go watch the boys game out there, so we'll let you get to it here,
Perfect.
Marin. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
We got head coach Steph Jorgensen going to jump on here as well in just a moment as we make our way up here. Coach, I kind of asked, you played in possibly some of those games as well against Kuemper. You've been from this area for your time. I mean, what does it mean, though, when you look at it from the coaching aspect compared to what the players think of a game against another crosstown rival?
Yeah, I remember my nerves going into the game when I was their age and out there playing. And back when I was playing, we had just split from Kuemper and made our own program. So I think everything was different almost. We didn't have the stadium. We played out on our middle school field. Everything was just different. So it's just a different world for us. I know these girls, like you said to Marin, they all hang out together. They see each other. They know each other in a different light. So it just means a lot, to this town that we can all come out here and play a clean game and not have any over aggressive plays, and it just means a lot to this team.
And I got to ask you, too, you talk about kind of that over-aggressive plays. I know I said that if there's one girl that can kind of match Riley Massey strength-wise and physicality-wise, it's Amanda. And, on that back line, I saw kind of a new level of physicality and grit from her tonight. Was that kind of the challenge you gave her, or was that her own doing of going out there and saying, I've got a girl in front of me that's super physical and is going to play physical. I got to match her?
I mean, we played some of the toughest teams in the state, so Kuemper is physical, but we play some really big physical girls no matter what. So Amanda has just kind of stepped up to the competition that we've been seeing over the last month. I mean, Riley is good, and Riley is built. She's just built, and so it was kind of fun watching her and Amanda go at it sometimes.
And with that, I asked the same question to Marin here, but what's next for the program? I know you guys have got kind of we've talked about it 1,000 times, dogfight of a schedule in the Raccoon River Conference, but how do you kind of combat that, and how do you guys kind of move forward with this season?
Yeah, we just had tough conversations in the locker room, and I speak a little bit, but really my captains and my seniors get to lead those conversations and have those tough conversations. And we kind of talked about last week, this is when we have to dig in mentally and physically, but mentally this is where we kind of start digging in. We just got the crap beat out of us for the last 3 games, so walking into this week where we now still have 4 left, it's mentally we have to dig in.
Hey, well, I tell you what, I know Jeff will catch up with you this week for a weekly interview. Thank you for joining us here today, Steph.
Thanks, Mason.
We'll get Jackson back on the mic here at the Carroll Tigers and the Kuemper Knights for the boys matchup here, as they've played some solid ball here to start, and it's been kind of a back and forth. You saw Kuemper get down to the goal a couple of times. You saw Carroll get down to the goal a couple of times, and both teams really fighting it out. But Ethan said it best. This game, you play such tough schedules all the time for both teams, but this game means more because of the geographical look and what, the public versus private, the animosity sometimes of these are my friends, but I want to beat you because I want to be the better program.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that that's with all sports, not just soccer in general. You've seen the basketball game this year. It was really physical as well, and all the other sports that Carroll and Kuemper play against, baseball can get really chippy as well, even though there's not as much contact and stuff like that. But it's that kind of mentality, the private versus public. We want to beat you. We want to be like, hey, we have the bragging rights for that year.
And the big thing, like we said, the Friendship Cup. Tim Myers is out on a run here. He's going to shoot from deep and just barely missing it through the uprights there. He had a look at it, and it was a real good look.
Yeah, Timothy Myers there came on a little bit there for Kuemper in the second half of the East Sac game. Had the wide open shot there. He was onside, and everything was just streaking down that right side. And he slowed down a little bit to take the shot, but I think he just put too much leg into it there as he was trying to go for more of a straight one, but it got kind of skied up into the air.
One of the big things, though, Ken Massey talks about is positioning over the ball. If you're leaning backwards and trying to kick it, your body's going to shoot it back up. But if your head's over the ball, your body's down trying to fire that ball through, you're going to have better positioning and better looks at it.
Yeah, and I think that's what Tim was trying to do, though, there as well. As he tried to slow down, he did take that kind of stutter step there, but I think he kind of tripped forward as well, and which led to him kind of just having to, hit that power shot and not able to get anything to come out of it, as Carroll's going to clear that one away towards Kuemper's back line.
And, they're working it back up here. Landon's taking a big run at it as Brendan Benami going to box him out, and Creighton Halberg going to reverse fields here. But Carroll and Kuemper, this is going to be a tough matchup for both teams.
Yeah, and Kuemper started out a little slow there, but it was able to pick it up, was one game away from getting back to 500 there, but then they had that game get rained out for Creston, which I think would have been a really great game with the way Creston had dropped a game or two there in between getting before the Kuemper game there, and then Carroll having a really good start as well, dropping one to Ballard and one to Bondurant this year, but overall playing really solid, much like Ethan said, beating that Carlisle team, which is historically normally a really good team, but, Carroll just so far playing very well so far.
And with that, you're seeing it right now. I talked about, the dominance in the midfield for both teams. Somebody's going to have to win these physical battles in the midfield.
Yeah, and it's just chippy all around, as you just seen Tim Myers and Peter Okuma with a little pushing and shoving there in the middle. And that's just going to be all night, whether you know the guy really well or he's your best friend, When it comes to these type of games, it's just always expected that it's going to be physical.
And with that, I talked about the physicality, but the big thing now, both teams got to try and separate themselves as, somebody's got to come out on top.
Myers again, one-on-one.
Myers going against Jared Morney, tips it in. Kuemper with the early goal, puts it through the net, and Tim Myers goes on his own to make it 1-0.
Yeah, that's the second time that nobody's marked Myers there, and he's just able to slip past there as Carroll wasn't marking him there, so great job by the midfield just to notice Tim streaking down that side once again and able to get through and stay on side as the goalkeeper Jared Moore rushed him there, but it wasn't enough as he was able to get it right past him and score as Kuemper takes the early 1-0 lead.
Now it's time to battle back. You looked at it there, Jackson, and get the run, and you go. Carroll's now got to look at it and say, we're down 1-0. It's time to turn this thing around, maybe go get 2 goals in a row, maybe go do something different.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Gary McGill and I were talking about as you were doing the interviews, is he's like, we just got to come out and get them. It's been the same thing all year, Jackson. Like I've been telling you all year, we just got to go out there and get them and play tough. We can't just lay back and think that they're not good just because of their record. We got to stay on attack here and just come out with the win and play tough and physical, as they're going to play just as tough and physical.
And that's the fun thing about this. It could be, both teams could be 0-8, both teams could be 8-0. One could be 8-0 and one could be 0-8. This game, no matter what, is never going to be a blowout. It's always going to be very competitive, very highly competitive.
And I'm sure a lot of people thought that coming into this game with the 2 records, Kuemper only having a pair of wins this year and Carroll only dropping 2 and tying 1, as most people would think, Carroll would win like 4 or 5-0 or 4 or 5-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up like last year where it's a 0-0 well, obviously it can't be 0-0 tie, but just like a 1-1 or a 2-2 tie.
Luis Caldera streaking down the field here. He's going to turn it up, gets laid out by Charlie Bating. And they're going to call the foul there. Bating came from the backside, but I think that was more, I'm not going to point fingers, but I think Caldera tried to cut there. And when he tried to cut, he cut into where Bating was running. As Fletch going to mark up. Free kick coming from Kieran Polking. He's going to go at the goal low and hard. Heinrich's going to drop to a knee to pick it up. Sawyer Hawkins going to run in front of him as well to maybe catch a stray there. Heinrich's going to take the boot and get it to the front of the offensive end. Jorgensen going to head it down to Maddox Bellinghausen. Gets his own touch once again. Fletch going to send the through ball up to Drew Cassell. Tigers got to work it over. Polking misses in touch there as they're working across the top of the key. And I use my basketball reference there, Jackson. Got to pull out my basketball, you know. But Jared Moore picking up the ball there, bringing it over.
Yeah, and Kuemper just doing a good job, just like in the girls' game, making those excellent passes there. As Carroll kind of struggling to find passes, and that's been kind of one of their weak points this year, is trying to find those passes and connect on them. But Kuemper doing an excellent job so far. As Peterson up there pestering that back line of Kuemper.
Yeah, and Luis there, he took another touch and a nice job there to recognize the defense was going to get to him. So he takes the extra touch and is able to get a look as ball going to be worked around. Polking has it. He's going to go on goal, roll, low right, ball rolls through Heinrich's legs, and he picks it up to get the save. Still 1-0 Kuemper here, 31:45 to play in this first half. Kuemper working with the wind in this first half towards the rec center. Carroll going to be working away from the wind in the first half. Peter Okumu going to go. Caldera's got to look at the goal. He's going to take a look, and he's going to go cross in the bottom, but Peterson wanted the touch. Coach Jansen yelling at both of them. Peterson wanted the touch. Luis wanted to go make the play there, but they couldn't figure it out. Neither of them knew who was the one to take the touch, and that one going to roll out of bounds. That was their best look of the ball game so far, and just couldn't get it to convert.
Yeah, and I think neither one knew who was going to take it. I think they kind of, said something there in between. It's like, who's got it? And then neither of them said anything, and they just both went for it. And then I think Luis was the one that really wanted it, but Peterson kind of came in last second there, and nobody was able to take it, and that's why it kind of resulted in it going out the back.
And Luis there tried to run through Charlie Bating. Bating staying home and staying still as Polking going to give him a shoulder. Kind of said, hey, you took out one of my guys. I'm gonna give you a little bit back there. He took out Caden Anderson earlier in the game. As we're going to get Nolan Stitz up and off the bench, taking his warm-ups off. He's going to work his way over to that midfield flag. Coach McGill going to get him in there. He scored a goal earlier in the season, his first of the year. They're going to find Landon Peterson. He's dropped in behind the defense. Header getting his way down there. Going to work it back in center. Loses the ball. Turns back into his center. Goes behind the defense. Can't get it as they're going to boot this one out the back behind the score clock, and it'll be a corner kick. So it'll be Carroll's ball corner kick from the near side. It'll be Kieran Polking taking it. We saw Jackson in that Logan Magnolia game. They had that header in the middle of the goal to score on it. They went far side for Kieran, then back in for Landon, but this time they're going to put Kieran out there to shoot.
Yeah, and Carroll, what a good job getting Landon down that field, pushing the ball as Peterson used that skill but wasn't able to get it. Now they'll go long.
Polking back post, couldn't get to it, and Cohen Stipe going to chase it out of bounds. But they tried to go back post if Kieran kind of pushed that down a little bit now, but they're going to keep working. Kuemper is going to work it as Jorgensen comes up and finds his counterpart there in Marco. And Kuemper going to work it back to their offensive end. Gassell fighting for it with Maddox Bellinghausen. They're going to get it back to Kemper's back line again. Working it now to the center field. Polking, wow, lays out Gassell. And they're going to call this one, completely call that one there.
Just a foul. I thought, well, actually, I don't know if they'd have given him a yellow there, which is kind of the way this game going. I think the referees are just expecting it to be this way, so they're going to kind of give him a little bit of leniency there. But I think in another game, that's probably a yellow.
Yeah, but that was one that, it is. That's a tough one to call because you could go anywhere with it, but Kuemper working the ball around once again. They're going to try and shoot it to the corner, and nobody home. Is that one going to roll out the backside and will be a goal kick for Mr. Jared Moore. I think they'll give it to Quentin Polking, obviously, there instead. Coming into the ball game here, going to be Leonardo Vita Ravis and Nolan Stitz. Peter Okumu and Luis Caldera going to check out of the game here as Tigers trailing 1-0, 28:30 to play on this first half clock.
Traeger Niehaus and Luca Granginet checking in for the Knights as well here as both teams making a couple substitutions.
Sawyer Hawkins going to find Nolan Stitz. Hawkins going to send the through ball. Couldn't get to it. Hawkins, very solid soccer player for the Tigers. Just looks like he has a motor that never stops. I mean, he's always jogging, always running around the sideline, and is able to make a lot of plays that other soccer players probably can't get to.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what Coach Gary McGill's been having him do. It's like, you know, even if the ball's already in the goalie's hand, he's down there just pressing it just to see if he messes up, and he's kind of like he's just there to pester basically anybody up front there, and I think that's what has been working for them really well, as that shot from Stipe was going to be missed, and
Heinrich's boxing out there. You saw Nolan Stitz streaking down the field there on our camera, just unable to get to it, as Heinrichs did a nice job of, you know, going towards it and then fading back away knowing that it was last touch. Jason Aviles, actually in front of us here, last year's goalkeeper for the Carroll Tigers, has returned back to his old stadium. Yeah, he has returned, played soccer here, and now plays football, I believe, at Grandview.
Yep, going into the Army National. I think he's in, if not going into the Army National Guard as well.
Throwing in there, Landon Peterson tried to drop inside. Marco looking to go get it. Out on the far side, going to be Aiden Honlos dribbling it down center. And Kuemper, Carroll's had a couple of chances to get towards the goal. Kuemper has just really held strong in the sense of, you know, we're not going to let them have that one fabled shot that they want to get.
Yeah, and they've kind of made, you know, the main goal scorers in Caldera and Peterson and Hawkins just make their own mistakes, you know, and kind of affecting them in those decisions, but mainly just making them make their own mistakes and winning off those mistakes.
Kuemper going to get to their part of the field. Nice kick there from Tim Myers. Niehaus runs into it. He's center field. Going to be cut off and kicked out of bounds by Maddox Bellinghausen. Myers went with the back of his heel, turns the ball around a defender, and is able to get it as Charlie Bating set to throw in. Going to drop it in. Jake Jorgensen going to take the shoulder and send it back out of bounds as well.
Yeah, good 1-2 skill there from Myers, able to take it off the front foot, then flip it up one more time and get it off the back of his back foot there and able to press it forward.
Charlie Bating set to throw in. They're at about the 15. Bating turns, throws it in to Jake Jorgensen's foot. Landon Peterson there to return. He's going to kick it across to Sawyer Hawkins, who runs into it. Hawkins throws it up to where Stitz should be, and Stitz just an inch behind where they wanted him to go. Kieran Polking and company in the middle. Charlie Mayhall dribbling through the defense here. Going to take a shot on goal. Jaron Moore with the save.
Yeah, good job there by Mayhall, splitting the defender in between his own legs there and getting a good shot off, but Moore able to just settle in right there and make the easy grab.
Ball going to be reversed once again. Tim Myers trying to run under it. Has to get set up, though. Myers has a look at the goal. Goes up and over Jaron Moore and just over the goal there that time. Jackson, another look for Tim Myers. Could have had two to start this game here, as we've got Ian Quant and Luis Caldera checking in the game. Sawyer Hawkins going to come out for the Carroll Tigers. We've also got Cohen Stipa checking out here, but Luis, Sawyer, Landon, Nolan, somebody's got to get going here for the Tigers in that midfield.
Yeah, and I mean, Carroll's had some pretty good looks here, but, you know, like you said, Tim Myers, he's been getting great looks all game. He's had, I think, 4, and he scored 1, but easily could have had 2, almost a hat trick as well here. As now Carroll just trying to press anything down the field they can and get back on offense.
Aiden Honlo set to throws in, tried to find Fletch Bating. Peterson with the header. Charlie Bating back to his foot now. Peterson now working center field. Dribbles over a couple of times. Ball lost again. Fletch Bating going to send the through ball. Bating, that lightning speed, able to get to the ball, but Jake Jorgensen going to push him off the line. Marco going to turn it back out once again. Rodriguez going up the sideline. Finds Ian Quant. Quant going to take his left foot and fire it up to Stitz, but gets caught in the back there. Got a call from Honolulu, Hawaii there, Jackson. Probably a spam call.
Yeah, it's Lilo and Stitch. They want to talk to you.
I've been to Honolulu, though, so that's why I was like, you know, maybe it's the Walmart there that has my Polaroid camera. I'm not even joking here. I left the Polaroid camera with all my pictures on it, but I didn't go back and get it because the date that they were going to have it ready was going to be 2 days after we had left. But back to our soccer, actually, here. Ball going to be kicked out of bounds. Last touch here by Kuemper, unless they can save it. Carroll going to work back on the offensive end. 1-0 Kuemper with 23:50 to go in this first half. Rodriguez going to head it out of bounds. As, you know, you look at this here. Jackson, Kuemper just getting that early goal, getting kind of the stress off their shoulders and knowing that they're leading now, can play a little more freely. But now Charlie Bating, Tim Myers going to check off the field. They've been 2 of the bigger factors in this game.
Yeah, and those two have just kind of been going back and forth, as well as Fletch Bating, just kind of that trio right there just kind of creating everything that Kuemper's had going so far, whether it was offense or defensive stops there in the middle, and it's just been working really well. And like you said, Kuemper was kind of the underdog going into this one, so definitely wanted to have the mentality of, you know, we're the underdog, okay, let's go get them.
Stitz get called for the handball there. Couple of Knights fighting with it. Traeger Niehaus, the one to get it now, turns it back inside. Now it's Fletch baiting with it, tries to work outside. A nice job there from the Carroll Tigers to keep the ball alive and in the field of play. Stitt's going to try and go low, not able to get it. Peterson now finds it. He's going to funnel it up to the top. Luis got to run into it. Luis going to try and get there. He's got the ball on his foot. He's going to turn it back outside. Works back into the sideline now. He's going to have a shot at the goal. He's going to kick it all the way in. Dribbles through, loses the ball, and is dropped to his knee. And it'll be out of bounds. Last touch here by the Carroll Tigers. Luis wanted to trip there, wanted a chance at the goal, but unable to get the call. So it'll be Kuemper ball at about the 10-yard line of their defensive end.
Yeah, and good job there by the right back there, Luca Granginet, not letting him get past him there and just keeping him steady and just in line with him and not letting him get too far behind, or else I think Caldera would have had a shot on goal there easily, as now he's pestering that
Luis
back.
has got it now. He's going to dribble between the defense, gets to the corner, tries to get it in, and this is going to be a corner kick as they're going to kick it out of bounds. Brendan Vanami, the last one to touch it. It looks like they'll give Kieran Polking the corner kick, and I wouldn't be surprised. You know, they went high back corner last time, Jackson. They went to that far back post. Wouldn't be surprised they try to get that same post there. Not, this time just not sailing it, maybe giving him a chance at a header. Landon Peterson going to step right in front of Austin Heinrichs.
Yeah, they're going to go kind of a diamond as they'll split up in the middle there.
Kick in, ball up in the air, header chance no good. Rodriguez going to head it back out to the far side again. Ian Quant going to come back up with it. And Kuemper going to reverse fields here. Bellinghausen the only one with a touch on it. Gassell came over for Kuemper to try and get it. Charlie Mayhall staying put there. Goes with the header. Carroll going to reverse it back to the far side, and it's going to roll out of bounds. This has been very competitive soccer back and forth this entire time. We're getting everyone's stuff sent in here now for golf and everything. Jeff's back there at the office typing it up.
I wonder how much you think he'll get done tonight.
Most of it. He types very fast.
Yeah.
Trust me, in golf's not very hard to type.
Oh, no.
It takes longer to record it sometimes than it does typing it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bellinghausen's set to throw in for the Carroll Tigers. He's going to go pick up his own ball and drop it up.
They're going to
the front
do it
now
up there now.
Throw it into where Peterson is. Landon set back to throw in here as he's going to dribble the ball a couple times like basketball. Gets up to the line, throws it towards the box. Polking with a touch on it. Baiting gets it out now. Rodriguez takes a shot on goal. This one's sailing just outside and will miss the mark.
Yeah, Carroll, good job trying to keep it on this side here and trying to get a couple shots. As we'll see if Carroll can get a couple more here as we start to get later in this half, as they need to kind of keep it here on offense and not let Kuemper get back on the attack.
Working across now. They're going to get it to Okamu in the air. Caldera almost took a knee to the head there, Jackson. If Vanami goes up with that one, probably getting it. It's going to be Kuemper ball on the throw-in. Charlie Baiting set to throw in here for the Knights. He'll look down the line, throws it towards the center more now. Peterson, then over to Fletch Baiting. He turns and sends the through ball for Traeger Niehaus. Okamu's got to get to it. Niehaus on his backside. Okamu going to turn it back outside and throw it, or kick it out of bounds, excuse me, there is, you know, don't want to turn it back inside and possibly give a chance at something worse than what it could have been.
Yeah, and just like I said, the thing that you don't want to happen is starting to happen here is Carroll's letting Kuemper get back on offense, and Kuemper looking to try to make a run here with about 19:30 left to go.
Tim Myers drops it off now, and Luis Caldera going through. Luis got to send the through ball, and he will. Nolan Stitz turned to the wrong shoulder. Brendan Vanami working to that far side. Austin Heinrichs gets all the way there, but Stitz turned to his right shoulder. Caldera dropped it to his left, and Stitz kind of worked out to his right side, but once he started to come back, they couldn't find it. Quant missing the ball there. Bellinghausen going to kick it, and it'll roll out of bounds. Inbound throw here. Going to go down the line, and Gassell going to run into it. He's going to turn down the left side. Looks inside, kicks it back, and Bellinghausen going to return the favor back down the sideline. Received this time again by Gredeman. Kuemper working the passing lanes very well. Peterson works down his sideline now on his right side. He's going to send the through ball down the sideline.
He's
Stitz is
offsides.
offsides, just an inch away from where he should have been there, and Carroll just unable to get to the spots that they need to get to so far.
Yeah, and it was a good look there. Peterson, you know, took a couple extra steps there and seen him downfield, but you know, you got to sit back there as an attack. You know, you got to be aware of your surroundings there and just make sure you sit back and wait just probably another step or two in order to get back in line before you go after that ball.
And a free kick here for the Kuemper Knights. This one going to go up and over the top. Jared Moore going to go chasing. There's nobody in the goal, and Moore able to go get it here, but, you know, that was a tough one. Jared came all the way out, about 5 yards out of the goal, and got the ball, luckily, but if he doesn't get to it, that's probably a free goal.
Yeah, and I like how he was able to take the initiative and be like, hey, I got it, I'm going to get this, and able to make the little touch up there and able to make the stop.
Tim Myers going to drop the ball off for Charlie Bating. Works it now to Brendan Vanami. They're going to send it to Triger Niehaus down the line, not able to get to it. Him and Jorgensen, very comparable body types, kind of that, you know, shorter, athletic kid that you get on the field. And it looks like it's going to be the Carroll Tigers ball to throw in right in front of head coach Ken Massey there. Okamu going to be the one to throw it in. He'll walk it up and find Peterson, who drops it off the shoulder. Peterson going to work through the defense now. Turns up the sideline, goes through Niehaus's feet, but is not able to get a conversion there. Hayden Honlos going to run over and get the ball for us as action going to keep going on. Marco Rodriguez and Landon Peterson going to check off. You also have Ian Quant coming off the field. Coming onto the field, going to be Sawyer Hawkins, Luis Caldera, a couple of different players there, Cohen Stipa as well, coming on to the pitch for the Carroll Tigers. I think Caden Anderson instead of Cohen Stipa was actually the one that I was trying to say there. Is Vanami going to drop it off to Bating, goes out to the Honlos, then now to Fletch once again. Fletch goes between the legs of Caden Anderson, drops in front now, Polking, stabs at it. Caldera trying to race it. They're going to kick it into the air. This one going to roll backwards almost and stays out of bounds. Caldera going to pick up the ball here for the throw-in, and they're going to give it off to Polking, as Polking going to be the one to throw this in. Kieran drops it in for Caldera once again. He takes the stomach on the ball. He's got to look at the goal here if he can get the shot off. Goes outside, and shot no good, Jackson. That one's sailing kind of where the body was leaning.
Yeah, and I thought it was deflected there off a Kuemper defender there, but they're going to say it went straight across, so it's going to be Kuemper's goal kick here.
And what a tough one there. I mean, again, you're right near where you want to be, and just not able to convert on the kick towards the towards the net.
Yeah, and as well as, I know Carroll just surprisingly, honestly, struggling to get back, as their back line somehow, you know, with the speed and the physicality that they have, has been struggling to get back, as Niehaus and Myers have been just controlling that right side there. They're right, so it's just been really tough for Carroll to get back here, as you don't see that very often, as Carroll going to make some couple substitutions here.
Okamu going to come over to the trainer, actually, as he was pointing at his ribs there for a minute.
Yeah.
And Charlie Mayhall going to get the ball on the inside here. Lays out Caden Anderson there in the back line. They're going to call that one on Mayhall. And they're going to give Carroll a free kick here as he lays out right there. But Kieran Polking coming off the pitch as well, bringing one of your better midfielders off for a break. 15-15 to go. His brother Quentin going to get this ball into the air. It looks like Charlie Bating going to get the header. Caldera has his foot touch it, and they're going to run it off now for Tim Myers, who turns back up towards this south side of the pitch. Landon Peterson going to turn it towards the middle. Missing the ball there a little bit for Gredeman. And Gasell going to take the touch down that left sideline now. Drops it off. And Kuemper working very well. Nolan Stitz gets it. He can drop it to Peterson. Peterson going to send the through ball to Caldera. He's open down the left side. And they call the offsides here. Again, you could tell he was offsides.
Yeah,
but,
he was miles offside.
You know, when I look at it, Jackson, it's hard to, when I look at it that way, I'm like, you know, maybe they're going to give it to him, because sometimes, you know, some officials are very lenient with what an offsides looks like for him. As Kuemper going to work down the far sideline. They're going to throw in from about their attacking 30, as you're going to have Nick Warnemont checking back into the game here, this time for Luca Granginet.
Yeah, and I mean, the way I look at it, you know, like the rule says, it's the last defender there, but Carroll just kind of getting a little too carried away there with trying to get down the field there, and I think it's just been kind of eating up their offensive attempts.
Charlie Mayhall takes a shot down the right side, missing, and I could see the shadow on that ball on the post there, so I knew that that one was close, but unable to convert on the shot there was Mayhall from about 20 yards out. Carroll surviving this first half. They're not really thriving, Jackson, but they're just kind of hanging in there.
Yeah, and Kuemper giving some great shots there, just like that one from Mayhall there, as they're being aggressive and taking those long shots there to keep Carroll on their toes. But Carroll, you know, struggling in that back line, just not able to get back as quick, surprisingly. and not able to really get much going on offense here. So we'll see if they can get something going here late in the first.
Sawyer Hawkins with the through ball. Charlie Baden catching the foot there. They're going to try and send the through ball. Myers was onside. He's one-on-one with Moore. Takes a touch at it. Jake Jorgensen turns him around, and a touch too much there from Jorgensen. He turns around and finds the foot of one of his teammates there in Ravas, and that one going to fall out of bounds, Jackson. Tough one for the Tigers to swallow, as they were going to turn and maybe have about 20 feet of room to work with, but this time they're going to give the corner kick. Baiting going to go low and at it. Moore comes through with the save.
Yeah, now I think if you're Carroll, you just got to, as soon as Moore picks it up, you got to kick it and go. You got to keep Kuemper on their toes and just keep running after him.
They're going to get it now to Vanami. Ball off of the body of Peterson. Drop once again, and Carroll trying to get on the attacking end, just cannot convert, and we're going to have a handball, something, out of bounds. I don't know, Jackson.
Throw, yeah, it's out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in from Stipa.
Stipa going to get it now. He's going to turn and fire it up the field. Baiting has it touch his foot. They drop it off once again for Warnemont. This time Stipa going to send the through ball up higher.
Good
Halber going to take the touch. He misses it. Peterson drops to the corner. He's going to try and turn it in. Tries to cross it, but it's going to be last touched here by Halber. So it'll be a corner kick for the Carroll Tigers once again. This is another, we've talked about this before, this is your chance, Jackson, to maybe go get, one of those scores and maybe get something rolling.
Yeah, and you haven't really seen Carroll kind of go towards, like, the middle of the goal there and try to get the header like they have normally, as I've been surprised they've been going back post mainly. So let's see if they can try to go here normally and kind of set up in that diamond on the back post and rush forward.
And right-footed kickers tend to curve to the left, as this one going to go straight at it. Polking tried to go hard and at the goal, but this one comes off a little bit right and hits the side of the goal. But like I said, when you're a right-footed kicker, you tend to either go straight or you tend to curve back to the left. So if you kick from the left side, you're able to kick it towards the goal. If you're kicking from that right side, you're able to kick it back towards the middle. So that kind of affects where you're looking at, is what your players can actually do with the ball. Is Baiting going to fight for it and pass it up now to Myers. He turns now, tries to drop to the middle for Fletch Baiting, and that duo in the middle, Jackson's been something special tonight.
Well, and just Kuemper's midfield in its entirety has just been playing very excellent soccer so far. So they continue to rein in on that middle.
And Jared Moore going to come out off the free kick there, about 50 yards from Vanami, able to get it to it. And a nice job there, again, from Jared Moore. He, like Ethan said, and I think this is very true, he was the most polished soccer player to never play soccer.
Oh, for sure. And, I mean, Jared was a golfer for the past 2 years. He wasn't even really considering soccer. I think he might have thought about it last year but decided not to go out. But this year, I think Landon Peterson was able to finally get him to go out, and he came in and got off hot. He really didn't have much clue coming into this, but he figured it out very well, as he was a fast learner, according to Coach Gary McGill.
And we talk about this so many times, though, Jackson, the amount of pieces it takes to make a good soccer program. I mean, you have to have 11, 12, 13 guys deep to be able to make these successful programs that compete at the highest level. So to have a guy like Jared Moore, which might be one of the, if not the most important position on the field, goalie, is huge to have a guy that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, you have those captains that are obviously your leaders as well, but, Jared Moore, he's the goalkeeper, or just the goalkeeper in general, just has to be the leader. They have to be the field general that says, hey, you got to help me out here, or I got it, I'm coming up to get it. Just got to be a field general, honestly, like a QB and
Luis open on goal, one-on-one with Heinrichs, too much touch, and goes far post, not able to convert. Luis, that one you gotta convert on. I mean, you never want to hard put a player there, Jackson, but you and Peterson wide open, not even offsides on that one. I know you called it, but I think he was. That was a late call then.
No, they blew it right away, but nobody heard.
Because I was gonna say he was clearly down in the box, had a shot before they gave it to him. But honest, even if that's offsides, that's still one you got to convert on.
Yeah, it was definitely a great chance there for Carroll. They had it. They could have equalized it, but they did blow it right away. But I don't think anybody heard the whistle there, as it was able to be called there just before. As it wouldn't have mattered, so he would have been offsides.
So now Carroll trying to find this attacking piece they need. Drop to Vanami once again. He works to Halber. Halber to the center line. And they're going to drop it off again. Through ball now, this time to Mayhall. Bellinghausen going to turn him out. And Rivas going to turn it towards the sideline. Couple of touches here for the Kuemper Knights. Polking going to turn and just kind of tap it out of bounds. As Jeff just posting his his golf interviews. Caleb Gaffney and Carson Shaver, these two that he did. Fletch baiting deep out here, 15-yard line. Carroll lost it. Moore coming out to get it. Jorgensen gets there first with the foot. Kieran Polking in the center field. Takes a stab at it, not able to get a touch on the ball. Baiting back over once again. Carroll needs to get a stop here. Kuemper wanting to extend their lead to 2. 8 minutes to go in this first half. Mayhall drops to that far left sideline. He's going to kick it down the sideline now, able to keep it in down that sideline. Back drop again towards the center line. It looks like that's going to be Caden Anderson fighting for the ball there. Stipa fighting with Mayhall, and we talk about how physical Carroll can be. Mayhall is very physically imposing on the football pitch as well. As Mayhall takes a stab at it, kind of falls down there, almost did like a pirouette on the side as Peterson working down the sideline. He's going to take off running now, able to change his pace very phenomenally. Drops it to Kieran Polking. Polking going to send the through ball, missing it up in the air. And a nice job from Benami there to get the ball and recognize that Carroll was on the attack. You got to get that thing out of there.
Yeah, and Caldera there, he had the chance if he wouldn't have turned right. If he'd have turned left and somebody, would have shouted left, he would have probably had a better chance at it because he would have been onside there. But now Carroll's going to have the throw in, and they'll go towards him.
Caldera takes the touch, unable to keep it alive here, slides out of bounds, and probably going to wake up and look in the shower there with a little turf burn, Jackson. That one probably hurt a little bit.
Oh, they're just the best, Mason. I mean, from playing sports in high school, turf burns are just the greatest.
You get a turf burn down your leg, Jackson. There's nothing better when you go take a warm shower at night than feeling that you have the turf burn and not knowing it. I played football, played soccer here. I mean, it is the best thing in the world, I think.
Especially when it's not treated and it's all dirty and stuff and it gets partially infected. It's not good.
I was smart enough to recognize when you have the turf burn, and I was like, I'm going to go put something on this, and I wrapped it and whatever. But I know so many people that get turf burns, and they go, I went to the shower. I had one time I did that, and it was after a soccer game. Had a turf burn up my thigh on the right side and went to the showers after, not at the facility, obviously, but at my house. And, I felt it with the warm water, and I'm like, this sucks. Peterson gets down the sideline, not able to get it, and now Carroll out of position for this attack from Kuemper. Jorgensen going to go off the other side. Peterson's got a shot at the goal left side, and they're going to kick it out of bounds. He almost had a look at it there.
Yeah, Carroll going back to aggressive mode there. As it's kind of go time here with 5:50 left to go. Is now Carroll trying to get one here, and getting physical there was Niehaus and Jorgensen, but Jorgensen able to get it up to his teammate Peterson. Peterson just not able to get it past Vanami.
Peterson now with the throw in. They're going to be a short throw in from inside the end zone. He's going to throw it towards the goal. A header opportunity, ball in the air. Caldera going to go chase it down. He's going to turn it back outside, now back to the center. Tries to weave through, lost it. Baiting over now to Mayhall. And at Kuemper back on the offensive end here. Carroll out of position once again. Going to be a 4-on-4. And they're going to send the through ball to Tim Myers. Jared Moore going to go get it and kind of chip kick it over to the right side and get rid of it there. Nice job from Jared to recognize that, it was going to be a one-on-one with him and Myers possibly. So he's going to go get that and get it out of the way.
Yeah, and good job there by Jared stepping up to get it there just in case they didn't call the offsides there, as Meyer was called for the offsides anyways there. So Carroll's going to have that free kick at about the 43-yard line here. So good job noticing that and just getting rid of it just in case they waved it off.
And I think that wasn't even Myers. I think that was Niehaus because Myers standing here at our flag waiting to check in. So I don't think that was Myers. But we had the same problem in that ESAC Kuemper game as we said that Traeger Niehaus had a goal in that one. It was Tim Myers. But very similar body types, very similar hairstyles, as Caldera going to turn here and get put on his backside. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty here, as they'll probably give it to Caldera or they'll give it to Polking from about an 18 out.
They'll give it to Caldera. Short range.
And they're gonna send Polking and Peterson, and it's gonna be at the 20. They're gonna send him to that back post. Ian Quant going to be on this near post as well as he works his way back to the far post. Caldera probably gonna take the shot here. I'm assuming from about 20 out. You don't pass from
Find
this close.
in the box.
I'm assuming he's gonna go airmail towards the goal. Shot on coming here in just a minute. Sawyer gonna be on this near side. Everyone else on the far side post. Luis gonna go high right corner, and Heinrich's going up, two hands, catching that thing, caping the save, as he almost went more, from our angle, it looked like right, but from where Austin was standing, more center of the goal.
Yeah, now Carroll trying to get back there after the great attempt. Luis with the great shot there, just wasn't able to get it, I think, where he wanted. I think he wanted to go top bin and not just top shelf there, so it was just not in the right spot there. But now Jorgensen and Niehaus getting really physical down here, Mason.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ethan said it even when you got here, and you've said it before too. This game is gonna get ungodly physical.
Yeah, and I think that's just the way it is. It's just the nature of these two schools as well. I mean, there's no real terrible bad blood. They're not gonna start fights on the pitch, but it's just the way it is. They're gonna chip. There's gonna be, I'm sure, talk down there. I'm sure there's been plenty of talk down there.
That's the one thing Ethan said, too, is nobody hates anybody. That's the big thing about this.
Oh,
no.
No.
This isn't the pros where maybe you have animosity against somebody. These are guys that hang out. These are guys that routinely see each other throughout the year. So there's no real animosity, bad blood, whatever you want to call it, between these two schools. It's more of just, we want to win, you want to win, and you're kind of big brother, little brother, than what you would say here. And there's not a true big or little brother. Is that one going to roll out of bounds? Last touch by Carroll is Gasell. Polking, nice job of heading it right back to where Hanlos threw it just in, as they're going to drop it in to Gasell again. He's going to touch it last out of bounds. It'll be Carroll throwing here as Polking throws it. Hanlos didn't even realize there that it was their ball, as Bating going to turn and fire it back down the sideline to Hanlos. Caldera going to go chase it. He's going to take a touch over the top. Rodriguez going to try and head it now, and Fletch Bating going to control it in the middle. But like I said, Jackson, it's that big brother, little brother feel as Mayhall misses the ball there. I'm not calling Kuemper little brother in this sense, but, you fight and you whatever with your big brother and your little brother, and then at the end of the day you make up and you're still family, and that's kind of how this relationship works for sports.
Yeah, and I feel like that's, the way with a lot of high schools. You'll see it in the Dowling Valleys and, a lot of the other schools. I'm sure with all the Council Bluffs schools, you'll see it. Those kids, they're just out here to, hey, we want to beat you, but you know what? We're still going to be friends. There's not oh my gosh, I'm never talking to you again after you beat us.
You never know.
Well, yeah.
If they beat him, somebody might be a little hurt here, but Kuemper holds the cup currently. Last year, obviously, a tie, so the cup went home with Kuemper, but you gotta, if you're Carroll, you gotta have that want. You gotta have that drive to say, we're the big school in town. This is our year to be a soccer school. As Bellinghausen going to try and get it. Mayall taking a shot at Moore and goes over the top, and Moore may have gotten a piece of his cleat to the body there as Caldera trying to use the magical feet work to work back outside. He gets it to the center, tries to send the through ball, and Vanami going to kick it up the center line now. And they're going to work it back now. Mayhall touches over the top. Polking takes the touch now again, works it through. And Kieran now in the center line, going to work it down the sideline. Hawkins going to run into it after the header by one of the Kuemper Knights. Going to be unsuccessful saved attempt on the far side.
Yeah, and looking at Carroll, I mean, not saying this for sure, but there's not much really chemistry there on the pitch for them. As you know, it's kind of just been a fire drill, just kind of fighting for their own, not really working much as a team here. As it's just been, running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
And Fletch going to take a shot there from behind. They're going to call the foul. Kieran Polking kind of went behind him to try and get that ball, as they're going to put Mayhall back there to kick it. He's going to roll it back to the 35. And you could take a shot from here. I mean, I've seen Marcus Wagner do it, like we said in that last Kuemper game that Carroll has won. Mayhall going to do it. Goes low and at him. Jared Moore going to run out and get it with 5 seconds to go. Jackson, that looks like it'll do it for this first half. Kuemper going to head into the halftime 1-0. As Kuemper, again, 1-0 at the halftime, played phenomenal so far. Carroll going to need an answer for it, as Jackson and I going to step away for 3 minutes. We'll be back with more of this game coming up next year on the CB Sports Network.
Family owned and operated since 1948, Quant Auto Salvage is the area's best full-service scrap facility. Whether you are looking to sell scrap iron, vehicles, or batteries, or you need to locate that difficult-to-find part for your vehicle, they have what you need. And if it isn't in stock, they can locate it with their nationwide parts database, or you can pull it yourself at their You Pull It. Quant Auto Salvage. They sell the best and recycle the rest on Kitty Hawk Avenue in Carroll.
Midwest Wholesale is your local building products headquarters. We have everything you need for your smaller home improvements to the building of your home or commercial building. We pride ourselves on giving you top-notch service, quality products with competitive prices. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer, a contractor, or you just need a little help on a project, Midwest Wholesale is a one-stop resource for all your building needs. Midwest Wholesale, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it, we deliver.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
For over 50 years, Pringer Slumberland has been your trusted destination for all things furniture and flooring. Hi, it's Matt Pringer, third generation in our family-owned business. We understand the importance of creating spaces where memories are made and cherished. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, personalized service, and unbeatable value has made us a staple in the community. Pringer Slumberland is more than just a furniture store. We're part of your community, and when you shop with us, you're not just furnishing your home, you're investing in the livelihood of your neighbors. Pringer Slumberland, Highway 30 West in Carroll.
St. Anthony Regional Hospital, the regional leader in healthcare, dedicated to improving the health of the people they serve. At St. Anthony Regional Cancer Center, you'll find the convenience of cancer and oncology consultation and treatment in one convenient location. At St. Anthony Clinic, you'll find a team of doctors and nurses that care about you and your family's health. St. Anthony Clinic is devoted to comprehensive healthcare for people of all ages. For every stage of life, always look to the cross. Always St. Anthony.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 16 years running. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
To the CB Sports Network, a YouTube channel. Mason Neal and Jackson Kerrigan with you. Jackson, an ugly first half for the Carroll Tigers so far. Kuemper really making the most of what this has been, and we heard about it with the girls' game. Kuemper, the Carroll girls said, you know, we're kind of the underdogs coming into this one. Kuemper playing with little house money right now, and they've come out and they've kind of hit it big with that 1-0 lead to start things off, but Carroll just not finding the connecting passes, not making the right runs, not, you know, making the right through balls to different guys, and they're just not capitalizing on the big plays. They've had a couple of good shots, had a couple of good looks, but you got to come out, and they talk about all the time, we're a family, we're a family, we're a family. You got to play like a family at the end of the day here, and you got to go out and find and have your teammates' backs and stuff. Kuemper's been playing like a family this entire game, connecting through balls, passing along the back line, and finding things. So honestly, Jackson, if you're Carroll, I mean, how do you come out in this second half and change your mentality and change kind of your whole branding of what you've set the tone for in this first half?
Well, I feel like you can't really play selfish soccer. You know, you gotta on the offensive side, you gotta quit playing those one-on-ones. You know, you can play that one-on-one, but you gotta know that you're either gonna win it or you gotta know that you're gonna find another guy. And I think that's what they need to do more, is finding those other guys. I mean, Luis doing an excellent job. You know, able to win a couple one-on-ones, but sometimes he's just got to make that extra pass. You know, Hawkins, Peterson, Polking, even Stipa had a chance or two there, but just got to find that, you know, one extra pass. And I think that's what's going to be Carroll's thing, if they can just find the one extra pass. And then, like I said, they got to get back on defense. I've covered Carroll for a little bit here this season, and normally they haven't had the problem of getting back on that defensive line. Normally they're pretty well conditioned and get back there. But today, Kuemper's just been giving them fits, and I think that's what's been going Kuemper's way, is they're just continuing to press them and pressure them and be the more physical team, and that's why I think Kuemper's been leading this one and just controlling all the momentum in this one, is just continuing to press and making Carroll make their own mistakes.
And if you look out there at Gary McGill in the halftime huddle, you kind of pointed out right away, and I've been on the receiving end of this before, and he's turning around. He's pointing out people. He's saying, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, because he expects more out of this program. He expects more out of these guys, especially with the biggest start that the school's had to the season here with the 5-2-1 record and Kuemper being 2-3. He expects the Tigers to come out here and play like a class act and play like a good soccer program. And to be honest, in this first half, they've kind of failed the expectations of what they've set for themselves, obviously, here. But, you know, for Kuemper, that midfield, I told you, Tim Myers and Fletch Baiting, if they can control that midfield, they're going to give Carroll some fits, because Fletch, obviously, 4-year starter, Tim, 3-year starter. They have been phenomenal to start this game in the midfield, being able to connect passes and being able to make runs down that sideline and find guys open to make those goals, and not even just make the goals, but give a chance at the goal.
Yeah, and that Kuemper midfield's just been excellent so far for them, and especially Myers, much like we talked to him after the last game up at East Sac, him and Massey are just like, you're going to find those shots, just let them come to you. And they've definitely came to him as he's had probably 4 chances, and he scored the 1 there. But, he's been looking really good so far, and Kuemper controlling that midfield for the most part here as Carroll's got to try to get that back here and ultimately just, find, like you said, find each other as a family and, play like that family as they want to play like, as now assistant coach Jordan Jansen gets them fired up and ready to go here as both teams going to head back to their respective benches and get ready for the second half of this one.
And, you look out there, Jackson, we're going to go ahead and take a break here in just a minute, but Carroll's got to find it here. Kuemper's got to find it here. Whoever finds that next gear is more than likely coming out with the win here tonight. We're going to go ahead and step away for 3 minutes. When we come back, we will talk about this first half a little bit more as well.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
People want and deserve more comfort, efficiency, and reliability, both in their homes and places of work. Dries Company will be there to meet these challenges, whether we are designing a new system or servicing your existing equipment. We are a rapidly growing company that strives to meet and exceed all your expectations. No matter if you are looking to buy new appliances or need the help from one of our certified technicians, we are here for you. We pride ourselves in our installation and service. Dries Company, servicing the Carroll area since 1933.
Motor Inn of Carroll is your hometown team for all of your sales, service, parts, and collision needs all season long. From the helpful sales staff to the area's best service department, Motor Inn of Carroll has the expertise that you need to stay on the road and keep that auto investment looking good. From work to play, they have it all. Good luck to all the area teams from Motor Inn of Carroll.
From footings to framing to finish. For farm, home, or commercial, for more than 90 years, Wall Lake Lumber Company has been proud to help our communities grow. With 4 convenient locations and one of the largest building material inventories in the area, we are sure to be able to fill all your building needs. From project design and estimating to friendly advice, we can't wait to be part of the process for you. Wall Lake Lumber, with locations in Wall Lake, Lakeview, Odebolt, and Carroll. We're not your grandpa's lumberyard.
Oh, hell no! Not again! Has the roof on your home or business been damaged by the recent hailstorm? Does your roof need looked at? Let our hail damage experts at Brinks Exteriors work for you to get you a new roof. Call 712 Roof Pro. We know the last thing you want to do is worry about your biggest investment. Hail happens, but we can fix it. Call Brinks Exteriors now for a free roof inspection. 712 Roof Pro.
This fall, cozy up with internet that keeps up. With WindSpeed Fiber Internet from Western Iowa Networks, enjoy 1 gig speeds for just $99.99 a month. Perfect for streaming, football, fall shows, and working from home. No lag, no interruptions, just the speed you need all season long. Other speed packages available starting at just $59.99 a month. Call or text 712-775-2946 for details or visit westinet.com today. Western Iowa Networks, connecting you to what matters for 120 years.
CB Sports Network YouTube channel, Mason Neal and Jackson Kerrigan. We've ticked into this second half now. As Kuemper going to start with the ball. And Carroll going to work back to the south with the wind towards the rec center. Brings up our favorite story that J-Mo talked to us about today, as Jackson loves the fact that J-Mo drilled the rec center with a ball one time.
Hey, I know I can't do that unless I get really close, so I honestly don't hate on J-Mo for that. I give him praise because I'm like, you know, you got to have a pretty good leg to do that from the distance that he did, because he did it from like the 30 or the 40-yard line. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's probably an 80-yard kick, but Fletch Baiting going to send this one down the opposite way. And Kuemper going to go with an untraditional route there. You know, normally they drop it to some of their back line and boot it up that way. But Fletch just going to go run at it and send it to no man's land as they're going to come out aggressive and move the ball through. Kuemper going to work it now to the sideline, and Quentin Polking going to get down there and not able to keep it in bounds.
Well, and I think it's a smart thing to do there actually is, you know, kick it to your one guy and then just, you know, boot it back there so then you can be like, all right, we got this on the offensive side here. Now you guys got to start playing some defense.
Corner kick now coming. They're going to go high and direct, and it's going to go out of bounds on the goal. And I told you, when you try to go straight with it, Jackson, it's going to go that backside because you're trying to force it. You just kind of got to kick it, and, you know, sometimes, you know, if you're not elite, you got to kick it and kind of pray that it goes where you want it to go. As we see Merchants Park kind of getting work done over there after practice. Quentin Polking going to boot it up for Peter Okumu. Fletch Baiting going to work it down the midfield. They're going to call a foul here on the Kuemper Knights. I believe that one was on their defensive end. Ball going to get towards the net here. Austin Heinrich's going to come out, slide into it, and get that one. A nice job there. About a 60-yard kick from Mr. Polking.
Yeah, good job there by Heinrichs to come up and, you know, get in that lower position to meet it there and not let it get past him.
Works it now to Polking. Off of Anderson, goes out to Okumu. He's going to get it in the air. Caldera going to try and run to it.
It's a good pass there, but just not able to get there was Caldera's. Okumu had it off the knee.
And that's the tough thing is he kind of went off the knee, and you can't really control the knee and where it goes. You got to get that touch off of the inside of your foot. But it looks like a throw in here for Kuemper. They're going to work it back up to the 10 to throw it in. They're going to go down line to Fletch Baiting. He's going to turn, and Polking going to box him out. And a foul going to be called on Polking. So it looks like they're going to call this second half a lot tighter, Jackson.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, they kind of let him play in that first half. But then in the second half, I feel like you got to definitely get a couple more calls here and, you know, just try to keep it clean.
That's the one thing I talk about with officials is coaches, players, everyone gets together at halftime. You also kind of remember officials get together at halftime with each other and kind of talk about the first half and how they thought it went and what they're going to change in the second half.
Yeah, and, you know, no matter what position you are in this game, everybody can be better. You know, everybody can do a better job of, you know, making the smarter play, making the correct call, calling out the better play if you're the coach there. So the referees, you know, they have some work to do of their own as well, and a lot of the time they're doing a pretty good job, but sometimes, you know, you miss a couple or two.
Yeah, and we never officiate, or we never critique officials. We do sometimes on accident. It slips out. Everyone does.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, they are human, and they make the calls off of their judgment and their judgment alone. Cool. And that's the only thing is Heinrichs kind of slipped on that one. Stipe going to go underneath here for Sawyer Hawkins. Hawkins going to turn and goes off of the hand there, I thought, of Warnemont. They're not going to call it because it was kind of lower than his shoulder, and his hand was at his side, and the ball kind of stopped dead in its tracks as Myers looked like he was offsides. He's not going to be. Jorgensen going to chase him down. Myers going to take the shot on goal. Get off the post. Not able to go in. Myers hit top post underneath, and it falls down and out of bounds, or into the field of play, excuse me. Jared Moore able to get the save technically on that one, but what a misfortune as Landon Peterson going to chase this ball down. Now he's going to flip fields for Carroll. Peterson going to go to the sideline. He's going to be boxed out here, and what a job there again from Creighton Halbert. Just wrapped his arms around Peterson from the backside and able to box out. Peterson going to take this corner kick. Carroll's going to have a chance to tie this up.
It's a throw in. It didn't get out the back.
They'll give him the throw instead then. He's going to throw it towards the goal. Polking gets it up in the air, and this one, you know, Jackson, you just got to let me do my foreshadowing that one's going to be a corner kick.
Well,
because now we're at a corner kick. If you haven't realized, I'm a magician. I'm a wizard.
Oh, are you the one that hypnotized me the other night then?
Hypnotized you to bruise yourself? No.
No.
I would never do that. Fight a lion.
Yeah, and
Polking's corner kick going to go low. It's going to be no good. Is this one going to roll towards Ken Massey on the sideline? Last touched by the Kuemper Knights, so it will be a Carroll soccer. They're going to drop inside of the corner for Landon Peterson. He's going to turn now and misses the touch and rolls out of bounds. That was kind of a close touch, but just unable to get it.
Yeah, and for Peterson, he came up frustrated there. He's like, he knew that one was kind of a gimme for him there, but just lost it.
Working it out of the midfield. They're going to drop it back off for Mayhall, who takes a touch, has green grass and nothing else in front of him. They'll drop it off now for Bellinghausen, who gets it to the front of this defensive line. Halber kicks towards the goal. Peterson's there. He's going to take a touch. Halber's going to kick it out. He went up with that ball instead of out and not able to get it away. It's going to be another throw-in for Landon Peterson on the sideline. I tell you what, they make you tired, Jackson, when you have to throw that ball in a ton.
Oh, I'm sure it's not an easy job there. That was kind of what our friend Trevin Weber over on the other side was kind of doing for Carroll this year before he got injured. I'm sure his arms definitely got a little tired doing that.
Okamu taking the shot on goal, goes up and through the uprights, not through the actual goals.
It's good. 3 points.
So it'll be a goal kick here, and I believe that will be Brennan Vanami taking that one. And it will be. Vanami waiting to see where his options are. Looks to his right now. And boots it up to Myers. Okamu guarding him there. Myers turns to the outside, and it will go off of the head of Peter Okamu. Working it across to that center now. They're going to go mid. Bellinghausen turns it. He takes a drop up now for Sawyer Hawkins. Hawkins drops outside now for Caden Anderson, who tries to go through ball off the chest of Brennan Vanami to Fletch Baiting. He drops it in the center field. A nice job there from the Carroll Tigers to go get it. This ball going to roll towards the sideline. Cohen Stipa doing the nice job of, recognizing that ball is going out, not taking a touch and, making the wrong play on that. Gassell takes the touch now, turns it to the far side. Perfect pass to Tim Myers over his head. Jorgensen drops to Polking. Back to Jorgensen on the outside, and he's got grass in front of him, well, artificial grass. And Okamu with the touch rolling out of bounds.
Nice one there, Mason.
Jackson, it's been an interesting game so far, but how does Carroll get back into this just 10 minutes into the second half?
I feel like it's like I said earlier, you got to make the better passes, and you got to find that team chemistry. You just got to know where you're going and who you're going to. You can't play that way.
Peterson off sides there. And Jackson, that
was close. I thought that Halber was right on his hip.
Again, like I say, it's the judgment of 1 to 2 to 3 men or women every time, but that judgment sometimes you can still sit there and go, from our angle it looked different, but from he's got the best angle. Officials always have the best angle, except for that one going to be a foul, except for replays. But we don't have that. If anyone would like to donate $1 million, we can get you replays.
That's a lot of money.
Vanami, some of that's got to go to me. I gotta.
No.
We're gonna funnel our funds here.
That's fraud.
No, I think that's actually. What's it called? Money laundering.
That too.
I don't think it's fraud. I think it's money laundering.
Well, and you'd probably commit some form of embezzlement too.
I watch Suits. I know how to get my way around this. But again, back here on the pitch, Charlie Mayhall missing that ball as it rolls out of bounds. Last touch by the Kuemper Knights. Cohen Stipa going to throw down the line to Peterson, who takes a touch through his legs. Peterson dropping outside. Takes a couple of touches. Misses the last touch there as Polking going to fire it up towards Gassell. Jorgensen going to get that ball up. Peter Okamu going to get it to Caldera off of the header. Caldera going to get shoved to the ground, and they're going to call a penalty here. And that's going to be about the 22 from the far left side, outside of the hash, outside of the numbers, actually.
Get people in the box here if your coach Gary McGill is...
They're going to send Hawkins on the backside with Peterson and Caldera. Polking going to go up high, right in just outside. If Polking had a look at it, if you're 2 inches back inside, Jackson, that's probably post and maybe possibly in.
Yeah, and it was a great shot there, but I like the shot there. It's a great shot there, but I feel like, with the way Carroll just hasn't been able to get the luck taking their own shots from back deep, they got to find somebody inside that can get like a header or 1-2 touch.
Jorgensen kicks it out of bounds over to Mr. Bernie Coffer. He's a part of one of the 1,000 photographers that are in the area tonight. Because this is a matchup of the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state, Jackson. I'm joking.
What rankings are you on?
My own.
Have you not seen the other teams in this state?
Hey, it could be number 1 and number 2 in our area.
Yeah, and technically, I think it would. No, because I think ESAC has the better record than Kuemper.
No, ESAC's only one and something.
Oh, so yeah, it would technically be 1-2.
This is number 1 and number 2 matchup, Jackson. I was right.
In the area, not in the state.
You don't ever have to specify with me. I know what we're talking about. Is that ball going to roll out of bounds there? Last touch by Kuemper. But, just 10 minutes into the second half, plenty of time for both teams. I'm not even going to just say Carroll to come back. Both teams to make runs of their own. Peterson going to throw to the box. Okamu going to shoot it towards the goal, and it'll roll out of bounds. Last touched here by the Carroll Tigers. And it it looks like maybe they're going to give it to, they will give it to Kuemper.
Yeah, was it Vanami or was it
Nope,
Halber?
they're gonna switch it up now, and they're gonna go back to Carroll.
Yeah, it was either Vanami or it was Halber that it came off the left side of one of their heads there. That's why as soon as I seen it, I pointed that way, and I'm like, that should be Carroll's potentially. But then
Peterson with the corner kick. He's gonna be kicking back towards the goal possibly here. Puts his hands up, and he's gonna go high and at it. Goal towards it. Ball gonna be worked back out, and just not executing on the spot there. Kuemper's defense, and I gotta give credit to Kuemper's defense. They are forcing Carroll out of their element, not able to let them get to what they want to get to. Is Okamu going to take a touch towards the box, and this ball going to roll out. Caden Anderson going to get it back in now to Polking. Polking going to turn and work through the defense. He's got to look at it, pass it off to Okamu, back over, touch too big there from Okamu to Pure and Polking. Is Stipa going to try and go there? Hawkins out at the 20, going to cross it down the line here, back into the center of the box. This one going to go up now for Niehaus. Jorgensen going to try and fade with him as well, as it'll work over to Quentin Polking now. And it will head back out of bounds. Last touch by the Carroll Tigers.
Yeah, Carroll there with two great chances there. I think if on that corner that Peterson would have got it up a little bit higher there could have been a better chance for a header, but just not able to get it all the way up.
Out of bounds. Last touch this time now by the Knights. 28:36 to go here in this phenomenal crosstown rivalry game. Time still ticking here as we've got Marco Rodriguez checking into the game, as well as Vida Rivas.
Leonardo.
Checking in for Peter Okamu. Great kid, Peter is. Great kid, a lot of these guys are.
If you do not enjoy Peter Okumu, I think you are just wrong. Peter is probably top 5 nicest guys you will ever meet.
Throw in again for Carroll, going to be headed off by Kuemper. They're going to drop it now once again. This one broken away by Baiting. Charlie going to work it up now for Fletch. Fletch going to run into Quentin Polking. Runs into a brick you-know-what house. Is ball going to go through a couple of defenders here. They're going to go back to the far side once again. Luis has got it. Caldera's going to turn back inside. Goes to the drop now for Marco Rodriguez. Ball going to be kicked off of the foot of a Carroll Tiger and out of bounds. Last touch here, as it will be a Kuemper Knight goal kick. 27-25 to go here in our ball game. Tough game for both teams. Tim Myers, the only goal scored so far, back at the 35 or the 34-29 mark in that first half. Jorgensen takes a touch. Fletch going to send Myers down the field. Quentin Polking going to turn it towards the sideline. He will wait a couple of seconds, trying to walk it towards the sideline, and they're going to try and get it out of bounds. Myers touched it, and it's out of bounds. Last touch here by Carroll. Myers kind of flinched there as Polking turned to the sideline to throw it in, and Myers was standing right there and just thought maybe Polking might lace him with one. Outside now, Niehaus standing there. He's going to work it back out to the far side. It'll be Carroll ball once again. You're still over halfway, not done with this half. I don't know how to describe that without sounding still dumb, but
quarter of the way.
But I don't think we're a quarter. And shot on goal there, just over the net from Traeger Niehaus, out of bounds here. So it will be Carroll soccer ball once again. Out on the field this time, going to come Drew Gassell and Nick Warnemont. You've got Gunnar Gredeman and Tim Myers checking off the pitch. It'll be a kick from the goal box from Quentin Polking. He's going to fire it down Broadway for Landon Peterson, who takes a touch. Almost tripped over the ball there. Peterson going to break the line. He's now going to try and send him. Not able to get it. Aiden Hanlos takes the ball away from him. They're fighting for it once again. Hanlos going to send him back through this time as this ball rolls out right near that center post in the middle. This game, again, very, 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 very back and forth. I don't know how to describe it any other way else, is that, Carroll will get a run here. Kuemper gets a run there, and both teams just not able to break that seal once again for the second half. This ball going to roll towards the box, and Austin Heinrichs going to wait it out and pick it up. And they're going to waste a lot of this clock time. Heinrichs going to take a touch now, and we'll wait for Peterson, and we'll eventually pick it up now.
Yeah, and Carroll not showing that same press that they were for majority of this game, as they were kind of slow to get down there, as Peterson kind of felt like he had to get down there just so somebody would get Heinrichs to pick it up.
Bellinghausen off the head now of Vanami. Baiting going to flip the field here now for Polking. Gassell turns, tries to go through ball, and it will find it offsides this time. They're going to call for Niehaus and Mayhall. I can't tell which one they were actually looking at there for the offsides, but they're going to call it on the Kuemper Knights, so it'll be Carroll Tiger ball.
Yeah, I think they got it on Mayhall. Mayhall was, I think, a step or two just in front of the line there. That's going to be sent away.
Quentin Polking going box. In the box, Peterson's got to go get it, and he misses the ball as they almost had a chance at it, Jackson, but Heinrich's doing the right thing, coming out and getting that one, keeping it away from that goal.
Yeah, and Heinrich's doing a great job not fumbling with it, just making the easy catch there and not allowing Peterson to get back on it.
Luis Caldera running down the sideline here with Warnemont. Warnemont kicks it out. Carroll's got to get on the attacking end here as they work to try and get back into this game, down 1-0. They're going to drop it for Caldera again. He's going to go down that left side, works to the sideline, gets to his spot, tried to kick it inbounds, and it'll be last touched here. I don't know who they're going to call it on, and it will be last touched out of bounds here by the Carroll Tigers.
Kuemper going to get a couple substitution here. Is now Bading and Meyer going to check back on here.
And you had your chance when Meyer and Bading weren't on the field. But now they're back on here. It gives Carroll a little bit of a problem once again.
As now Charlie Mayhall and Charlie Bading check out.
Ball to the midfield. Fletch Bading left foot kicks it down the line. It'll be Jake Jorgensen firing it back up in the air. A lot of backspin on that. Hawkins fakes the step on it. Now goes up for it. Hawkins sends the through ball to Peterson. Back line now for Halber. Halber going to wait and try and box out Landon Peterson, and he will. Heinrich's picking up the ball here for the Kuemper Knights. Does a little drop kick, and that one up to Fletch Bading now off the head of a Carroll Tiger. They're going to work it over now. Quentin Polking off of his head, goes to Fletch again. He's going to turn and try and send the through. He will to Myers. Myers foot race with Quentin Polking. Turns and shot on goal through the uprights.
And once again, say it with me, Mason. It's good.
That was, I mean, a nice shot with the left foot there for a guy that's right-footed, but, you know, just a little bit off the mark there, Jackson, not able to put it through the true uprights of where you want to put it.
Yeah, no. There's not any points for putting it through the football post there.
Off the backside of Gunnar Gredeman there was Landon Peterson's shot. They're working it across now once again here. Kuemper going to try and reverse fields. Once again here, Bellinghausen going to kick it up. This one towards Caldera. It'll be now Rodriguez's job to go get it. Up in the air, they're going to work it now across. Carroll back to their sideline. Luis Caldera working back to the backside for Jorgensen. He turns up the sideline. No one home. Fletch Bading going to kick it up there. Jorgensen touched it with his hand. Going to give it to Brennan Benami to boot it down towards the goal box. They're going to send 3 or 4 guys down the field there. Benami waiting. Now going to stutter step. Pass it off to Aiden Honlos in the center field. Hawkins regains the possession for the Tigers. Caldera dribbles down that midfield. He's going to look, turns it back out, does the smart job of waiting. Caldera to the midfield now for Polking. Polking to the through ball. This one going to head towards the inside of the box, and that will be Austin Heinrich's ball to get as Hawkins chases him down there, trying to maybe make him make the decision a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and Carroll on the next dead ball going to go with some substitution here as they'll kind of unload that bench there, and also Charlie Bading and Charlie Mayhall going to check in here as well.
And it looks like that one going to roll out of bounds here. We will get the next dead ball right now as, you know, they're going to sub everyone in. But I tell you what, Jackson, Carroll just struggling to find the gaps, struggling to find, you know, the open looks that they need. Kuemper's backline doing a nice job now, but they've got to find their rhythm here soon to be able to get things rolling along here. Lights are officially on as, you know, the clock striking midnight technically with our time. As Quentin Polking going to take a shot on goal, and this one going to roll out of bounds. He almost toe poked that thing towards the goal to try and maybe give it a look, but just unable to convert on the shot there.
Yeah, and Carroll got to take not that far of a shot out there, but they got to take a couple more shots like that just to, you know, get something down the field. You know, maybe you have Heinrichs, you know, go up there and punch the ball out and you get a corner kick. You need to, you know, develop those offensive positions.
They're now going to work across that goal box. They're going to pass it off now in the back line, working it across. Sawyer Hawkins steals it. He's going towards the goal. Carroll had a look there for a minute. What a look there from Sawyer Hawkins. Is this one going to roll towards the sideline? It'll be a penalty on Kuemper. So Carroll going to get a free kick from about 40 out. It'll be Quentin Polking taking it here for the Tigers. They're going to send almost everyone into the box. 19:40 to go. Quentin Polking waiting as he gets his guys into the box.
You gotta find somebody in the box here.
Quentin going to go high and at it. This one at the goal. Header towards the goal. It's going to roll. And no good. Landon Peterson went cross goal and just not able to find it for the Tigers, as that one was right there.
Wow, that was nuts. If you're Kuemper, that was a sigh of relief there, because that was just a fire drill once it got tipped around there. And he's lucky that Peterson tried to go too far across, because Heinrichs was right there and would have blocked it, but it just sails out.
Heinrichs actually was on the ground that time. I don't believe he had a look at the goal and was just not able to get back up there, Jackson. And when he did that, Heinrichs not in the goal box. If Landon kind of taps that in, he probably scores, but tried to go to the backside to give himself kind of an insurance policy as a header. Landon going to take this shot, and it's going to roll far side, and Ian Quant going to try and save it. And he will towards the goal box, and this will roll towards that back line. It looks like they're going to actually call it out on Quant, so they will give the goal kick for Kuemper now. They're going to stab at the first one here now, waiting for maybe another better look at it. And they're going to work it now over the head now to Ian Quant. Quant going to take a touch, goes in towards the box. And another look. Kuemper going to flip fields here going down this sideline. Jared Moore going to come up and get it. And he's going to poke it back out towards the center now. Mayhall at about the 35 going to take a shot with no one in goal. And that one going to miss the mark. Nobody was in the goal, and Mayhall missed it by 2 feet. Moore came out, and I told you it's dangerous when you do that, Jackson, and that's why.
Yeah, and it was a good decision to come out there and make some form of a play, but I think you got to know where your position is on the field, because that was maybe a foot away from being a goal there, and he wasn't within 5 yards of the goal.
Yeah, not even 5 yards of the goal, 5 yards of the ball that time, as the ball was very close to the goal, and you gotta get there on that one. Is Carroll going to reverse the field here? Stitt's going to take a touch, and Hawkins going to be in that midfield. Polking going to send the through ball now. Peterson going to get it up in the air. Halber going to go chase it. Stitt's going to go after it. Stitt's going to have a look at it, and Halber going to turn it back in. Polking going to take a look and, missing it far right side here towards the sideline. That one out of bounds. Last touch here by the Carroll Tigers.
Yeah, and good job there by Carroll getting some bodies down there, but I think Polking's got to, take that one touch there and find a body to pass it to, and not just, boot it over to the side.
And I think that time, you get a little anxious sometimes when you see the 1-0, and you want to get maybe a better look on the goal there. Bating going to flip fields here as Jorgensen going to run under it with Myers behind him. He'll head it. Jorgensen now going to turn him. Myers trying to fight with him. Jorgensen gets to the midfield. Now for Sawyer Hawkins, who tips it up. Bating with a look. Finds Fletch now. Kieran turning his defender. Now outside for Anderson, who tries to chase it down the sideline. Touches it off a Kuemper defender. 16:27 to go here in the ball game. Again, we will talk with some of the different guys after the game here. They're going to run, I believe that's Sawyer Hawkins off the pitch. They will. They will take Sawyer Hawkins off in favor of Luis Caldera. Hard to see sometimes from that far away who is coming off the pitch there, but they will send him off. Peter going to take a look through. It's a couple of through balls. Header to the center. Peter going to touch it with his hand, and it will be a free kick here for the Kuemper Knights.
Yeah, and Okumu there with a little bit of a spark, as he kind of came in there late and was trying to get something going to his own, but then tried to find a teammate, and it just ricocheted around, and it got off his hand.
Free kick here going to be kicked up to the center field position. Fletch Bating going to take a touch on it. Quant going to go fight him for it. Turns his back shoulder to it. Fletch going to work his way around that backside. And they're going to boot it up to the front now, and they're going to call a penalty.
Now it's offsides.
Which will be the offsides penalty over there. So it'll be Carroll ball once again. 15 minutes to go here in this half. Carroll's got plenty of time to work with, but not a lot of time in the grand sense of you're trailing. Maddox Bellinghausen going to be the one to take it now. They're going to they'll give it to Polking instead. And never mind, back to Bellinghausen. I kind of second-guessed myself as Peterson takes a touch there. It's in the box. They're going to drop it out to Okumu. He's going to take a shot up and through the uprights, just over the goal.
Yeah, Carroll being much more aggressive, taking those outside shots there, and it's kind of been, slowly progressing there and slowly coming down and almost getting the post there, but just not able to get it enough down and into the goal.
Now going to be inside here for Kieran Polking. He's going to be fighting with Fletch, baiting for position. Tries to go through now, loses it. Okamu turns him down the sideline. They're going to go up now. A look down the corner if they can get to it. Trying to track it down is going to be Nolan Stitz, unable to run into it. They had a good look at a chance if they could get to that one, but just unable to get to it, Jackson.
Yeah, and much like I said, Carroll just not being able to connect most of the passes that they've been trying to get there, and that one, great opportunity. I think you just got to leave it a little bit more shorter. You got to make sure he's down there a little farther before you hit that pass.
Free kick on the way. Going to kick it up to Baiting. He loses it for a second. Okamu trying to control this possession here now. He's going to work it back out to the far side. Down the sideline now for Caden Anderson. Touch stolen away by Hanlos. Kuemper back on the attack now. Looking for a through ball possibly. Gassell going to drop it to Baiting. Fletch going to go for the through ball and going to be a penalty in the midfield. And it looks like they're going to call a card this time on Kieran Polking. And he will get yellowed as he will come out of the ball game. So about 20 yards out, they're going to give him the free kick. And, we were talking about how chippy it was going to get. It got too chippy now for the officials as they're going to finally call the card.
Yeah, and I think Mayall lining it up here, he might try to go for the goal as Kuemper kind of cleared it out. They'll probably have somebody go chase it down there, though, but I think he might go for the goal here.
Mayall, very powerful kicker. You got a line of Carroll Tigers in front of him here.
State champion on the Kuemper football team as the kicker.
Mayall looks at the goal. He's going to go at it. Moore dives and saves it out of bounds.
Nice save from Jared Moore. They're able to use that long, tall body there and extend out there and make the save.
Yeah, very long, tall body there, Jackson, as he dives and saves it out of bounds.
Am I wrong?
And now to the corner. It looks like they're going to send Charlie Baiting to take it. Give all your best athletes a chance to, be in the box. Kick towards the goal here. Moore going to kick it out. And Caldera going to put it up in the air towards that left sideline. It's going to take a couple of hops. Stitt's going to be the one to chase it. Hanlos turns it back inside. And it'll be Rodriguez now that finds the foot of Caldera. He's going to flip it. Thought Okamu was there. Unable to get to it. Caldera now turns, and he's going to send the through ball. And that will be too far down the field. It'll be Austin Heinrichs picking up that ball down there.
Yeah, Heinrichs just letting it come to him there and letting the game slow down here as Kuemper just tries to milk the clock down here to about as we approach that 12.5-minute mark.
Peterson turns outside, looks now in the right side, and back out left, being fought with a couple of defenders. Peterson drops it off, nobody home. Mayhall turns now. He's going to send the through ball for Myers. Myers, lightning fast speed, collides with a Carroll Tiger as they were fighting for the ball. No penalty on that one as both were making a position on the ball as Gassell now turns into Okamu. Okamu going to turn now. He's trying to fire it down. Caldera open down the side. He's going to turn it back in. Caldera back to the sideline. No good. That one going to be touched by the Kuemper Knights, and it looks like Caden Anderson going to line up a shot maybe here. Finds Peterson instead. Peterson lines up the shot, goes up and through the uprights.
Yeah, Peterson there with the good shot chance there. I think he was going for the shot there, but then was also trying to keep it low enough to try to get it across to see if somebody would come up and head it, but nobody was there, and it just sails way over and way wide.
And, they've just had so many looks here. Not able to convert on any of them. Kick down the sideline here. Okamu the only one to receive off the Kuemper free kick. Fletch Baiting going to go get it instead now after the stab at it by Okamu. Myers going to send the through ball now. It looks like Traeger Niehaus over there, and he's offsides. They're going to call him offsides. Niehaus turning and pointing, saying, I'm running with stride for stride with one of the guys.
Yeah, and I feel like that was kind of a comeback one from earlier. As now we're going to get a stoppage here, but the head referee's going to go talk with the line judge real quick. I think that was kind of a comeback from earlier there with the one with Peterson.
Quentin Polking towards the box. They're going to head it up, and this one going to roll out of bounds at about the 0-yard line, Jackson. The goal line. Has Carroll now going to throw in here. Landon Peterson on that far side, throwing in towards the box here. Carroll just under 10 minutes to play, or just over 10 minutes, excuse me, in this game. Dropped out now, and it looks like Caden Anderson going to take a touch and look towards the box. He's going to get into the box now, goes towards the center and not able to get to it. Charlie Mayall going to turn and send this thing through towards the trash can out there on the outside. like it'll be Kuemper ball instead here. But, you know, Jackson, they've just not been able to get it. This one going to roll down the sideline towards the Carroll side once again. Polking going to turn it back to the center for Jared Moore. He's going to take a touch and look the other way. Moore going to wait and sees an opportunity going down the sideline here for Ian Quant. He's going to take a touch now and send it up the middle. And it looks like it'll be Kuemper again sending this one down this right side. And Kuemper can play the stall game. They've got 9 minutes of stall to worth, but they've just got to play that fun stall game, you know, as Myers going to throw in here. Both teams going to sub some guys on.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're Carroll here, you know, it's kind of go time. You got to find something down the field, and you just got to go.
Yeah, you don't really got a lot of room to work with anymore here as Kuemper trying to extend their lead series to 11-2-2. They've won 10 with last year being a tie here. They still own the rights to the Friendship Cup. Okamu's kick there, going to be unsuccessful. Caldera finds it now. He loses it this time instead, and both going to fight for it. Turning this ball the other way as the Carroll Tigers, as it will go to the sidelines here. Gunnar Gredeman going to be the one to throw it in for the Kuemper Knights. They've got it's so late in this game that they have got to find something. As Polking going to go fight for it. Anderson turns it outside. He's going to kick it to the other sideline where Okamu's at. Okamu trying to run into it, can't find it. Looks like we're going to have Charlie Bading checking on to the pitch here for one of his teammates in Grange Net. But Carroll, I mean, you're just over 8 minutes to play in this game. This game is coming down to the wire here. You have got to go fight tooth and nail to get to the goal, as they're going to turn him back in the middle. Polking finding Okamu there. A couple of Knights fighting with it as well. Charlie Bading send a through ball here as it's going to go off the head of a Tiger. Polking back over now to Mayhall. Mayhall turns back towards the goal. Tries to look at a through ball, possibly. Myers drops it out to Fletch Bading off the side of Polking, and will roll towards the sideline. Okamu going to kick it up the sideline. There to receive going to be Nolan Stitz. Carroll on a 3-on-5. Through ball. This one going to be kicked towards Heinrichs. Still can pick it up, obviously, but it was last touched by Kuemper. Heinrichs now picks it up, waiting on a call here, and it looks like, are they going to call it?
I think they're going to call him for stalling.
No, they're going to call him for touching it because it was Kuemper that touched it.
Now they got to hurry up and get back.
Carroll going to be able to go take the shot. It's going to be Luis or Landon.
Oh, look at the box. Look at all those white jerseys.
I think Luis going to fake it here, and Landon's going to take it behind him. And he touches it. Landon with the shot low, and it rolls out of bounds. Last touch by the Knights.
But it's corner. Yeah, it's corner, so Carroll gets another chance.
Carroll, this is your best chance to score here. It is 7 minutes to go in this game. Again, if Kuemper wins, or Kuemper ties, they still own the Friendship Cup due to 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I feel like this either this chance you got to score or you got to hurry up and try to get it back here again, because I don't.
Going high, center bar at the goal, unable to get it, and I don't know what they called here, but it rolled out of bounds, and they called something before it, but that was your shot. Tim Myers waiting to check in. He will now come in for Traeger Niehaus, but Carroll back-to-back looks at the goal, unable to get it.
Yeah, now if you're Carroll, you got to get it back quickly, and you got to go before this one just becomes out of reach.
6:50 to play in the ball game here. Turning it back outside. Kuemper trying to get the ball into the front of their bodies as Jorgensen going to take a line drive out of bounds behind the goal.
Yeah, and you got to keep that pressure up here. You got to just keep those attackers up front and just trying to pester that defense. As now they'll bring Hawkins in to try to keep that job up there, as he does a fantastic job of doing that. But now they just got to get something to get past here and go.
Stitz and Quant coming out of the game here. Hawkins checking into the game as well. Kuemper, you just got to stall. I mean, you can run this clock out and win 1-0. I don't think they really care to not do that. Ball going to be on the outside here. Throw-in attempt going to go inbounds now. Headed by Jake Jorgensen. Off to Charlie Mayhall. Polking going to weave through the defense now. Carroll's got a good opportunity. Polking going to look to send one. Gets his right foot, goes low, unable to get the send through. Okamu now fighting for it. Polking taking out a defender. You got to send him through. Down the sideline for Peterson. Peterson on that left corner takes a touch back inside. loses it. Kuemper running down that sideline now, have green grass in front of him. Peterson turns him back now. Getting down that sideline once again, cuts through. Charlie Bading going to steal it. Turning that far side now going to be Bellinghausen. They're going to drop it up top now. Anderson in front of him has got about 20 yards of separation. He'll go to the box. In there is going to be Austin Heinrichs with the save.
Yeah, and Carroll just trying every which way to keep this game going, or at least try to tie it here, if not win it, but they just have not been able to get anything going ever since that corner.
Now Kuemper on the attack once again. They're going to drop it now for Polking. Polking going to go through. Hawkins had a look at it off of his head. This one going to roll out of bounds last touch here. It's still going to stay in bounds, actually, and it will be out of bounds last touch by Kuemper. Carroll's throw in for Stipa, going to go down the line for Caldera and Hawkins. In the air is going to be Stipa and Polking. And this one going to sail out of bounds. Last touch here by Kuemper, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to call it on Kuemper, so Carroll's going to get the corner
and it'll
chance.
Be a corner off of Kuemper. Polking going to take it again. 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Polking from the corner. Gets ready to run up. Puts his hands up in the air, ready to go. Polking with the kick. Goes straight at it. Header going to roll back out of bounds. Last touch by Kuemper. So it'll be another corner kick here for Carroll. I'd go high. Send probably one of your best jumpers out there, Landon Peterson and Kieran Polking, to go up and get it.
Go get Quentin out there. Let him
Quentin's
get it.
actually in there now. Kieran in the box. Kuemper going to get it out. Rolling to the far side. Myers going to turn it up the field. And it will be Anderson touching it towards the sideline. It'll turn it back now, dropping it to his defense in just a minute. Now we're going to turn it back up the field. In the center part of the field, going to be Quentin Polking. Caldera turns. Going to take a shot on goal through the uprights. A good shot on goal there from Luis Caldera. Had the opening to find it. Just unable to make the mark there. But a nice job from Caldera to also recognize you're not going to probably get a better shot in that scenario. As you got 3 minutes left to go, you got to take every shot you can.
Yeah, and that was a good take there by Caldera, but I don't know. I guess I just don't like it because I feel like Carroll's has not been too lucky on those kind of chances, so I feel like they got to find something else.
Carroll going to fight for the ball here. Mayhall drops it. It'll be now in the middle for Caden Anderson. He takes a touch, loses it again. Peterson weaving through the defense. Peterson going to work it now to the far side. Takes a look at the goal. It's going to roll down to the sideline. Going to be last touched here by the Kuemper Knights. Carroll going to throw in. Under 3 minutes to play here in this ball game. Peterson going to throw it in. Goes towards the goal, and it'll be headed back towards the far side. Bellinghausen, the drop. Drops off now for Cohen Stipa. He looks for the goal, unable to connect. Came off of the foot a little awkward there and not able to make it.
Yeah, and Peterson frustrated there on the throw-in as there was nobody in the box there, so it was an easy header for Halber there to just get rid of it and clear it.
Yeah, just not a good look there for the minute, just unable to convert on that one. And now Carroll's got to go as Bellinghausen going to send it up, touched by a couple of guys there. Okamu going to send it to the box with 2 minutes to go, and Austin Heinrich's able with one hand to get it on the save. Carroll running out of time and running out of hope here soon. Bellinghausen going to take a touch here in the center field. They're going to call in foul on Carroll. Sending a through ball now to Charlie Mayhall. Polking now turns him outside, and he's going to turn it down the sideline here for the Kuemper Knights. Kuemper going to throw in. They're going to waste as much time as possible. Mayhall going to walk to the ball on the sideline here. Toss it in down the side. This one going to be kicked out by Carroll with 1:35 to go. If they can keep it down here, it will be over. Unable to convert. Carroll has been all night. 1:27 to play in this ball game. Throw in here for Kuemper. Touched by a couple of Carroll Tigers. They're going to have to flip the field fast. Shot here soon. Mayhall lays out for it. Caden Anderson going to turn. He's going to try and send it. It's going to be touched by Wernemont. To the far side now, Okamu's going to be the closest one. This one towards the goal box. Mayhall one-on-one with Jared Moore, and they're going to call him offsides. 1:02 to play. Carroll's got to move if they want to get this one underneath them. They're going to give it to Quentin Polking. He's going to throw it out in front of him and run under it. He's going to let it roll as far as he can to maybe switch fields here. Polking runs up, boots it, crosses the 50, now 40, now 30, going off the side of Bading's foot. He sends it down the box now, finds Peterson. Peterson too big of a touch. Baiting now turns him.
That's
this one on the far side, 36 seconds to play. Carroll's going to have a unfortunate task of trying to go the other way with 30 seconds to go. Jared Moore going to turn and fire it up the middle. And with about 20 seconds to go, this is probably going to be it for the Carroll Tigers. They are
That's it.
up in the air here. Mayhall going to turn and kick it up as high as he can as they're going to wait this thing out. 15 seconds to play here. Carroll going to struggle to get to the far side. Okamu tried to save it, and that will do it. 10 seconds to play here. Austin Heinrichs in the goal box knows it's over. He's shaking his hands up in the air. The Kuemper Knights are going to pull off the Friendship Cup victory here, knocking off the Carroll Tigers tonight to pick up their third win of the season here. Carroll going to drop to 5-3-2 on the season. Kuemper with the 1-0 victory off the Tim Myers goal in that first half. They pick up the Friendship Cup victory here on the night, sweeping both the girls and boys. We're going to go ahead and step away for 3 minutes. We'll recap this game in just a little bit. Jackson will run down and grab both coaching staffs and players coming up in just a little bit.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave!
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless! Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
For details, contact Nicole Unken at Nicole Unken Agency.
These DMAC Carroll campus students are tomorrow's nurses. They're leaders, smart, dedicated, and they care about their community.
My experience in DMAC nursing so far, I get to make a difference in people's lives during their most vulnerable times, and I build friendships along the way.
The interaction between the faculty, staff, and professor with the students are really close. They really help us a lot every time.
Get started today.
At Collins Aerospace, we believe in investing in our employees' future. That's why we are proud to offer our Employee Scholar Program. Whether you want to pursue a professional certificate or a degree related to the industry, we offer full tuition reimbursement and even paid study time. Our Employee Scholar Program is the perfect tool to help achieve the future you've been dreaming of. At Collins, we don't just want to offer you a job, we want to offer career and a future in aerospace. For details on the Collins Aerospace Employee Scholar Program, visit us at careers.rtx.com.
Family owned and operated since 1948, Quant Auto Salvage is the area's best full-service scrap facility. Whether you are looking to sell scrap iron, vehicles, or batteries, or you need to locate that difficult-to-find part for your vehicle, they have what you need. And if it isn't in stock, they can locate it with their nationwide parts database, or you can pull it yourself at their You Pull It. Quant Auto Salvage. They sell the best and recycle the rest on Kitty Hawk Avenue in Carroll.
Midwest Wholesale is your local building products headquarters. We have everything you need for your smaller home improvements to the building of your home or commercial building. We pride ourselves on giving you top-notch service, quality products with competitive prices. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer, a contractor, or you just need a little help on a project, Midwest Wholesale is a one-stop resource for all your building needs. Midwest Wholesale, how you want it, when you want it, where you want it, we deliver.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Mason Nealon here in the CB Sports Network as the Kuemper Knights sweep the night here with a 10-0 victory over the girls and a 1-0 victory over the boys here. They take both cups home with them for many consecutive years now. Kuemper moves now to 3-3 on the season. Carroll 5-3-1 on the season here. At 1-0, Tim Myers at the 34-29 mark in the first half got that solo goal. And then both teams just kind of held on. That was kind of the story in my eyes. It was just holding on for Kuemper. They held on, troubled. You know, they kind of stormed back. Carroll did at least a little bit there a couple of times, but just unable to get the mark there, as we've got Jake Jorgensen, I believe, and Gary McGill coming up here to talk with us in our broadcast. And, kind of a somber note for them, obviously, unable to pick up the victory here today. But we also got Ken Massey and Austin Heinrichs joining us here today. So we'll probably start with McGill and them if they get up here first. Maybe start with Ken. I don't know yet here for who we want to talk about first, but just an unfortunate loss for Carroll, but a big victory for Kuemper here tonight as they pick up the 1-0 victory over the Carroll Tigers. Carroll now got to move on to Boone coming up here tomorrow. Kuemper going to have to go down to Red Oak tomorrow, and after what was an exciting start to the season for the Carroll Tigers, they've now fallen to a 5-3-1. Austin had to bring up the cup with him too. Just knowing you on a personal level, I knew you would bring this up here. But Austin, I talked about this, in the broadcast. You guys started the year out with a couple of losses in a row. Now fought back to be 3-3 on the season here, and tonight, I kind of said on the broadcast here, Carroll was going to have to try and fight from behind that entire game. Once Tim got that first goal, they had a couple of shots and a couple of good looks there, but a lot of good saves from you and a lot of good defense from the guys there. Was that what you guys were preaching during the halftime? Is they're going to have to fight, we're going to have to fight harder?
We were just preaching to keep the intensity up. I mean, we weren't going to sit back and just play defense the whole time. We were looking to get a couple more. We had a couple good looks, and I just think our aggressiveness and our attacking is what kept that game separated. Didn't allow them to score.
And, I said this, I had one of the former Carroll guys that I know come up here and talk about it, and he just kind of prefaced that this game means more than anything else because obviously you guys play a couple of schools that further away. Carroll plays a couple of schools that are further away. You don't get that chance to you play East Sac Carroll like this. So what did it mean for this program to go out there tonight and pick up the win?
Well, all week, that obviously does mean more. And obviously, all week we were just saying, don't make it bigger than it is. It's just another game. And they're a pretty good team, and so are we. They've had a better season. We just wanted to knock off the better team tonight, and that's what we did.
And if anything at all here, I know you guys went from a couple of losses at the start of the season to storm back and get these 3 wins. Now, what has changed, whether it's the program, some of the fundamentals, maybe a position change or something? What has changed for the Kuemper Knights in this program to pick up those victories in a row?
New formation, and while we were down, we kept preaching to each other. Once we get a few, we're just going to go from there. We're going to start building a little culture, and we have a lot of fun. And once we start winning, it's just more fun, and that's what keeps us in them.
Tell you what, congratulations on the win here today.
Thank you.
Take that cup home and have some fun. As we got Ken Massey coming up here as well. You've got the Carroll boys going to join us here after that as well. Coach, we'll start with the girls' game. I just said utter dominance from the girls. Carroll held the middle for a little bit with you guys, but once those goals started rolling and once you guys broke the seal, that game kind of got into your guys' flow state. The girls, also, again, another game where you just have so many girls that have scored in different positions there. And what did you see from the sidelines with the girls tonight?
In the first half, we kept trying to force it in the middle. A few coaching points we had is that if they're going to try and take away the middle, we need to try to bounce it outside. And I think literally in the first 5 minutes, did we score 3 right away or 2 or something like that?
Yeah.
Where it was, instead of forcing it in the middle to C and Riley, we went, let's go outside, let's find someone else. And it worked great. Carroll had a fantastic game plan, came in. It was nice in the second half that we saw that intensity ratchet up and we put a few on the back of the net.
And you look at that and I said, the girls have set expectations for themselves.
Yep.
And then obviously the rankings committee and everything have set an expectation level that's even higher than that. But for you guys now, how do you meet those standards that people have set for you or you have set for yourself?
We have to keep pushing. That's not the fun thing about results at the time, because we could absolutely 3-0. Carroll had a very good game plan. We had the majority of the possession, but the game could have ended that. It might not have been 3-0. It could have been 1-0. And we have to be able to assert our game plan, and if our game plan isn't working, adapt quickly. And we did a fantastic job of adapting today. The girls played great. Kenzie Yetmar and Lily Kasperbauer played absolutely awesome. I think Kenzie had a one-on-one dribbles multiple times, and Lily dominated the midfield. She was fun to watch.
And, looking at this boys' game now, I said it plenty of times. You start out the year with a couple of losses, and since then, storm back to make this a 500 program and 3-3, ultimately defeating Carroll tonight here. What did it take tonight for you guys, obviously with the 1 goal from Tim Myers, but other than that, what did it take to hold on throughout that first half and second half and pick up the win?
We had a lot of breakaways. Carroll did a fantastic job of possession. I think Tim had the lion's share of our shots, if not all of them. Missed a few, but put one in the back of the net. We need to capitalize on breakaways a little bit more, but it was fun to see. The Carroll is a very physical and very smart and intelligent team, and it was very hard for the boys. Once the goal happened, we knew we can kind of not let up our intensity, but we have to be smart with our intensity, and they did a fantastic job of holding the line. Austin, of course, came up with a couple good saves in the second half when he was tested, and it's good to see because usually over the course of the season we have not had many saves, and they've had a lot of shots. So it was a fantastic game from both teams, and it's unlucky that we both don't get to walk out here winners, but that's sport, and it's nice to see us get a win.
And then the final thing here, we talked about kind of that short-term goal planning for the boys. They planned and told me, last time, let's just get back to 500, pick up a win, either was it Red Oak or maybe even now with that Red Oak game getting canceled, get the win against Carroll and just get back to 500.
Yep.
But is that the type of stuff you like to see, is that they're just planning one game at a time?
I mean, we don't play more than one team at a time, so one game at a time is perfect. And tomorrow I think we go to Glenwood, so it'll be a good test on turf again, so it's nice to have turf today to kind of see where we are. Last year I think it was a tie game. I think it was like 4-4 or something, so hopefully we don't give up that many goals and we stay organized, but it was a good game.
I tell you what, Coach, thank you for coming up here tonight, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
That was head coach Ken Massey of the Kuemper boys and girls program. We'll get some of the Carroll guys in here, Jake Jorgensen and head coach Gary McGill going to join us as well. Jake Jorgensen starting things off for us. Jake, I got to ask you first off here tonight, new to soccer this year. You go out for soccer for the first time this year. What has it been like for you now joining this program at probably what has been their best season in school history?
Oh, it's been great. A lot of good friends out for soccer were trying to get me to go out, so just having a good time and contributing as much as I can while doing it.
And obviously tonight, didn't go the way that you guys were expecting, but what did you see from that attacking group of obviously Tim Myers, Fletch Bading, Charlie Mayhall, Drew Gassell up top from Kuemper? What did you see from them in this game so far?
Yeah, I mean, they played a lot of through balls over top, just quicker than us, and weren't ready.
And with that, now you guys look to bounce back tomorrow against Boone. What has to change from tonight to tomorrow for you guys to get back on track?
I think we just got to put this game behind us and forget about it and play like we know we can.
I tell you what, Jake, sorry about the loss here tonight, but great start to the season for you guys.
Thank you.
We'll get head coach Gary McGill going to join us on the mic here in just a moment as well, as he'll jump in the press box with us here. Coach going to jump in here with us in the nice and warm press box, but Coach, obviously suffering the loss tonight, it doesn't ever feel good to take a loss, especially to a team that's right across the town from you guys. But what do you think, either for you as a coach or for the guys, is the biggest learning point from a game like this tonight?
You got to start fast. You got to get ready if you're going to, get punched in the mouth a little bit. You got to be able to respond. And they started fast, and we were a little bit complacent. And, so it took a little bit of time for that, so that's why you play for 80 minutes hoping that you can get that figured out and adjust a little bit and the boys to get settled in. And we did. We started getting better. Just took a little bit of time.
And you look at that second half, a 0-0 second half, a lot of shots on goal for both teams, a lot of chances to maybe get another goal there. But what was it that, just wasn't working to get the ball through to the net?
We just weren't connected. We were too far away on the initial pass, and so you got to have your forwards up on top, be able to run those lines and connect. One guy has to support, one guy has to go, and it just took too much time, and so Kuemper could recover and fill those gaps that we were trying to exploit.
And so kind of looking at the season as a whole, I had Ethan Ashland jump on the mic with me, us two playing under you obviously here, and he kind of attested and said, you look back at when he was a freshman, when we were sophomores, and, the program was kind of dipped a little bit, but now it's jumped back up. You're beating the Carlisles, the winter sets. You're competing with the ADMs in those programs. What has it meant, and how fun has it been this season to see such a special program take that jump now?
Yeah, I mean, every year you go into it with a goal, an aspiration to be able to get a winning record and to push forward. And every year you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs, but this year with the boys, again, they fight, they're continually learning, they're having fun. And that's what you want with that senior group. And they've been battle tested, from every sport that we've been a part of this year. And that's going to pay dues, as we continue to go. But it's super special, to have these guys the seniors, training and teaching the younger kids. This is what it's like. This is the culture. This is why we do what we do in the off season. This is what we do, on game night and stuff like that. And so it's been a great way just to be able to go into each game and have that leadership from these guys. And so it's been fun.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, sorry for the loss here tonight, but thank you for jumping on here after the broadcast.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
That was head coach Gary McGill of the Carroll Tigers here as we start to wrap up this broadcast here. A 10-0 win for the Kuemper girls over the Carroll girls, a 1-0 win for the Kuemper boys over the Carroll boys. For my broadcast partner, Mr. Jackson Kerrigan, I'm Mason Nealon saying so long here from the Carroll Athletic Stadium. It has been a white